WMIX Sports. Welcome to Mount Vernon Rams football on WMIX and WMIXsports.com. You can watch or listen from any device. Rams football on WMIX Sports is powered by the official voice of Rams Athletics, Community First Bank of the Heartland. Welcome back to Personal Banking. Rams football is also sponsored in part by the Medicine Shop of Mount Vernon, Ford Square and King City Chrysler. You can count on us. Red Lake College. Save thousands on your college education. Log on to rlc.edu. State Farm Insurance Agent Tony Wilt. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. Second Chance Auto on Route 142 East in Mount Vernon. Van Shara Bank. Good Samaritan Regional Health Center. Raising a hospital. Raising the bar. Winning Edge. Schmidt Ford of Salem. And also Bosch. The Orthopedic Center of Sutter, Illinois. Landers Collision Centers of Mount Vernon and Salem. Schmidt Chevrolet of Mount Vernon. All Stars and Stitches. Central Christian Church. And People's National Bank. It's time to join Chris Hugo and Danny Czerwinski for Mount Vernon Rams football. From the Ford Square WMIX Sports mobile studio. Landers Collision Center's pregame show starts now.
And good afternoon from Mattoon. 5A football postseason for the Mount Vernon Rams for the first time since 2008. Chris Hugo with Danny Czerwinski alongside. Good afternoon. Glad to have you along with us on AM 940, also online at WMIXsports.com. where we have streaming video this afternoon. The Mount Vernon Rams, of course, finished the regular season at 6-3. The Green Wave finished their regular season at 7-2. They finished as champions of the Apollo Conference. They're going to battle it out here today at 3 o'clock. That'll be about 28 minutes from now. This is your Landers Collision Center's pregame show. Big or small, Landers fixes them all. 1-888 Landers. That's 1-888 Landers. DC, of course, the Rams had that surprise win, according to some, last week against the Mount Carmel Golden Aces. But as we sit here today, the Rams, of course, looking to try to get another upset win here in Week 10.
Well, it's going on the road, going away from home here in Coles County, and you get up here, and it's about 40, 48 degrees, but the wind chill down to 41, and wind blowing out of the northwest about 17. The sun's trying to come in and out, but not going to be a factor of warmth today by the time this one starts, and for sure by the time this one ends. And playing a Mattoon team that's been to the playoffs last couple of years, undefeated Apollo Conference champions.
That they are. We'll talk more about that. We'll also talk about that with Jared Shaner coming up on your Landers Collision Center's pregame show. We need to take a quick break. This is Rams football, powered by Community First Bank.
Hi, this is Joe David Cummins, President of Community First Bank. Now is a great time to move your account to Community First Bank. With our new One Account offering the highest interest rate in the market, free checking, and CD specials delivered by people you know and trust, why would you not thank the market leader in Jefferson County? We offer 5 locations, 7 ATMs, and have been serving the Jefferson County market since 1906. Stop in and see why our bank is the fastest growing bank in Jefferson County. Community First Bank. Welcome back to Personal Banking, member FDIC.
Find us on Facebook. This is Rams football from WMIX Sports.
And we welcome you back to the Landers Collision Center's pregame show on WMIX, WMIX FM, and video at WMIXsports.com. Big or small, Landers can fix them all, and now they can detail them all, too. Ask about premium detailing for the life of your automobile next time you have collision repair work done at Landers Collision Centers, now with expanded locations in Mount Vernon and Salem. 1-888 Landers. 1-888 Landers. Big or small, Landers fixes them all. We're here on your pregame show, of course, talking Mount Vernon Rams football. We need to talk about Mount Vernon Rams head football coach Jared Shaner. We mentioned briefly last week's game with the Mount Carmel Golden Aces, in which the Rams won 35-29. We talked about how that set up this matchup today with the Green Wave. We also talked about the emotions coming into today's game, as heard on the Saturday Sports Show this morning. You can hear the Saturday Sports Show each and every week at 8:08. It's right after the 8 o'clock news on AM 940 and WMIXsports.com. Here's this morning's interview with Mount Vernon Rams football coach Jared Shaner.
Morning, guys. How are you?
You know, doing pretty good. I have to ask. I've asked pretty well every week. I don't see why change it up any at all on a special day, but have you gotten any sleep?
I was in bed for quite a while, but not a lot of sleep at all.
Well, I would assume, obviously, you have to be pretty excited today. Playoff football at Mattoon, the Green Wave. And before we talk too much about Mattoon or even talk a little bit about last week's game with the Mount Carmel Golden Aces, how did your team feel, all congregated there in the auditorium, when they finally saw their name come up at the 5A football pairings?
Well, I think there was just a lot of excitement, a lot of energy, and just
all the hard work that they put in. Just to be able to see your name pop up there, and it was a pretty exciting time.
Exciting time for your team, and of course the fun of Frivalli probably stopped as soon as that led onto the board. Preparation for the week against Mattoon, as far as that goes, how have things gone in practice during the whole week to get to this afternoon's game?
Well, it worked pretty good. As a coach, you want to keep consistency and keep things the same throughout the week, and we try to do that. We had, as you guys know, a lot of rain this week. So that changed our plans slightly, but we did get outside a couple of days, and then we're pretty fortunate to have a nice little indoor place we can use right on campus and still be able to get some stuff done. So the kids responded really well, and I think they're ready and prepared.
Ready and prepared. Mattoon comes in, a second-year member of the Apollo Conference, a team that did play Marion in Week 2, so some familiarity as far as playing a team from Southern Illinois. What does Mattoon bring to the table, both offensively and defensively, that you'll see today?
Well, offensively, they bring a lot of athleticism and skill at the skill position. They have a very good quarterback, a very good running back, and then probably 3 or 4 receivers who just do a great job of getting themselves open, and when things break down, they come back to the ball and make a lot of plays out of full plays. And defensively, probably a 4-3 base defense. They've got a couple of very aggressive kids that lead them in tackles, and it should be a great matchup for us today.
Great matchup for your team. As far as looking around at your team right now, 9 weeks in the season, a lot of bumps and bruises, a lot of people injured, we know. How is your team health-wise heading into today's first-round matchup?
Well, just about like we have been the last several weeks. The 2 guys that are out have been out for a while, Drew and Brady. But other than that, it's as healthy as you can be in week 10. When the playoffs roll around at the end of the football season, nobody feels good, that's for sure. We have a lot of things going on, and we've had a couple kids go to the chiropractor this week and get adjustments. We had a couple kids that just had sickness and got on some antibiotics and things like that. But overall, knock on wood, we're doing about as good as we could do right now.
Of course, you see the announcement on TV, of course, last Saturday. You go into work mode as soon as you find out whom you're playing. If you start to research, maybe enjoy the night a little bit and really get cracking on Sunday. What have you been able to find out about the Green Wave? Looks like they have a run-of-the-mill spread offense that the Rams are quite familiar with.
Yeah, they're a little unique in that, kind of like Marion did earlier in the year. They'll come out and get in some run formations, some 2-back sets, and some eye stuff, and try to run it at you a little bit, throw a little play action. And then they'll also, and they might do that for a series. The next series they'll come out and have, empty formation, no back in the backfield, and throw it just about every down. So you have to kind of prepare for a couple different things there. Again, like I said, their skill kids are probably just about as good as we've seen this year. Several kids that just make things happen out on the football field, and it starts with their quarterback. He reminds me, you mentioned Marion. He reminds me a lot of the Hill kid from Marion. Throws the ball well, and then he can really hurt you with his speed, too.
Well, of course, the quarterback that is there also their leading rusher, so it doesn't seem, when you compare Mount Vernon versus Mattoon, that there's going to be a lot of similarities in the running games. But as you take a look at a quarterback like Jared Pilson, of course, he has 2 years of experience. Coming off of a game where he threw for 400, 500 yards against the Jerseyville Panthers, how do you instill the confidence in your secondary or your defense to let them know that, hey, this is a kid that can't be stopped? Don't pay any attention to his stats. Just go out there and do it. How do you kind of convey that?
Well, we talked all week about, really just trying to contain him more than anything. I think one of the things that he's really good at is when you get pressure and things break down around him, kind of just improvisation, I guess, is one of his strengths. He can make guys miss. So we've talked about, in the films that we have, I have not seen him get hard yet. And the reason is he's just so shifty that you feel like you got a beat on him, and he's gonna put a good hit on him, and then he moves a foot to the left, a foot to the right, a foot forward or backward. Guys are kind of running by him. So we've talked about trying to contain him, and he's going to make some plays on us today, and we understand that he's a good athlete. They're a good team, so their skill kids are going to make some plays for him, but we've just hopefully got to limit them and not give up the big play down the field. They've scored scored that way a lot of 50 and 60-yard scores, whether they be running or passing. So we've got to try to eliminate those.
Looking at today, the weather, you're obviously familiar with Central Illinois. We're going up there at a 3 o'clock kickoff. Is there a plan? I would think Mattoon is probably more affected than your team would be by the possible winds and whatnot of Central Illinois. Have you guys taken that into consideration as well, as far as looking into the offensive plan?
Well, we've, obviously we've been watching the weather all week. It's supposed to be a nice day, but like you said, there's a chance for some gusty winds today, and like you said, doesn't affect us probably quite as much. I think defensively we have to be smart about how we play them. Obviously, if the wind's running with your football field, then teams are more likely to take shots down the field when they got the wind at their back. So, those are all things that you think about as a coach when you're calling plays on offense and defense. So, we'll get there today and kind of see what it's like, see how windy it is, and go from there.
Well, when you take a look at your Mattoon Rams, 6-3 on the season, they get a big win to end the season with the Mount Carmel Golden Aces. Not a lot of time to celebrate that. You got to get to work for the postseason. But going into today, where we're talking a lot about the Green Wave, but talking more about the Rams, have to be proud of their effort. That 6-3 finish, but also just have to be proud after the nice turnaround of 1-8, 0-9 to get that 6-3 mark, get in the postseason, and now have a great matchup and a great chance to possibly even see Week 11.
Well, yeah, like you said, just very proud of our kids. We have a lot of kids that have stuck through some difficult times in terms of wins and losses. And they've continued just to fight and to work and believe in what we're doing. And as a coach, that makes you feel pretty good. And now we're being rewarded a little bit with a pretty solid season. And like you said, hopefully, if we go up and take care of business today, we'll get to extend it one more week and continue to be rewarded.
As far as leaving and all this stuff, decently long road trip. Of course, you'll do it in the fall going to Charleston. But how do you go about as a coach preparing your team to get on a bus, get up early, get on a bus, and have them ready to go when that kickoff comes at 3 o'clock this afternoon?
Well, about 2 or 3 days ago, we started talking about just preparation leading up to it. It doesn't just start today, but we talked about trying to get to bed at a decent hour these last couple of days. Making sure they're staying hydrated, making sure they're not skipping meals and things like that. Packing your bag the night before and getting yourself up. We're going to get them here about an hour before our bus leaves this morning and get them out on the football field a little bit and jog around and go through some last-minute things. And then, in terms of the bus ride and stuff today, we've talked about it. I feel like our team kind of has a blue-collar mentality. We're not real flashy. We don't throw the ball 40 times a game. We got 3 or 4 guys who run the ball real hard and a pretty solid offensive line. I feel like we'll come up and hit pretty hard on defense. So, we try to convey that. It doesn't matter how long our bus ride is or how we get there or anything like that. We just want to come out and be a tough, hard-nosed not team. Hopefully, not make too many mistakes and go take care of business.
A little bit chilly up north. Or some of your assistants last week were complaining about the cold. They were making fun of you wearing shorts. So, 2 questions. Are you planning to wear shorts today, and how are your assistants going to handle this colder weather when we head to Central Illinois?
Well, yeah, number one, shorts always for me. If our season goes 4 more weeks and we're playing on Thanksgiving, I'll still wear shorts. So that one's a given. The assistant coaches, I get a kick out of it. It is a cold yet. I'm originally from Northern Illinois, and got some family in Wisconsin and stuff. And it gets cold there. It doesn't even get cold in Southern Illinois here. So these guys are all bundled up. They've got stocking caps on when it's like 42 degrees out. To me, that's just a nice cool day.
Of course, talking about the long bus ride and a little bit of debate going in, what style of bus will the kids be taking today?
Well, we're taking school buses, and that was my choice. I talked to my captains a little bit, and talked to Coach Creel, our athletic director, and probably could have got some charters if we chose to. But as a team, we just made the choice that we've been doing just fine, and while we're appreciative of the fact that our school and our gridiron would be willing to do that for us, like I said, I just feel like we kind of not an overly long ride. We should be there in about an hour, 15, hour, 20 minutes. The other thing is we just kind of a blue-collar mentality. We got a bunch of kids who, don't get too concerned with statistics or kind of the peripheral things, how you get to a game. They just like playing football, and hopefully that's what we do today. Just get off the bus and are prepared to play hard and play physical.
I know there's a lot of excitement going in, not only with the players, but with the coaching staff and yourself as well. How do you keep that business-as-usual mentality, knowing that this is most everybody involved, aside from some of the coaches' first trip to the postseason?
Well, like I said, we tried to keep practice pretty routine this week. We've talked to the kids about the fact that it is an exciting game, and it's fun for our football team, our high school, our community. But the fact of the matter is, it is, it's another 48-minute game, and when it really comes down to it, there's 11 guys on the field for each team at a time, and we've done this 9 times, and a lot of these kids have been doing it since they were in, 5th grade, 6th grade, 7th grade. So there's not a lot of difference once the ball is up in the air and it's kicked off. We've tried to make it normal this week and just told them to go out and play hard and have fun.
I wouldn't have it any other way on playoff day. Coach, we'll see you soon, but good luck against the Green Wave from Mattoon, and hopefully we're talking Week 11 football next week.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me, guys. We'll see you today.
That was Mount Vernon Rams head football coach Jared Shaner, of course, from this morning's Saturday Sports Show. You can find archived broadcasts of the Saturday Sports Show at WMIXSports.com. And you can listen to it each and every week live on AM 940 and WMIXSports.com following the 8 o'clock news. More to come on your Landers Collision Center's pregame show. We'll talk more about today's matchup between the Green Wave and the Rams. We'll also talk about matchups in all 8 classes, at least the ones that pertain to our area. We'll talk about what is going on here in Week 10. It is high school football. It is the postseason. The Mount Vernon Rams are back in it. Kickoff is at 3 o'clock. Stay tuned here on your Landers Collision Center's pregame show. We'll take a break. This is Rams football from WMIX Sports.
The tradition of fine vehicles and great service continues at Second Chance Auto. They've been providing quality cars, trucks, vans, and SUVs for families like yours for over 33 years, and many are priced under $10,000. Plus, most have a 3-month or 3,000-mile warranty. Bank rate financing available with instant approval. No gimmicks, no pressure, just honest deals on great vehicles from your friends and neighbors at Second Chance Auto, living and contributing back to the community they serve. Located on Route 142 East in Mount Vernon, call 244-4582.
Red Lake College Theater presents Treasure Island. This swashbuckling stage adaptation incorporates plenty of comedy and includes all the adventures of Robert Louis Stevenson's classic tale. Enjoy nightly performances Thursday, November 7th through Saturday, November 9th, and a special Sunday matinee on November 10th. It's called a ridiculously funny version of the classic adventure tale. Tickets are just $12 through the RLC ticket office. Call the RLC box office at 437-4321, extension 1467.
Follow us on Twitter at WMIX Sports. This is Rams football from WMIX Sports.
And we welcome you back to Mattoon here. Chris Hugo with Danny Czerwinski alongside on WMIX and WMIXSports.com, AM and FM today, as well as streaming video for your playoff football heart's content. The Mount Vernon Rams drew the Mattoon Green Wave. We'll talk more about that as I believe we're getting ready to honor America from Coles County. We'll slip out for a break. This is Rams football from WMIX Sports.
Pause for our national anthem here in just a moment.
Attention all Medicare Part D pharmacy patients. The annual enrollment period begins October 15th and ends December 7th. And the Medicine Shop Pharmacy is ready to help you. Stop by or call to make an appointment with Eric Black or Tracy Adams. They'll review your current prescription plan and help you manage your Medicare dollars. Here's pharmacist and pharmacy owner Eric Black.
What we offer to our patients is to sit down with them and answer questions they may have about their medication, really with the end goal of being to maximize their dollars, because that's, after all, what patients really want. We'll take appointments, sit down with them, take as long as it takes to help them choose a plan that is effective at meeting their needs.
Remember, the good folks at the Medicine Shop Pharmacy are never too busy to take care of you. They look forward to understanding your health care needs and will focus on keeping you well. The Medicine Shop Pharmacy, 2339 Broadway in Mount Vernon.
To call to make an appointment, call 618-242-8776. At Banterra, we understand that banking is a relationship. It's a friendly face that knows your name, understands your needs, supports your goals. Banterra offers a complete range of personal and business banking products with competitive rates and loans that range from small projects to multi-million-dollar opportunities. We offer conveniences such as online banking, mobile banking, and direct deposit. For a strong community bank with exceptional customer service, Banterra is a smart choice for your banking needs. Banterra Bank, a proud supporter of Southern Illinois high school sports. Member FDIC, equal housing lender. Your home for the Mount Vernon Rams is WMIX Sports, powered by Community First Bank.
And we welcome you back to Mattoon. Chris Hugo with Danny Czerwinski alongside. Jeff Crow is with us, bringing you video on WMIXsports.com. Holly Carroll back at the Mount Vernon studio, keeping us on the air on AM and FM WMIX. Of course, the Mount Vernon Rams and the Mattoon Green Wave here with a 3 o'clock kickoff set to ensue in about 9 minutes or so. Rams are back in the playoffs for the first time since 2008. They traveled to Bloomington, took a come-from-behind loss, so to speak, as the Purple Raiders were able to come back and get a big win. And now today, the Rams are looking for a win against an Apollo Conference foe. And, of course, they have the Green Wave from Mattoon, the Apollo Conference champs, thusly also the only team from the Apollo Conference to make the playoffs.
Well, they're only team because they're 5-0. And Mattoon, of course, joining the Apollo Conference last year, jumps into the playoffs 2 seasons in a row. They've had some berths in the Final Four. Back in 1974, the very first year of the state playoffs, they did get to the Final Four in 03 as well. They've been to the Sweet 16 5 other times, and, of course, total playoff appearances at 11. Of course, these two teams played in 1974 in the first year of the playoffs, with Mattoon winning 38-21. So, a long time ago, and Coach Scott Tickner on the sidelines for Rams today, one of the few people here probably been involved in both games in a coaching aspect or one way or another.
There you go. And, of course, the Rams, meanwhile, finished as runners-up in the South 7 Conference. Did finish 6-3, which did help improve their standing in the postseason. Got them what many consider to be a favorable draw with the Green Wave. Apollo Conference, not the Apollo Conference of old. Just the Green Wave, the lone qualifier of the playoffs. Everybody else was under 500 for the year with their overall record. So, as we take a look at common opponents, you have the Triad Knights, of course, for the Rams. The Rams got a nice win over them, but that was a road loss at Triad for the Green Wave, 36-33. And, of course, you also take a look at the Marion Wildcats. They combined for 100 points with the Wildcats in week number 2 on the road. Rams, meanwhile, lost to Marion 44-42 in overtime. What does any of this mean? Absolutely nothing, but does give you a general idea of how the Green Wave have performed across the season. And as you look at the results, you know Jared Pilson's the name to be reckoned with. Of course, as their quarterback has over 2,000 passing yards, leads the team in rushing with over 400 rushing yards on the season. But this is going to be a team that has kind of your run-of-the-mill Marion, Carbondale, not quite like a Rochester-like spread. We're going to see quite a few balls flying in the air from the Green Wave.
I think you'll see several of them in their short passing game. I think they're a team with the wind blowing below it is today. They can throw some short passes and let their hands, guys, receivers, take off with the football and try to gain some yards after catches here at Mattoon. The wind's going to be blowing across the field today for about 15 to 20 mile an hour. Some gusts. It's it's going to affect the football. But the one thing that might help in the middle of the field, this monstrosity of a press box that is, I don't know how tall, maybe 2-3 stories high. That's probably length of from the 10-yard line to the 10-yard line, maybe goal line to goal line, is going to block the wind if you get to certain points of this field, and then teams could take advantage, especially Mattoon, having played here, having known the wind, know where that can happen and where not to call plays as far as where they're at on the field.
Well, home field advantage is home field advantage for a reason. We talked about the playoffs at length on the Saturday Sports Show this morning. You can find that online at WMIXsports.com in our archives. We'll have this one archived as well. For the Rams, we hope to upload an audio archive after the day is done. That means they would still be going in their football season. A loss indicates that we'd put some video online from this Rams season. Either way, our archives are online at WMIXsports.com. Give us a follow on the Twitterverse at WMIXsports. And we are on Facebook as well. The Rams, of course, boast a bit of a different offense. Flexbone is what many have derived calling this particular offense. The Jared Shaner's Mount Vernon Rams run, of course. Very intensive running game. Some success in the passing game as well. But you take a look at the key cogs of this running game, and you have DeMontez Miller-Gray, who finished the regular season with 1,085 rushing yards. Not too shabby.
Well, the running game will be the most important aspect of Mount Vernon. They have more of a surgical passing game in which they use the pass on occasion. They don't like to use it as their main thing. They use it surgically, and they use it when they need to. And you're going to have to get some running running backs and some running game going up here today, because one thing about your defense, your offense is going to be your 12th man on defense today, because you have to control the football in the time of possession, because you can't have Mattoon have a lot of passing time and a lot of passing yards up and down this field.
Of course, the Vernon Rams in their white away uniforms with black numerics trimmed in orange and black pants and a black helmet that has a new Ram emblem on the right side are making their way on the field here at Mattoon. And for these Rams, of course, we'll talk about the keys to this afternoon's matchup in just a moment. Pardon us, it's been a while since we've done Saturday afternoon football, but when you take a look at this Ram team, we'll talk about those keys. Coming up in just a moment on your Landers Collision Center's pregame show. Big or small, Landers fixes them all. Now they detail them all, too. That's Landers Collision Centers of Mount Vernon and Salem, 1-888-LANDERS. That's 1-888-LANDERS. Of course, you look at the season that has been for the Rams. Some disappointments and some victories and moral victories along the way. Dating back to Week 1 on Friday, August the 30th, you kind of wondered what was going to happen with this Ram team. Showed some signs of promise. We didn't know just how good the Rochester Rockets were going to be in Week 1. We knew they were going to probably make the playoffs. Didn't know that they were going to technically roll undefeated, though they do lose. They actually had to forfeit the Sacred Heart Griffin game due to some issues with some rings that had been purchased for some players. So that ends up costing the Rams a playoff point, but for all intents and purposes, the Rockets were 9-0. But a big win at Mascoutah, 28-7, and the Rams really haven't had to look back ever since, with a nice roll over the rest of the way.
Well, and then the Mount Vernon has played very well, of course, and the Mount Carmel, Centurion Mount Carmel games in 8 and 9 have really made a difference as far as confidence, swagger, and the way these Mount Vernon Rams enter the football field. And of course, here today, you see what's going on as Mount Vernon Rams get an opportunity to play here on a Saturday afternoon in the first round of the IHSA State Football Playoffs.
First round action, it's coming up in just a moment. About 3 minutes left on the clock. We'll sneak out for a quick break. When we come back on your Landers Collision Center's pregame show, we'll have your Central Christian Church starting lineups. We'll also check in with your keys to this afternoon's game. It's 5A playoff football from Coles County, and this is Rams football from WMIX Sports.
Farming is critical to the continued growth of Southern Illinois, and I couldn't be more thankful for the service of the agriculture industry. Hi, Roy Schmidt, Ford dealer, Ford Square, Mount Vernon. We want to salute Farm Bureau members with a special incentive on remaining new 2013 Ford F-150s. If you are a Farm Bureau member, trade in a 1995 or newer Ford Ranger, you can purchase a new 2013 Ford F-150 two-wheel drive for only $18,000 plus tax, title, and destination. All you have to do is finance through Ford Motor Credit. Wow. We can't thank farmers enough for their dedication, but we can offer everyone in the Farm Bureau a great, honest deal on America's #1 truck. Come see one of our sales associates to get the best deal on the heavyweight truck champion at Ford Square, Mount Vernon, 1501 Broadway in Mount Vernon, Illinois, or shop us online at FordSquare.com and find us on Facebook and Twitter.
High school sports are back, and your source for scores is WMIXSports.com. Also, find archived local sports broadcasts, video highlights, national sports headlines, and more right at your fingertips. Listen and watch live WMIX sports broadcasts from your desktop or any mobile device. Need to score? Want to see a sick dunk? Miss a game? Didn't get up in time for the Saturday sports show? That's right. It's all at WMIXSports.com. Another free service from Withers Broadcasting. WMIXSports.com. Broadcasting live from the WMIX mobile studio, driven by King City Chrysler. This is Mount Vernon Rams football.
That's right. We're in the WMIX Sports Mobile Studios, driven by Ford Square. This is your Landers Collision Center's pregame show from Gaines Field and Mattoon. Keys to the game tonight for the Rams to get a victory for this quick kickoff.
Well, this quick kickoff, you're going to have to do a couple of things. Ride the wave. You're going to have to take your excitement of being in the playoffs and ride Mattoon out of what they like to do. On the surf, you like to hang 10 on big waves. Today, you're going to have to hang touchdowns on Mattoon. And the green light, you're going to have to get their offense off the field. If you can do that, that gives your offense a chance to have the ball, and Mount Vernon would have a chance to win the game today.
Of course, there you go. It'll be Dylan Reeves on to kick off. We'll get you your Central Christian Church starting lineups as the teams take the field. Right now it's the special teams. It's quarterback Dylan Reeves on to kick off. It is Hartbank, the near man. The far man, of course, at about the 5 is Jacob Stevens for the Green Wave, and they're green. It will not get that far as it takes a bounce to about the 20. Having some trouble with it is Jermaine Armstrong, but he's going to try to break to the near side between the hashes now at the near hash, 35 to the 45, and he'll be brought down by a big tackle by, I believe that to be my man, Brighton Bowers, the sophomore, and that's where Mattoon will have it. 1st and 10 from their own 45.
Pretty good field position to start now for Mattoon. Not something that Mount Vernon wanted to do. Several missed tackles on that, maybe a little of the nerves or whatever.
As we will take a look at the Rams defensively, your starting lineups at corner, it's Jacoby Marshall. The other corner will be DeMontez Miller-Gray. Your safeties in the secondary for Jared Shaner are Doug Gardner and Xavier Tyus. Linebackers in the middle, it's Jacob Williamson. Outside, it'll be Andrew Heiner and Graham Hinken. Tyler Knudsen and Robert Greiner are your ends. Your tackles are Brighton Bowers and Trevor Schubert for Jared Shaner's Ram defense. Those are brought to you by Central Christian Church. 11:51 to play. 1st and 10 for the 45. It's playoff football. Pilson out the shotgun. Look at the right-handed throw. Looking down to the near sideline. Batted away by Jacoby Marshall. The play is clean, says the official. So with 11:46 to play in the first quarter, we are scoreless. To remind you that Central Christian Church is online at thenewscentral.com. Log on to find amazing ministry multimedia and watch their Friday night and Sunday services online. That's thenewscentral.com. Central Christian Church, loving God and loving people. So out of the shotgun, 2 to the left, 2 to the right, single back set, the back in the backfield, Jermaine Armstrong. Pilson, the quarterback. It'll be Harris kind of trying to sneak through. Pilson on the option, slips, but able to maintain his footing. Tyler Knudsen gives chase, pulls him down across midfield, gets down to about the 47. So that'll be a gain of roughly 8. It'll bring up 3rd and 2 now for the Green Wave. No score here in the first quarter. So glad you could join us on WMIX, WMIX FM Mount Vernon, W229 AUFM Fairfield, and W243 AVFM Flora.
Early on, Mattoon will call the plays from the sideline. They will stay in their formation. They will look over, look at their bands. They'll call out a signal or look at their number in the spread formation.
That they will. The spread, 3 on the right, 1 on the left. Split the left side is Kittle. He had a big night. Pilson's trying to roll left side. There's going to be a flag in the backfield. Pass is complete to Malik Joyner at about the 40 in Ram territory. It'll be spotted on the 39. We'll see what happens. Holding's going to bring this one back. It's going to be 3rd and some extra yardage for the Green Wave. Scoreless with 11:08.
13-yard penalty now on Mattoon as that was holding on the offensive line on the pass. They pulled out, went to the right. And right now, Mattoon's trying to get into a rhythm offensively. The key will be if Mount Vernon's defense can get him off the field. We'll see Mount Vernon will definitely take the holding penalty here and push Mattoon back the extra 13 yards, and it'll be 3rd and forever here on this 3rd down.
3rd and forever indeed. This pushes it way back across midfield, back all the way to the Mattoon 31-yard line. It's going to push it back quite a bit of ways as we have about 11:08 to go. It's 3rd and 24 for the Green Wave. They'll go out of the shotgun, spread formation. Single back set with Jermaine Armstrong. Pilson, the right-hander at quarterback. Stands about 5. I'll make that 6'1", 190. He's going to try to break for it, trying to get to the outside far hash. It's about 27. Grider will give chase. Won't get there in time. It'll be overthrown. I don't see any flags as Pilson's brought down out of bounds. Of course, we remind you, always bank on your hometown team. Community First Bank, home of the one account, featuring free checking and high-yield interest, and this will bring up 4th and long for the Green Wave, forced upon.
Good start from Mount Vernon. They chased quarterback completely out of the pocket that time, did not let him get into a rhythm. And one thing about it, Pilson was running for his life there on the pressure, and Mount Vernon right now with the wind blowing at the punter from Mattoon, basically in his crosswind, will be able to probably get some decent field position out of this.
We'll get to know the Rams offense in just a moment. Doug Gardner inside outside from our perspective, I guess you could say, in the near hash. Standing about the 30. Malik Joyner on to punt. It'll bounce about midfield. This one will be down by Jermaine Armstrong. Good pickup there at about the 48-yard line where the Rams will have it 1st and 10.
That's a great start there. You get a stop defensively, 4 and out. You force Mattoon to punt into the wind. That's blowing kind of into their face here in Mattoon. Now the Rams will start with the wind at their back at their own 48, though you expect Mount Vernon to keep the ball on the ground most of the way.
There you go. So the Rams will have it 1st and 10 from their own 48-yard line, spotted on the near hash. For the quarterback, Dylan Reeves, he'll have targets and wide receivers, Doug Gardner and Jacoby Marshall. Running backs will be C.J. Lloyd, Graham Hinken, and, of course, DeMontez Miller-Gray will meet the line in just a moment. They've done a good job this season. As this is going to be an inside handoff to Graham Hinken as he will break for first down yardage, getting to near the 40-yard line in Mattoon territory. Ball happened, or I should say it was all the way on the near hash. It'll be a nice gain for Hinken. It'll be a gain of 11. It'll be 1st and 10 from the Green Wave 41.
That was pretty easy. Just a little buck trap up on the right side in the 2-hole, and he got through and got 10 yards easy that time, and they say that he got 9, did not get the first down.
That's an okay whatever if I ever saw one. Ball will be on the 41-yard line near hash. We'll meet the line again in just a moment. C.J. Lloyd going to be in motion. Inside handoff to Hinken. He has it off tackle this time. Rolled past the 40 to about the 39. Gain of 2 will bring up a Ram 1st down as they've gone 11 yards on the ground to start off this series. Your line, left guard is Alex Hopkins. Left tackle, London Marler. Your center is Tyler Bradley. And your right tackle, Eli Phillips. Right guard is Josh Borland. They've done a a phenomenal job in this 2013 campaign, paving the way for over 2,000 rushing yards this season. Split to the right, it'll be Marshall. On the left, it'll be Doug Gardner. Ball in the near hash at the Mattoon 40. Let's see what happens as Reeves is going to roll left side. They're going to chase off to turn back left, and he will throw this at the feet at his center, and that's going to be intentional grounding on the Rams. You can't just throw it to anybody. You got to get rid of that downfield or somebody that's a legal target.
He rolled out to his left. He had 3 defenders there. He spun back to his right, had 2 more guys coming at him, and he threw the football down at the feet of an offensive lineman, nowhere near a penalty. And the way the football staff is talking over there, it looked to me like that the wrong play was ran in that case. And, of course, for Mount Vernon, that's a 5-yard penalty and a loss of down there on that particular play. Mental mistake there by the Rams as far as that goes. Now they lose the down as well. It's 3rd down. That's an important loss there as far as down and distance.
So it'll be 3rd and 13 for the Rams. It'll back the ball all the way back to the Mattoon 43-yard line. Split to the right, it's Marshall. On the left, it'll be Doug Gardner. Same backs. They're going to load up to the right side. They're going to have C.J. Lloyd coming on a sweep, trying to get to the near side. Breaks the sideline to the 40. Not going to be enough as he meets a wall. And that wall will be met at about the 39-yard line. Will at least be a gain of 4, but it brings up just 4th and 7.
That penalty there where you lose the down and on that intentional grounding, that's an issue for Mount Vernon right now. The South 7 needs any kind of help they can get right now around scores in the playoffs.
You met those Rams offensive starters courtesy of Central Christian Church. Log on to thenewscentral.com for webcast, service times, and more information. Log on to thenewscentral.com. Going to go for it. The quarterback is under center. Split to the right side. Marshall on the left out of this flex bone trying to get Mattoon to go. They do. It'll be a 5-yard penalty. It'll be about 4th and 3 as that'll go to about the 38.
And Mattoon jumped off sides on that as long as you get in the playoffs, though, Chris, and you start running plays like that, and you got to be careful because you get officiating crews that do not know what you do. Of course, Mount Vernon gets the 5 yards there, but you have to be very careful how you run those penalties on that particular play.
So it'll bring up 4th, and they have about 4. It'll be 4th and about 3.5 for the Rams. The ball moves to about the 34-yard line inside the near hash. Same personnel for the Rams. Junior quarterback Dylan Reeves, of course, will be under center. In motion going to be C.J. Lloyd as Reeves is looking to plow ahead. Does he get it? Gets too near the 30-yard line. First down markers at the 29, right at the 31.
First down, Reeves gets there, of course, and you hear the fact that Mount Vernon across the way, a nice crowd made the trip up north to Coles County, and Mount Vernon keeping the ball on the ground, pushing this finesse-looking type of defense back for Mattoon, especially up front in the offensive line for the Rams, digging in and pushing back and gaining momentum.
9:22 to play in the first quarter. I apologize for not giving the time enough. I frankly just can't see it. Scoreless ball game here in the first quarter. Glad to have you on WMIX and WMIX FM. Video online at WMIXsports.com. As the quarterback Dylan Reeves will be under center. In motion, actually it's going to be a handoff. Ooh, nice move by DeMontez Miller-Gray trying to break to the outside. He's at the 20, 15. He may go with the 10. He's going to be brought out of bounds on a great tackle by Jermaine Armstrong. And that'll be a touchdown-saving tackle, but it'll be a first down run for DMG.
First down, 3rd one of the game so far. Mount Vernon driving early, and kind of scenario in a perfect storm that we heard about, where if Mount Vernon could get out and run the football, which is what a lot of people thought in this game, they're being very physical up front and taking care of business early on.
Suns peeking in and out of the clouds here this afternoon. Dylan Reeves and the Rams will have it 1st and goal from the 10-yard line, as this is going to be an inside handoff to Hinken. He's going to be stopped at about the 6, pushed back to about the 7, now tumbles to about the 8. We'll see where they give the spot based on forward progress with 8:50 to play in the first quarter. Still no score here from Coles County, but so glad you could join us for playoff football.
Right now, Mount Vernon making Mattoon. What they're going to make them do, Mattoon's in a 4-3. They roll the safety up to get a 4-4 look. But right now, you might have to see another guy or two come up in that 10-yard box to help out because Mount Vernon is dominating up front in the offensive line.
Split wide to the right, of course, will be Mr. Marshall. In motion, it's going to be DMG. Miller-Gray is going to get the carry, trying to get to the outside. Broke inside the 5 to about the 3. We'll see where they spot the ball to bring up 3rd and goal either way, as the Rams are going to be just outside the goal line at about the 1.5, maybe a full 2. With about 8:13 to go, still in the first quarter. Of course, that was one great play. Make your own great play when you open a Community First Bank free high-yield checking account that earns cash back. Just ask for 1 Member FDIC, our good friends at Community First Bank of the Heartland. Thankful to have them alongside again for yet another year of being the official voice of high school sports here on WMIX. In motion is going to be Reeves rolling to the outside as that was Miller Gray trying to get motion. Dives inside the pylon by Rula. Touchdown, and the Rams will take an early 6-0 lead.
That was easy. Dylan Reeves could have took it inside, went to the left, dove for the pylon, touched it and scored, and the Rams jump out on top on the road 6-0 and show some muscle and getting that first touchdown of the game.
Video streaming is powered by Rend Lake College, who can save you thousands in your college education. See how and apply online at rlc.edu. So C.J. Lloyd, who has a success rate of roughly about 50% on the PATs, will try to make it 7-0. Millwood on the hold. A good one it is. Almost blocked, but if that was tipped, it tipped it right in between the uprights to make it 7-0.
Yep. How? That takes care of business. You roll up here, you'll get a touchdown on the opening drive, make some plays, and you put them down a touchdown already. A little pressure on them as they try to move on and get back in this ball game.
Right here from Mattoon, it's 7-0. The Rams with the early lead over the Green Wave with approximately 7:48 to go here in the first quarter. So glad we could have you with us this afternoon. Force of habit to say tonight. Again, been a while since we've seen Saturday afternoon football, but you got to give a lot of credit to Jared Shaner. Stuck with the hand he was dealt there in 11 and 12, but you wouldn't be giving due credit to Brad Pancoast and Dan Mings, who had the program rolling prior, just kind of had a bit of a lull. And these kids, this team, this coaching staff has helped get them back to where Ram football has been used to being over about the past 10, 15 years.
Well, that drive there for Mount Vernon on the scoring drive, 8 plays, 52 yards, 3 minutes and 6 seconds. And Mount Vernon makes nice use of great field position to start for their opening drive.
Well, it was a great run indeed. About 7:48 to play in the first quarter. We'll get you some scores from around the region here in just a moment. Don't forget, you can always stay up to date with us on Twitter at WMIX Sports. Central Illinois crew, Mac Ryder, Mike Swick, Greg Mullinax, Jim Wagner, and Mike Thornton, I believe, primarily from around maybe the Jasper County area. I saw it on a website where you can go to see all of the officials for every game, but forgot to get all of their locations. Is this going to be a kick to Reeves? It's going to be picked up on a bad hop by Ali, looking to get to the right side. It's going to be brought down maybe for a 3-yard kickoff return as he picked it up at about the 35, got it to the 38. It'll be 1st and 10 for the Green Wave. It'll be spotted on the far hash.
Yeah, Mount Vernon gives up that field position. Not bad on Mount Vernon, I should say. Mattoon will start at their own 38, so they lose some yards as they start this particular drive.
So the Green Wave out of the shotgun. This time the single back will be Jacob Stevens. He's the 3rd rusher on this team. Pilson, the number 1 rusher. 3 to the left, 1 to the right. Inside handoff for Stevens. The Rams somewhat sniff it out. Give credit on that one to DeMontez Miller-Gray, the cornerback and the linebacker, I believe, Mr. Jacob Williamson, the team's leading tackler, for the assisted effort.
Well, right now, Mattoon pushing a little bit, going to try to pick the tempo up.
2nd and 8, Pilson, the quarterback, out of shotgun. Of course, a single back set with trips to the left, 1 on the right side. Rams are ready for things to go here. 12 on the play clock. On the game clock, they're 7:16, a 7-0 ball game with the Rams on top. Looking to the left side now for the pass. That'll be complete to Malik Joyner. He will get past midfield, past the 45, down to about the 42-yard line, as that is going to be a gain of about 18 through the air for the Green Wave, and an important Mattoon first down.
Yeah, and I think for Mattoon, they got to get back into this one, come back with a drive and a scoring drive, because Mount Vernon so easily came back and pushed the ball down the field their first drive. Mattoon's got to come back and say, hey, you're not going to do this all the time.
Pilson, the quarterback, will be out of the shotgun. The lone back in the backfield will be Jacob Stevens, number 36, 3 on the right this time. Pilson looking to run right. Ooh, gets a nice little block there as he looks to shake to the outside at about the 40, but the boom is leveled by, I thought, that was a safety coming down. I thought that was. Actually, no, it was not the safety. That was Rush, who came in as a backup corner. Was able to get a big tackle there. Saved a first down, so it'll be 2nd and 8 on the gain of 2, as that is now on the Green Wave 40. Ball on the far hash. 3 left this time, 1 to the right. Pilson, the quarterback, out of the shotgun. Stevens still his lone back. Hartbank, one of the receivers to the left, as is Malik Joyner. Jacob Harris is out there as well. Travis Kittle's on the right side. Had a big game against Jerseyville. As the quarterback's trying to roll the right side, gets past Hinken, now steps out of bounds for a first down. That's going to be about the 31, 32-yard line. First down yardage for the Green Wave, and the play just kind of stopped defensively, and the Green Wave able to surf for a first.
And you can see right there, Mount Vernon has a spy on the quarterback for Mattoon, and he got loose. Didn't stay back there very long. Seems to have very action-moving feet when somebody even starts to think about coming to him, running around the right side for that first down for 10 yards.
First and 10 from the Mount Vernon 31 on the far hash. Look at the left side. Had trips come up the left. Has Hartbank wide open. This one's going to be tipped away. That is an incomplete pass, as that is tipped away by Jacoby Marshall. Hartbank trying to argue that he came up with it. He did not. At about the 5. Would have been a big play, but it was tipped, fell to the ground, incomplete.
Well, and that's the problem. That ball did hit the ground. Good call by the back judge back there. One thing about Mount Vernon, if you can't catch that ball, you got to knock it down or do something with it. That time it was tipped up in the air. You don't want to lift it. You got to knock it down if you can't get to it, because you don't want the other team to come through and make a catch.
5:58 to go in the first quarter. 7-0. Rams on top. Green Wave with the football. 2nd and 10. It'll be on the Mount Vernon 31-yard line. Ball on the far hash. It's the right hash. It's the Green Wave go from right to left. Rams defend left to right. As Pilson's looking to the left side, it's going to be across the middle to Malik Jordan. Now between the hashes, gets brought down at about the 15. It's going to be fumbled. Let's see if it's down by contact. It is. And it'll be first down for the Green Wave.
Definitely down by contact, as he did hit shoulder first. Another pass, another completion for Mattoon as they go in 20s on this particular drive.
With 5:51 to play in the first quarter, Rams having some issues with the Green Wave spread here. 3 to the left, 1 to the right. Shotgun set with the single back. Jacob Stevens. Pilson, the quarterback. It's going to be an inside handoff to Stevens. He's going to run right up the middle for the touchdown. And the Green Wave look to tie it. They trailed 7-6 with 5:35 left.
Yeah, that was easy. Way too easy on that. Just right up the middle on a fullback dive. And unfortunately for Mount Vernon, it was that easy, as their defense never touched the running back for Mattoon as he drove in and scored.
WMIX Sports Mobile Studios are driven by King City Chrysler Center, home of the Express Lane, fast oil changes, and more. At 1603 Broadway in Mount Vernon, no appointment is necessary. On to a kick, the PAT is Andy Dole, and here it comes. Looks like it ties things up from here at 7, so we're tied at 7. The Rams and the Green Wave. 5A football action here from Coles County. 5:35 left to play in the first quarter. We'll get you some scores in just a moment. They will be brought to you by Tony Wilt, State Farm Agent of Mount Vernon. Would love to help your family with all of their insurance needs. Find Tony on the web, look for him in his office, or look for the white State Farm Jeep around town and get to a better state with State Farm.
Scoring drive, 7 plays, 62 yards, and 2 minutes and 13 seconds gets Mattoon right back in this ball game.
Some scores are just games I should say, just starting to wrap up from around the region.
Well, it's not looking good right now. Staunton leads Fairfield late 4th, 8-0. Carlisle beat El Dorado 29-14. Greenville's all over Freeburg 49-14. AJ trails Robinson at the half 15-7. Carterville all over Vina Goreville 48-13. Mount Carmel over Breeze Central 29-21. Altoff advances to the second round in 4A, beating Columbia on the road 35-14. Heron losing at home into 3, 14-6. Mater Dei over Olney in the third, 28-14. Normal U High beat Decatur MacArthur last night, 27-6. And Marion shut out at home at halftime to Jacksonville, 28-0. And Highland all over Carbondale in that ball game at Highland, 21-0 late second quarter.
Winner of this game gets the winner of Washington and Peoria next week. If the Rams would happen to win, they'd be at home regardless. As they would, if Peoria were to pull the upset, of course the Rams would have the higher seed and get the home game. A lot of work to be done here. There is still 5:35 left to go in the first quarter. We are just tied at 7. We'll see if the Rams get the football here, if we'll see any trickery from the kicker.
Well, right now 7-7. Whew, that was too easy for Mattoon to go down the field that time.
Well, and something that has plagued them, an effective running game, is what got them the touchdown up the middle. Here comes the kick by Dole. It'll be on the ground. Rush wanted a piece of it. He'll pick it up, tipped it to himself. He'll be leveled at the 30. So it'll be a half-yard kickoff return for Jylan Rush, the sophomore, and that's where the Rams will have it 1st and 10 on the far side of the field.
Luckily with the hit, he didn't fumble that football away. Right now, you're looking to the South 7. Altoff wins. Of course, they're playing 4A. Marion shut out the half down big. Carbondale shut out the half down big. Mount Vernon going to be in a fight here this afternoon. Doesn't look good for the South 7 or many of the schools in the Black Diamond either way so far this afternoon.
So it'll be split to the left for Gardner on the Ram 30, split to the right. It'll be Jacoby Marshall. Under center will be the quarterback, Dylan Reeves. C.J. Lloyd going to be in motion inside handoff. It's going to go to Graham Hinken. Looks
Fumble.
like
Yeah, they do.
So the Rams fumble the football at about the 33-yard line and give it right back to the Green Wave.
Well, and you could see it came out with a strip. There was a hand in there on the football, and the defender from Mattoon got a hand in on the point of it. You can see the point sticking out on the run, took it and stripped it right out, and Mattoon will start at the Mount Vernon 34, and they have an opportunity really to go ahead in this ball game with great field position in Rams territory.
We're tied at 7, 5:23 to play in the first quarter. Green Wave football, they'll have it on the Ram 33-yard line, far hash. Pilson working out of the shotgun, empty backfield, 2 to the right, 3 to the left. Passing game has been the name of that game for the Green Wave offensively. We'll see what the senior can do. Gets the snap. He is going to be flushed out. Good chasing there at about the 35. Now gets a block, and it'll be wide open to Hartbank at about the 15-yard line. It'll be Doug Garner to bring him down inside the 15 at about the 12. We'll see where they spot the football, but that's a huge gain through the air for the Green Wave, and they are threatening.
They're not threatening. They're starting to spread Mount Vernon out a little bit, and you can see what they're doing is when the quarterback gets loose and starts running around crazy, the defense loses track of the defender, the receivers, and all of a sudden it's trouble.
So now we'll bring Jermaine Armstrong back into the backfield out of the shotgun. Looking to the right side in the flat, they'll connect, and that is going to be possibly, they got to bring him down as initial contact was made by Grider, the defensive end. They'll bring down Armstrong. It'll be back at about the 19. That's going to be a loss of about 8 possibly if it holds, and they're going to give a little bit better spot at about the 18.
Yep. Forward progress that time, swing pass out to the right. Mount Vernon had him dead to rights. Probably should have done a little bit better job once they had his leg stopped and his momentum. Probably should have done a better job of stripping that football out there. Just a lot of shoulder pad tackles that didn't help, but they lose 5, about 8 yards, as you mentioned. Makes it 2nd and 18 now.
With 5 Jefferson County branches and responsive quality service for all of your accounts, Community First Bank would like to be the first to say, welcome back to personal banking. Member FDIC. It'll be 2nd and 17 from the 18. Looking back to the right side, Pilson's going to be flushed down. Hickens going to give chase. Unable to get a hand on him, and he
It's about 8 back. It's about that minus penalty back. Boy, is he a handful on the run.
Yes, he is. 3rd and 10. That's where the Rams have been susceptible at times this season. And you go back to look at video against games like Mascoutah and Althoff that were left online by those schools, and those are haunting you today because those are the exact same plays that the Rams are falling victim to here.
Yep.
That's why we don't do it. So it'll be 3rd and 10 for the Green Wave. 4:15 to play in the first quarter. 7-7 ball game. Ball on the 11. Play clock is at 12. Now to 11. Out of the shotgun, the quarterback, Pilson, has a single back with Jermaine Armstrong. To the right, it's Kittle. 2 to 3 on the left side. Now looking left for the pass. He's going to be on the run. Rams will give chase. Let's see. Can they catch him on the near side? Huge block, and that is going to be a touchdown.
Wow.
Huge
that
block
was not
about
a penalty.
the 4.
That should have been a penalty. It was in a block and a back scenario. No way you cannot call that, but they didn't do it, and he gets the first down and the touchdown. And off the turnover, Mount Vernon trails 13-7.
So Tyus takes a helmet to the back, and it ends up as a touchdown for the Green Wave. We'll see if they can get the PAT to make this a 14-7 lead. Unreal.
Yep, that happens. And unfortunately for Mount Vernon, turnovers in the playoffs will hurt you greatly.
As the kick from number 82, Andy Dole, is good. We're tied at 14. Or it's 14-7, I should say. Tied at 14 is wishful thinking.
Well, that was a bad little deal there. Mattoon goes under about a minute 29. And in that particular play, they only had to go 34 yards on 4 plays. And Mattoon, we can see why. They can score some points quickly. This Pilson goes 11 yards.
It made it look absolutely easy. Quarterback out of the spreads, shotgun set, and ultimately runs it in after getting a nice block, you could say, at about the 4.
Well, now Mount Vernon has to come back. You cannot have your defense back on the field very quickly here in this situation. You've got to get some offense going, get some first downs, give that defense a little bit of a breather here as they've been put to the test back to back.
22-8, Gillespie leads Lawrenceville in the third quarter, scoring on the first drive to the Miners. 4:06 to play here in the first quarter. The Rams will have the football, we hope, and maybe hang on to it in this particular series, having a little bit of issue with the turnover, and that allows the Green Wave to take a touchdown lead here in Mattoon. Chris Hugo with Danny Czerwinski alongside. Jeff Crow has the video angles on WMIXSports.com. Holly Carroll takes care of us back on WMIX, AM and FM in our Mount Vernon studio. We're in the WMIX Sports Mobile studios, driven by Ford Square. So Dole on to kick off, back to return. It'll be DeMontez Miller-Gray. A couple of guys in front at about the 20 with DMG at about the 10. Dole on to kick. It's not going to get that far. It's going to bounce off of a Ram hands guy. It's going to be to Doug Gardner about the 40. He's not going to have much of a return, but the Rams get decent field position on the ricochet.
Well, if you want to play it like that and make it short field for Mount Vernon, that's what they're electing to do. They feel their defense can do some things, and they're short gaming and going from there.
Of course, the Rams will have the football to start the second half as they did kick off to open the game. They have it now, 1st and 10 from their own 40. Ball spotted on the near hash. It'll be split to the right, Marshall. On the left, it's Doug Gardner. Same backs with Lloyd Hinkin and DeMontez Miller-Gray with the quarterback reads under center. Miller-Gray's in motion. Inside handoff's going to come to Hinkin, trying that run up the gut. It's going to be a gain of maybe 2 if they're fortunate, which would bring up 2nd and 8 as it gets to the 42-yard line.
Now, Mattoon right now, they started out in that 4-3, rolled the safety up to the 4, and you see right now they're starting to put some more green jerseys up in that 10-yard box. In fact, that particular play and into this one now, they've got 10 guys within about 7 or 8 yards of the line of scrimmage, so Mount Vernon's going to have to do some different things here as you see 2 receivers, one out left, one split out to the right now for the Rams.
Quarterback Dylan Reeves is going to be under center. A couple of slot backs out there with a fullback. It's going to be DeMontez Miller-Gray trying to break up the middle, makes a nice spin move at about the 48, gets to about midfield. We'll see if the dive gets him enough for a Mount Vernon first down.
The fact that Mount Vernon spread the receivers out, it spread Mattoon's defense out. They couldn't go all within the tackles and their defenders. That allowed Miller-Gray to get out and get, what a nice mark for the first down.
Yes, it is.
He wasn't anywhere close to that.
It'll be 8 for DMG, and the hyphen gets the Rams another touchdown. 3:19 to play in the first quarter. Mattoon 14, Mount Vernon 7. Chris Hugo with Danny Czerwinski on WMIX. Glad to be back with you. Hard to believe it is week 10 of the football season. Not hard to believe the Mount Vernon Rams are in it. Dylan Reeves at their center, split left, split right. Couple of slot backs, running backs, if you will, with the fullback Graham Hinkin. Under center, of course, is the quarterback Reeves. DeMontez will be in motion. He's going to get it off the left side, trying to break to the sideline. He's at the 40. Oh, loses the football, and the Rams will have another fumble in Coles County as he lost it. Was hit from behind, lost the football at about the 30, and that's where the Green Wave will have it. And if I'm the Rams, I don't want to come back to Coles County no more.
Well, yeah, back when they went to Charleston, their last playoff game, they fumbled the football a lot, and now Mount Vernon squirts it out, had it there, and a back tap, fumbled the football, and now Mount Vernon's in some trouble here as Mattoon has the ball back again in this first quarter.
So it'll be 1st and 10 for the Green Wave at about the 30. Mattoon on top, 14-7. With about 2:54 left to go in the first quarter. Pilson, the quarterback, out of the shotgun, and they're going to lure the Rams offside, so give them 5. It'll be 1st and 5 from the 35.
That's an excellent play call there because you got a Mount Vernon team that's frustrated, especially probably the defense having to go back out there, and, of course, they get him to jump off sides 5 yards. Second penalty for 10 yards for Mount Vernon today total.
There you go. So it'll be 1st and 5 for the Green Wave. Armstrong, the running back, with Pilson, the quarterback, 3 on the left side. Joyner, Harris, and, of course, Hartbank. And they just gave it right back.
Well, you can do worse. We can do worse better. As Mount Vernon jumped off sides, then Mattoon got 5 yards, and they decided to start early. So we'll give you back to you what you did, and we'll play fair now.
We'll go to the original line of scrimmage, where it'll be 1st and 10 from the Green Wave 30. Ball spotted inside the far hash. Quarterback working out of the shotgun with a single back. 3 to the left, 1 to the right. Kittle on the right side as Pilson's looking downfield. It's going to be a lob throw toward the sideline. It's going to be overthrown to about the Mount Vernon 41, where it'll fall incomplete. And that'll keep the clock at 2:48 left to go here in the first. 14-7 Green Wave. It'll bring up 2nd and 10, I think, is where we are now.
Good coverage by Mount Vernon that time. Bad pattern ran by the receiver because he pinned himself to the sideline, had nowhere to go but out of bounds, and a little nudge by a defender had him step on the out-of-bounds line. The official's hat came off, meaning that guy couldn't catch it anyway, so it was a mute play before even the ball got in the air.
3 to the left, 1 to the right for the Green Wave out of the spread. Shotgun formation for the quarterback, Pilson. Jermaine Armstrong is the lone back. And this is going to be a handoff to Armstrong, trying to run right up the middle. Does so. It's going to have to beat Doug Gardner. Does so. Gets to midfield. Outside, pulled down by Doug Gardner. And now that's going to be a horse collar tackle on the Rams secondary.
25-yard run, and then you're going to tack on another 15 for the horse collar. And boy, Mount Vernon giving it away here early in this first quarter with the turnovers and penalties here as we start in this first quarter of this playoff game.
As the Rams have 7 points, giving up 7 points off of the turnover. Green Wave trying to make it another 7. 2:42 to play in the first. It's 14-7 Mattoon here on the road in Coles County.
Guess who's coming in the chopper?
Nice.
The chop is on the way to Mattoon, a.k.a. Charleston.
Like close enough.
We saw Charleston almost.
We did.
Ooh.
So let's see what happens here. Out the shotgun, the ball moves to the Mount Vernon 29-yard line. On the far hash is a spot. Pilson, the quarterback, out of the gun. Has one to the right, three to the left. Jermaine Armstrong is his lone back to his right, and the official's going to step in. Let's see what happens.
I can tell you this Black Diamond will have one team left today. After that,
Only because of one
El Dorado's
guaranteed.
out, Fairfield's out, Vienna Goreville's out, and Chester and Carmi play each other. Everybody else lost. Wow.
Bottom of the hour, this is WMIX and WMIX FM, Mount Vernon, Marion, Effingham, a free service from Withers Broadcasting. So glad you could join us. Chris Hugo with Danny Czerwinski. Jeff Crow is with us up here in Mattoon, and back in Mount Vernon is Holly Carroll taking care of things back at the studio. Pilson will be out of the shotgun, single back set with the... Looks like Jermaine Armstrong, the junior, stands 5'10". Pilson, a strong quarterback, has 2,000 passing yards, and it shows. But trying to get to over 500 rushing yards as he fumbles the football. Who comes up with it? Fumbled the football at about the 21-yard line. Nobody looks all that excited for the Rams, which means it's Green Wave football.
Yep, dropped out. Mount Vernon couldn't jump on it, unfortunately, and the drive continues for Mattoon. How are we pronouncing Mattoon today? Do we know?
Mattoon.
Mattoon?
Mattoon.
Okay, I'm
Mattoon.
just checking. Got to make it special.
It's Matt if you're the NOAA weather radio. Split to the right, three to the left now for Pilson, the quarterback, out of the shotgun. 2nd and 8 on the 21. Looking to the left side, going to be flushed out. Rams will give chase, and he will dump this off, and it's going to be complete to Malik Joyner. Makes a spin move, trying to drive forward to about the 5. Finally brought down. It's going to be spotted about the 6. That'll be a gain of about 15, I believe, and it'll make it 1st and goal for the Green Wave, who are making this their game.
This game here is starting to get away from Mount Vernon defensively. Mattoon is starting to pick apart the defense for Mount Vernon right now. Chapa is going to have to find a place to land.
1:50 to play in the first quarter. 14-7 Green Wave. Out of the shotgun is the quarterback Pilson. See what they're able to do. The big, tall, lanky right-handed quarterback as he looks right side. Has a guy coming across. It's Malik Joyner. Wide open in the end zone, just past the goal line. Sneaks in for 6 from the 6, and it's 20-7. And a team I honestly thought had no chance against the Rams is up 20-7.
Turnovers will make everything better for a team, and Mattoon has scored 3 touchdowns in the first quarter, and we're still not done. And it's, again, turnovers are hurting the Mount Vernon Rams today. They've given away 2 scores on these turnovers.
With 1:33 to play in the first. The Stoll is on to kick, and it'll split the upright. Should make it 21-7. We'll wait for the official word. So 21-7 the score here. We'll get to some scores.
5 plays, 70 yards, about a minute and a half. As the kick is good. We've had 4 extra points good in this game. You and I have not seen that this year, but the bottom problem is Mattoon's up 21-7.
That is indeed the case here in the first quarter. Late in the first quarter with 1:33 to play, and yikes. 14 points off of the turnover, off of fumbles, we should say, for the Green Wave here this afternoon, and that is the difference in this ball game thus far. Of course, the Green Wave got a big win last week with over allegedly 500 passing yards against Jerseyville. I've seen multiple numbers from that, but what a ball game Pilson had as a quarterback. Of course, they had a receiver with over 200 yards receiving last week, Travis Kittle, and just an amazing effort against Jersey. The Panthers losing in that one 48-33, a different look to the Panthers, who were 9-0 last year, but have a redshirt freshman standing at Syracuse right now on the sideline. Yeah. So you look at that and you think, well, that's not the same Jersey team, but maybe still a pretty strong Panther team, although they have a tough one.
Oh, boy. 2 touchdowns is the limit today. Mount Vernon can ill afford to get down any further.
Well, if they hang on to the football, they may be okay. That's going to be the issue. If they can hang on to the football and sneak away a score here and figure something out, they might be all right. But Andy Dole will be on to kick off. This one's not going to get back to Miller Grade about the 10. He is the deep man. Gardner and Lloyd, I believe, just in front. As this one is going to be, it's going to be somewhat muffed, and is this going to be Mattoon football? Nope, looks like the Rams may have recovered about the 34-yard line.
Wow.
Rush gave it a go, but you got to fall on that at that point after it's already touched about 3 guys and hit the ground.
Yeah, you can't try to go baseball player and have a glove. You can't pick up this pigskin with it the way it is, and right now it is not going very well for Mount Vernon. They need a drive here of several yards.
21-7 Mattoon, a minute 26 to go in the first quarter. Ball will be on the 34-yard line in Ram territory on the far hash. It'll be Gardner left side, split to the right, Jacoby Marshall. Let's see what Reeves and the gentleman decide to do. Miller Gray's going to go left, trying to break to the outside at the sideline, gets to the 45, has first down yardage to about the 47-yard line. That's going to be a nice gain of about 13 for DMG, the hyphen.
And that's the thing, Chris, as you mentioned, Mount Vernon can move the football. The question is, can you hang on to it? And you got to hold on to it because you don't want Mattoon to get on the field and score, as Mount Vernon's dealt with firsthand.
Of course, you can always bank on your hometown team. Community First Bank, home of the One account, featuring free checking and high-yield interest. Member FDIC. Split left, split right, same backs for the Rams. This time Lloyd's in motion. Going to be an inside handoff to the fullback Ram Hinken, as he is going to get about a couple on the play right up the middle. To about the 40, about the 48 would only be a gain of 1. We'll see where they spot the football. It'll be second down for the Rams. Get a nice spot to about midfield, allegedly on forward progress. So a gain of about 3 will make it second and roughly 7 for the Rams, as there's about 59 seconds left to go in this opening quarter from Mattoon.
No panic here from Mount Vernon. You can stay well within your game plan that you came up here with. Run the football, pound it up and down this field, and make Mattoon play a physical game with you.
I think that's the important thing for the Rams to keep in mind here. Just first quarter action. On the road in Coles County, the quarterback, Dylan Reeves, will be under center. Split left, split right, same backs. Miller Gray in motion. They're going to run the hyphen to the left side. He'll be brought down for a loss as number 36, Jacob Stevens, the corner, sniffs out and causes a loss.
Well, right now, Mount Vernon needs to get to the end of this first quarter and regroup a little bit.
Rams will not have to run a play. It'll be third and about 9 or so as we drop below the 20-second mark here in the first quarter. 21-7, Mattoon on top. Now with about 10 seconds left to go. So they're going to go ahead and get a play in here, we think. Toward the end of this first quarter now with about 4 on the clock. It'll be snapped, looking for the fade route left side. Gardner's going to have some guys to beat. Doug comes away with it. He's going to run 20, 15, 10. Brought down at about the 5, inside the 5, maybe at the 5. It'll be at the 5. It'll be a gain of 43 through the air, and that'll be big as that's going to end the first quarter.
How about that? That's a good way to end the quarter there.
I was kind of wondering why run the play, but that's why they ran the play. It'll be a gain of 43.
I think Mattoon was sitting there thinking they were done with the quarter, and all of a sudden Mount Vernon runs the play and gets a 55-yard pass.
Sometimes the best answers to our own questions lie within our own mind. And that is the answer to that. The Rams caught Mattoon napping in the first quarter, though. It's Mattoon 21, Mount Vernon 7. We'll take a break. This is Rams football from WMIX Sports.
This is your local State Farm agent, Tony Will. I want to thank Mount Vernon and the surrounding area for continuing to support us over the past 5 years. If you have never sat down with someone to go over your insurance program, let me invite you into our office. Let us show you what working with the industry leader, represented by a local agent, can do for you. I'm located just off 42nd Street. You can reach our office 24 hours a day at 242-1421 or on the web at tonywilt.com. Thanks again, and go Rams.
Hi, this is Joe David Cummins, President of Community First Bank. Now is a great time to move your account to Community First Bank. With our new One account offering the highest interest rate in the market, free checking, and CD specials delivered by people you know and trust, why would you not bank with the market leader in Jefferson County? We offer 5 locations, 7 ATMs, and have been serving the Jefferson County market since 1906. Stop in and see why our bank is the fastest growing bank in Jefferson County. Community First Bank. Welcome back to Personal Banking, member FDIC.
Broadcasting live from the WMIX mobile studio, driven by King City Chrysler. This is Mount Vernon Rams football.
We start the second quarter from Mattoon. The Rams are threatening first and goal from the 5-yard line. Near hash as they go right to left. Miller Gray's looking to shake inside the end zone. Jukes Jives Wales for the score. It'll be a 5-yard run for DMG. The hyphen makes it 21-13, and this is a brand new ball game.
Well, that's what the Rams needed, to come back down and get something going. And thank goodness Miller Gray got in and kind of got this game a little bit closer.
So we'll see if the Rams can get the PAT. It'll be C.J. Lloyd, again about a 50% clip on the year, as he has taken over the PATs over the latter portion of the season after having only attempted 1 early on. We'll see what they're able to do here. Holding will be Reed Millwood, future middle infielder for Tim Holloway more than likely. And the baseball team, as this one is going to be blocked. So no go, and it's 21-13, and there's a point left on the field.
Yeah. That's an issue.
Of course, that previous play to end the first quarter from Reeves to Gardner to take it to the 5 and make it first and goal was one good play. Make your own great play when you open a Community First Bank free high-yield checking account that earns cash back. Just ask for one. Community First Bank, member FDIC, the official voice of the Rams, here on WMIX. Of course, basketball will be here before you know it. We'll be publicly releasing our basketball broadcast schedule here over the next few weeks. Of course, we'll have to because the season will be here in a few weeks.
Well, 21-13, that doesn't work. Kick no good. But the Rams marched down the field, though, which was even nicer. In 5 plays, they go 66 yards in the span of about 3 minutes. And now, if you're Mount Vernon, you've got a little momentum. Now you got to play some defense.
That's going to be the key. Of course, now you don't want to breathe a true sigh of relief just yet because it's a case where you thankfully did not turn the ball over there. But now as you score and you're only down to one possession, hopefully the defense can relax a little bit and play the Ram defense that we've seen against teams of similar styles. It'll be Dylan Reeves on to kick off. And this one's going to be onside, and this is going to be some trouble for the Green Wave. Rams are hopping as if they have it. They do have it. And the Rams will have it 1st and 10 from the 49. They go onside and get it back. Trying to come up with it was Derek Pierce, one of the safeties for the Green Wave. Couldn't come up with it. Rams do. It'll be 1st and 10, and there's a turnover maybe to spark some rejuvenated interest.
Well, what they could do worse, Mattoon can do worse better. Could not catch the football, knocks it down, and you hate to use that phrase all the time, but that's basically what it is, as Mount Vernon will start with the football at the 50-yard line.
So good field position here for the Rams to get it right back after scoring just a moment ago. We have 11:52 left to go in the first half. So we're in the second quarter. It's 21-13. Rams trailing the Green Wave. Here on the road at Mattoon, it's the 5A football playoffs, first round action, as the Rams come in the number 10 seed to Mattoon's number 7. Quarterback Reeves will be under center, split to the left and split to the right. Quarterback Reeves again under center. Lloyd's going to be in motion. A sweep play for Seajoy. Ooh, he's going to get to the outside at about the 45. Mows down to about the 40, maybe the 41-yard line. So it's going to be about an 8.5-yard gain for C.J. Lloyd. Here comes the chopper. That must be the V1.
Yeah. Channel 3 has made their appearance. They go fancy. And the chopper's circling. They're going to have to land on the ball field or back there in the... Can't land on that side of the shot put area because they got a big tackle football game going on. Reminds me of being at Johnson City.
Under center, the quarterback Reeves. Going to be a quarterback keeper. Feigns the inside handoff. Comes out of tackle as he rolls between the hashes. Got to about the 36-yard line. That'll be a 5-yard gain. It'll be enough for a first down. And the chains will roll here with 11:10 to play in the first half. 21-13. Mattoon on top. Rams looking to stay in this one.
Trying to get in, trying to do this one right, and Mount Vernon trying to get back and tie this thing up. Boy, it would be nice if they could tie it up.
See what happens here. The Rams and the Green Wave on WMIX and WMIX-FM. Video at WMIXsports.com. Video archives will return after the season is complete, and we'll go by opponent after opponent as far as who's been eliminated. If a team's still active, we will not release that video. Dylan Reeves under center. C.J. Lloyd in motion. Going to go for the sweep to the right side, trying to stretch. It's going to be to about the 35-yard line. Who's going to tumble forward to about the 34, 33, maybe the 32, depending upon the spot. Gain of about 4 will bring up 2nd and 6 for the Rams with 10:40 to play in this first half.
Hey, if you're Mount Vernon, you go on a drive about 5, 6, 7 minutes. You do what you got to do.
If you're looking for an award to recognize an individual team or other accomplishment, check out Winning Edge's fashionable line of plaques, trophies, medallions, glass, and acrylics. Visit winningedgeusa.com. That's Winning Edge, serving all of Southern Illinois, especially Jefferson County. 21-13 to score. Mattoon on top. Rams looking for the tying possession here with 10:15 to play in the half. Miller Gray's in motion. Plowing forward is going to be the quarterback Reeves, and the QB will dive to about the 30. Make that to 26. That's going to be a gain of about 7. They're right there, and that's going to be a first down.
Yeah, not a lot of penalties in this one. Mount Vernon doing a good job of controlling the line of scrimmage, and, of course, if you're Mount Vernon, you got to keep that going.
So 21-13, Green Wave are up 8. The Rams have missed a PAT. That was on the most recent score. And now threatening here with 9:55 to play in the first half. It'll be 1st and 10 from the Green Wave 25. Ball inside the near hash. Reeves, the quarterback, Out of the power I. It'll be split left and right. It's going to be a handoff to Lloyd. Ooh, does he get enough as he spins inside after a block? Got inside the 25, maybe to the 23. We'll see how big of a gain that's going to be. It's going to be second down for the Rams. Second and about 8. Right about 9:34 to go.
And right now, Mount Vernon's starting to settle this game down a little bit, which is exactly what Mount Vernon needs here in this one.
9:24 to play. Here we are, second quarter action from Mattoon. Left and right are the splits. Gardner left, Marshall to the right. Slot backs and a fullback. They are C.J. Lloyd to Montez Miller-Gray, your fullback Graham Hinken, the quarterback. Dylan Reeves is under center with Lloyd in motion. This is going to be an inside handoff to Montez, and the Hyphens looking to break for a run up the middle. Got past the 15, plunges forward to about the 12-yard line, and that is going to be a first down for the Rams on 11 or 12 yards.
Chewing up chunks of yardage here, play after play, and right now Mount Vernon driving the football on the onside kick, trying to get back into this one.
So it'll be first and 10 from about the Mattoon 11. The Rams get a first down without a score. Here with 8:58 left to play. Chris Hugo with Danny Czerwinski alongside. We appear courtesy of Community First Bank of the Heartland, the official voice of Rams Athletics here on WMIX. So split left and right for the Rams. Wide to the left side at about the near hash. Around the 11 is Doug Gardner. Quarterback is Dylan Reeves. He is under center, Tyler Bradley. So this is going to be to Montez. He's going to come left side. Ooh, looking to brush past the defender to about the 10. A gain of 1 will bring up second and 9.
Didn't have that step, did he? Looked like he'd gotten a lot of carries in the recent drive and just didn't have that burst to get to the outside and cut up in that hole off the outside of the line.
We'll get some more Tony Wilt, State Farm, scoreboard updates in just a moment. Tony Wilt would love to help your family with all their insurance needs. Stop by and see him in his office. Look for him online at TonyWilt.com. Give him a call. Or try to find the white State Farm Jeep around town. Get to a better state with State Farm agent Tony Wilt at Mount Vernon. Quarterback Reeves under center. Split right, split left. In motion, it's going to be DMG as Reeves is looking to roll to the right side. He's going to have to jump off or something. He's not going to get away. And this one is almost picked off and almost caught at the same time, if that makes sense. It'll fall incomplete. It'll be third down. And a better decision to get rid of it to somebody that's eligible, but threw it into traffic.
Hey, throw that thing over there off the yard marker. I mean, you're outside the box. You're outside everything you need to have. Get out there and throw it away. Don't sit there and mess around with somebody having the opportunity to try to pick it off. I mean, you got to get rid of the football, and right now it's a case of better decisions. Don't throw that ball where everybody has an opportunity to get a hand on it.
So it'll be third down and 9. Ball in the 10. Dylan Reeves at their center. Miller Gray in motion. They're going to go to DMG to the near side. He's going to try to break. Cuts back. He will be leveled at about the 6. So that's going to be a gain of about 3. It'll bring up 4th and 6.
I think you could see, like that he has not got that same burst right now. He may need a breather, at least for right now.
Video on WMIXSports.com is powered by Rin Lake College, who offers over 100 degree and certificate programs for thousands less. See which is right for you with full descriptions at rlc.edu and apply online while you're there. So it'll be 4th and 6 for the Rams. The ball will be on the Mattoon 7-yard line as the Rams go right to left. Near hash. Reeves under center. Split right, split left. Power I formation for the Rams. Trying to lure the Green Wave offside. Trying to draw them off, and the Rams are going to burn a timeout here. This timeout is presented by the Medicine Shop Pharmacy in Mount Vernon. Dr. Eric Black and staff proud to sponsor the Rams once again. Dr. Eric Black and staff support the local community and wish the Rams the very best this season. There you have it. Timeout on the field called by the Rams with 7:07 to play in the second quarter. It's 4th and 6 from the Mattoon 7-yard line.
Well, right now, Altoff, as I said, beat Columbia today, 35-14 on the road. Heron and Alton Marquette are going into overtime, tied at 14. The Tigers missed a field goal late in that one. BMD, as Mater Dei leads only 49-24 on the road as they tried to exact revenge on a playoff loss last year. It is Jacksonville over Marion, 31-0 in the third, and Highland over Carbondale, 21-7. That's in the fourth quarter. In 2A, it was Staunton over Fairfield, 8-0 on the road. That's an 8 beating a 1. Black Diamond team loses. El Dorado loses at Carlisle, 29-14. It was Greenville over Freeburg, 49-22. Robinson leads AJ at the end of 3, 21-7.
And there you have it. Bat of the power I on 4th down. It'll be 4th and 6 from the Mattoon 7-yard line. And Reeves is looking for the pass. He's going to roll to the right side. Has nobody. He's going to have to throw across his body. Stays on his feet. Now he's going to roll back to the left side, trying to make something out of nothing. Has an open man. That's going to be Doug Gardner, and it's a touchdown. Dylan Reeves makes something out of nothing. Absolutely had nothing at all. At around the far side, around the 12. Was able to shake the defender. Stayed on his feet using nothing but his bare fist. And somehow found Doug Gardner wide open in the backside of the end zone.
He was so close to going down on the knee at the 5 going the other way. The play busted down, was able to spin around, keep going. Mattoon kind of quit on the play, rolled all the way back to his left, found Gardner all alone in the end zone. The only thing close to Gardner was the Mattoon band, and they couldn't do anything about the pass.
No, they couldn't.
At least not in this conference.
They're not Stanford.
No. So Mount Vernon will go for 2, down 21-19.
They're looking to tie things up here. The Rams going for 2, as DC just said. Lloyd in motion. It's going to be Lloyd on a sweep play. Has wide open territory, far corner for 2. And look at that. The Rams and the Green Wave. So I'd say Purple Aces. Way off track. Rams and the Green Wave tied at 21. 6:56 to play in the half.
Amazing. How Dylan Reeves pulled that one out of the fire is anybody's guess. Only the second pass that Mount Vernon has completed today. Oh, my goodness gracious. And that was a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11-play drive that went 50 yards in about 5 minutes.
So they had Dylan Reeves dead to rights on the far side in between the 15 and 20. Comes back around, avoiding a sack. Well, it wouldn't have been a sack. How far out? Anyhow, comes back around, able to find Doug Gardner wide open backside of the end zone. And after a sweet play for 2, the Rams and the Green Wave are tied at 21. And this is a brand new ball game. This is the ball game we thought we'd see.
This is kind of what we thought. Now you have to get a stop, as it's 21 all. As Mount Vernon, it's been a case of Mount Vernon scored the first one, Mattoon the next 3, Mount Vernon the next 2. And here we are, ready to go. 6:56 to go in this first half. Somebody. I agree with you. At Shikari Hawkins, it did look like Cam Newton. You better believe it. Try to keep the play alive, and that's exactly what he did, rolling one way then the other. And, boy, what a nice play by Dylan Reeves. And the best part about him is when you don't have the senior after your last name, you get to come back for another year.
6:56 left to go. We are tied at 21, the Rams and the Green Wave. Chris Hugo with Danny Czerwinski alongside. Dylan Reeves on to kick off, and this one's going to be a squibber, going to take a weird, awkward bounce. And Mattoon's going to pick it up at about the 35-yard line, having some issues with it. Finally brought down at about the spot where he picked it up. Looked like that was Alex Smith who got it. No relation, not the same guy. Well, will be my starting quarterback on Sunday in fantasy football.
Well, got to hope for Mount Vernon. Altoff's getting through, but not a lot of others are. My goodness, the South 7 and the Black Diamond getting beat around today quite easily. And that as Mattoon starts at their own 36. Heron wins in overtime 20-14. You know, that's for plans later in the world.
So old South 7 perhaps against new South 7. Or current. Or not new. They've been around for 13 years, but there you go. So let's see what happens. It'll be Green Wave football. Ball on their own 36-yard line in between the hashes. Out of the shotgun, Pilsen has Jermaine Armstrong as a back. 3 to the right, 1 to the left. Let's see. It's going to be a carry by Jermaine Armstrong. Trying to come near side. Running game has not been their strength, and it shows right there. It's just going to be stopped by a wall of Rams linemen. Looks like Graham Hinken was the first one on the contact. And so that'll bring up second down, maybe a gain of a half yard.
Well, that helped out a little bit. With Mount Vernon making a stop, of course, the opportunity for Mattoon now is the fact they can go with the wind at their back, throwing the football a little easier, even though they scored pretty easy going into the wind.
We'll see what they can do. Out of the shotgun, Pilsen, a name synonymous with Mattoon as Armstrong's trying to roll right up the gut this time between the hashes to about the 40-yard line. Gain of 3 will bring up 3rd and 6.
One thing about it, too, is as the day goes on and we get past the 4 o'clock hour, it's one of those deals where the wind will start dying down a little bit as well.
So 3 right, 1 to the left. Out of the shotgun for Pilsen. Jermaine Armstrong is his back. It is 3rd and 5. Ball on the Green Wave 41-yard line between the hashes as they've gone up the middle to pass 2 plays. This time looking to pass. Looking left. Now looking right is Pilsen. He's going to gun downfield. Ooh, this could be well underthrown. And DeMontez Miller-Gray went up for it. Almost had it. That's going to bring up 4th and a nickel.
Could have been very well offensive pass interference as the receiver was grabbing at a shoulder pad. WMIX Sports correspondent Todd Rushing says that Heron won 20-14. They intercepted Alton and then scored on the second play they had the football. And that's how the Tigers advanced to play Altoff in the second round of the Class 4A state playoffs at Altoff next week. And right now, the South 7 needs some help, as does the Black Diamond. And the punt coming from Mattoon after 4th down.
Back to return will be Doug Gardner between the hashes of 30. Not going to get there, as this is going to take a bounce at about the 36. Bounce past the 30 to about the 28. We'll take a Mattoon bounce. The Rams will have it 1st and 10. Tied at 21. 5:34 to play in the first half. It'll be Ram football, and Rams football is presented by Community First Bank of the Heartland. Welcome back to Personal Banking, home of the all-new One checking account with free checking and high-yield interest. Just ask for one. That's right, it's a checking account that earns cash back. A novel concept from Community First Bank. Welcome back to Personal Banking. Member FDIC.
Carlisle will be at Staunton next week in Class 2A. I'm sure Carlisle didn't think they'd be going on the road, probably thinking Fairfield would win. Actually, they were going to have to go the road anyway, but Carlisle at Staunton next week in 2A. Wow.
As this is going to be DeMontez Miller-Gray trying to break to the near side. Gets to the hash at the 40. Now is going to bulldoze his way to about the 44. So that'll be a gain of about 16. And DMG, the hyphen, carries the Rams to a 1st down here in the 2nd quarter.
See, he had a break. Came back. A lot more spring to the step. Bursting through the left side of the line. And again, the Mount Vernon offensive line have really cleared some holes on that left side.
So the Rams in the Green Wave here in Mattoon, as the Rams looked like they might be down for the count. Down 21-7. 14 points off of turnovers for Mattoon. Couple of slot backs for the Rams. Lloyd in motion. It's going to be an inside handoff to Graham Hinken. He's going to get one on the play as he gets to the 45. Maybe dove ahead to the 46. We'll see if they give two. If so, to bring up 2nd and 8 with 5:05 to go in this 2nd quarter. Important to note that the Rams have the football to start the second half.
Well, you note that, and the fact is, I think with 5 minutes to go in this first half, you're tied at 21. Even if you don't score on this drive, you want to hold the football down to the bitter end and run this first half out. Get the locker room, regroup, come out with something else, and you have the football to start this second half.
Split to the right side, split to the left. The quarterback, Dylan Reeves, is under center. 2 slot backs for the Rams, a fullback, and it's going to be Miller-Gray on the carry to the left side. Able to cut past the Ram, almost lost the football, able to hang on as he plunges forward to about the 48-yard line. It'll be a gain of roughly 3, and it'll bring up 3rd and 6.
Do you think the Mount Vernon, maybe the football's coming up here in the central part of the state a little bit slicker? I don't understand. Mount Vernon can't hang on to the football. Haven't had a problem for 9 weeks. Really fumbling the football, and here's struggling today here on the road.
I've been using the same, in my opinion, not so great Baden football for 9 weeks. There you go.
Tell us what you really think about the equipment today.
They have gotten better.
Are you on a committee?
Fairness.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Maybe not now. Quarterback Reeves will be under center, split left, split right. We're going to have a timeout somewhere.
Mount Vernon.
So the Rams decide to take a timeout on 3rd and 6 with the ball on their own 48-yard line. 3:59 left to play here in the first half, and looks like we have some scores. Scores are plenty.
I'll give some more here. Greenville beat Freeburg 49-22. AJ now trails Robinson to 421-14. Carterville beat Fryan of Goreville today and was still tracking down a final. I guess everybody kept keeping track of what was going on. Mount Carmel beat Bree Central 29-21. Staunton over Fairfield 8-0 is, our WMIX sports correspondents are other ones of Ron Weinmiller and Wade Thomas en route for us to Chester tonight for Carmi at Chester. We appreciate that. Altoff beat Columbia today 35-14. Heron beat Alton Marquette 20-14 in overtime. Heron gets Altoff at Altoff next week. Won't that be fun? Hope that's some night that we can go to. And, of course, Jacksonville leads Marion 31-60 into 3, and Carbondale is losing to Highland 27-7 late in the 4th.
Tony Wilt's glad to help your family with all of their insurance needs. Give his office a call. Find him on the web at TonyWilt.com or look for the White State Farm Jeep around town. And this is going to be a flag coming out of the timeout as Mattoon decided to get a timeout in. So both of these timeouts are presented by the Medicine Shot Pharmacy at 2339 Broadway in Mount Vernon. Flu shots, well, they're necessary at this point of the game. Of course, it's flu season is upon us. You can get those at the Medicine Shop Pharmacy. Friendly caring service at the Medicine Shop, 2339 Broadway. Dr. Eric Black and staff, of course, so glad to help the Mount Vernon Rams. They support the local community as well and have been doing so for over 30 years. We welcome into the broadcast, of course, listening, Jeff Lonnon, Lady Rams head basketball coach. He'll get his program underway officially on Monday, if I'm not mistaken, on the date of November the 4th. Also welcome Chip Jamerson, who is mowing his grass and listening to the ball game, and I'm sure he'll post about that on our common website, IllinoisHighSchoolSports.com. All set, done.
Well, I see. What is today? The 2nd, 7th, 9th. that those of you wondering, Lindenwood does not play at home next week. They're on the road at Missouri Southern, so Althoff could play Friday night or Saturday afternoon either way.
Always known Althoff to prefer the Friday.
Oh, I know.
Got to get to Mass on Saturday night.
I know. Wow. Now.
I'm serious. I mean that as innocently and kindly as possible. That's what I was told.
10 minutes left in that AJ game. Robinson up 21-14.
Oh, my.
And Mater Dei beat Olney 49-21.
3:59 to go in the first half here. Lloyd may lose yards. Able to break away from the tackle, trying to get the sweep, and this is going to be 4th down as he is tripped up at about the 45. 46 is where the spot will be, and this will be 4th and mid-range for about the Rams. The clock will roll to about 3:45.
All those timeouts, and that's all that happened?
Yeah.
We had 8 timeouts in a row?
Whoever takes the last timeout will benefit the most on that particular play.
Let's stare down the timeouts, won by Joe Kelly.
Looks like Gillespie's going to hang on to possibly beat Lawrenceville. Get you a score update on that one in just a moment. As the Rams will punt. Back to return. Looks like they're going to send 2 back. It'll be Hartbank and Jacob Stevens.
What in the world?
I have no idea what just happened. This is going to be a deep punt. Hartbank's going to pick it up at about the 24-yard line, trying to come near side. Now he's between the hashes. Makes a nice move, but he's going to stumble. Orlando Watson made the initial contact. It'll be 1st and 10 for the Green Wave. They have 3:10 to work with in this second quarter. Rams will have the football to start the second half.
What a weird play. I mean, they snapped the football on the punt. Guys stood around, looked around at each other, and Reeves is back there trying to get a stick and kill the football so he can pick it up, and he punts it. And if Mattoon had any pressure, they could have blocked it, but didn't. Just a weird-looking play, but the more important thing is Mattoon has it to start their drive with 3:10 left in the first half at their own 35-yard line. Now, this is where Mount Vernon, you got to make a defensive play. You don't want to give up a score here before half and have to play from behind the whole rest of the way.
Second quarter action, 3:10 to go. Green Wave with the football. It'll be Pilson out of the shotgun. The ball is on the Mattoon 35 on the near hash. 3 left, 1 right. Green Wave wondering why they're not getting an offside flag because there hasn't been one. With 3:10. So Pilson, the quarterback, the right-hander, working out of the shotgun. Finally, with about 5. Now he's going to throw a fade route looking near side. Over the top will come Doug Gardner. He'll pick it up. Gardner picks it off at about the 35. It rolls to about the 30. And Doug Gardner, the safety, came over the top to help with coverage. Had a great angle on it, just stepped aside and picked off the pass.
Yeah, a little too deep coverage that time. Gardner, he rolls over there and helps out on the backside. They had Gardner coverage, one-on-one down the sideline. The underneath was covered. He came over on the backside. They were trying to throw the ball where the receiver could go get it. Unfortunately, the only person for Mattoon to go get it was the Mount Vernon defender. The Rams get it right back with 3:02 to go.
Brian Reynolds wants a shout-out. He'll be busy coming up, manager of the Lady Rams basketball team. Split left and right. Lloyd in motion. It's going to be Reeves going to take it himself. Feigns the inside handoff. Breaks past the 40. Pulled down at about the 44-yard line. So Dylan Reeves on the QB keeper. Plays for keeps. Gets the first down.
What a fake. He had everybody in a green jersey looking at the pile or involved in the pile, and he takes off around the right side, pulled that football out of the belly of the running back, took it right side for the first down. The clock stops temporarily and now starts again after the chains are put in place.
2:49 to go in the first half. We are tied at 21, and we're going to have, what, an official
We got a shoe
timeout?
tie. Shoe tying going on. That helps Mount Vernon a little bit. No shoe tie. Of course, the linemen have gloves on. They can't tie their shoes. They got to have a linebacker or something to help them out.
That's what being a team is all about. That's a Green Wave band. We'll take the field here in just a moment. We're about 2:43 left from halftime. Leasing football time, 21-21. We're tied in Mattoon. Reeves is under center, split left and right. Lloyd in motion. This is going to be Reeves faking it. Nope, it's going to be pitched. Nice little flicker out there to C.J. Lloyd. He's going to break for some nice yardage across the 45 down to about the 40-yard line. In opposing territory, this is going to be a gain of about 16 for Lloyd as he broke to the right side, got across midfield, and will move the chains again.
You can't run that pitch any later than what Reeves did. You want to talk about a kid that has improved so very much over the year. It's going to be one of those guys coming back next year that people are going to talk about in Southern Illinois. Dylan Reeves, a proven winner this year, doing things there in the playoffs, and his growth chart of improvement has been so nice to see this year.
No doubt. Another year left to go for that young man. Hopefully some more weeks in his junior season. Lloyd's going to run to the right side off with a sweep. Ooh, got to the outside, got first down yardage as he got past the 30. This will stop the clock temporarily yet again. At least it's supposed to, as it's a first down. With 2:05 left to go in the first half, the Rams and Green Wave are tied at 21 with the Rams trying to punch one in before the clock expires.
Mount Vernon running downhill. That's basically what it is, running downhill as Mattoon front 7, not very strong right now.
As they are working on it, 21-21, a minute 58 to play in the first half. Rams will have the football to start the second half. Split left, split right. Quarterback Dylan Reeves will be under center, the junior. Let's see what happens as your slot backs, actually more wing backs this time, as DeMontez Miller-Gray is going to be in motion. Going to be an upside, going to be right down the gut for C.J. Lloyd as it gets to about the 15. Going to be another first down for the Rams. Clock will stop with 1:38 as they roll the chains. And we're still tied at 21. That could change.
Buck trap right up the middle. He ran like there wasn't a defense. Looked like August. The team's trying to get their plays down, and it looked like nobody was in the middle, and that time another first down. 4 runs on this drive, 4 first downs for Mount Vernon.
1:32 to go. Chris Hugo with Danny Czerwinski alongside on WMIX, WMIX FM, Mount Vernon, Marion, Mattoon, Effingham. A free service from Withers Broadcasting. Lloyd's going to try to sweep it up the right side. Why not go with what's worked thus far? As Lloyd will get to about the 10-yard line, maybe a gain of 5 on the far side. It'll be 2nd and 5 for the Rams with 1:15 to go.
What's the matter with him? He only got 5 yards.
Yeah, ran for not a first down that
drive.
time.
It's something that you got to look at. He only had 5 yards. Something's wrong with him. Todd Rushing listens in, gave him his shout-out while ago for giving us the update on the Heron win.
So 59 seconds to go in the first half. We're tied at 21. The Rams in Mattoon. Rams on the road. Lloyd in motion. Reeves going to try to plow forward a little bit as the Rams, I believe, only have 1 timeout left here in the first half with 47 seconds. Have to figure out what they want to do here, and there's going to be a timeout, I would guess. As the Rams will burn their final timeout, it's brought to you by the Medicine Shop Pharmacy, as that carry took them to about the 6-yard line, so a gain of about 3, and it'll make it 3rd and 2 for the Rams with 43 seconds left.
Also, another guy that helps us out Twitterverse-wise and otherwise is stuck in the Heron parking lot trying to get out. Chris Kay's stuck in the traffic at Heron. Hopefully we can entertain him as this timeout was called. Surprised they didn't blow it dead as quick as possible, try to get a measurement. But with 43 seconds to go, Mount Vernon has the ball at the 6, maybe 6.5, 7. No timeouts, though. Now you got to be really careful what you call here.
Now you got to get the first down here, see what you can do, and see what you can do with clock management. As the Rams and Green Wave are tied at 21. It was 21-7 Mattoon. After the Rams gave up 14 consecutive points off at fumbles. And now come back to tie as they have 14 unanswered points to tie it at 21. Chris Hugo with Danny Czerwinski alongside. We identified ourselves in the eyes of the FCC a moment ago. And here we are from Mattoon.
You hope, with no timeouts left, that Mount Vernon can somehow gash the defense a little bit, knock them back off the football, slice and dice their way through here, try to get in the end zone without having to get up and down the football.
We'll see what they do.
First down here, first of all.
Reeves, the quarterback under center. He's going to go to C.J. Lloyd. He's stuck in the backfield, but makes a nice move. Dives in for the score. It's going to be 27-21 Mount Vernon.
Little run on the right side. That's basically what it was. And Mount Vernon, untouched in the end zone, does score the running back for Mount Vernon as I go Yoda here.
So C.J. Lloyd does it again. This time it's from 6.5 yards out. Rolls into the far corner. Nice job by C.J. It is 27-21 as the Rams have scored the last 20 points.
Yeah, not putting anything down an extra point as of yet.
No, can't assume. Can't assume the air, can't assume the out, can't assume the PAT as C.J. Lloyd is on.
6 plays, 2.5 minutes.
Rams will have the football to start the second half. That's what's most intriguing. Good hold, almost blocked. That was a good job by Stevens to come around off of the end. It looks like it's good. It'll split it evenly. Put the Rams up 7. It's 28-21 with 35.6 seconds left in this second quarter. Now you got to keep the Green Wave from pulling off a return.
6 plays, 70 yards, 2.5 minutes. That is the Mount Vernon Rams scoring drive. And they lead now 28-21.
Allegedly, there may or may not be a crew rolling around Mattoon listening to us on AM 940.
I'm telling you right now.
It gets out there.
With our game being late, a late 3 o'clock start, a lot of the other games going on are over with, I should say. This is going to be one of those. A lot of people will be tuned in listening to see what's going on as far as those games late and ours as well.
No doubt about that. Chris Hugo with Danny Czerwinski alongside. Jeff Crow brings the video angles on WMIXsports.com. Holly Carroll's done a phenomenal job back at our Mount Vernon studio today. Wouldn't wish what she's had to deal with today on anybody, but done an admirable job and a phenomenal job at that.
Gillespie did hold on to beat Lawrenceville 28-14.
Yeah, that's coming to me in what's called a WhatsApp chat.
Carmi, they play the winner of Carmi and Chester. Of course, Staunton will host Carlisle next week after Staunton pulled up the upset. The 8 beat the 1 at Fairfield today by the train yard. Black Diamond took a beating today. South 7 right behind them, except that Altoff won and Carterville won over Vienna. But Altoff won, and now Mount Vernon leads here. Hopefully, South 7 can survive too.
Reeves is on to kick, and this time Looking to go onside as it's picked up at about the 45.
35-6 left.
Huh.
Like you wondering about kicking onside there.
So with 35.6 seconds left and a possible field goal possibility.
Yes, the extra points are huge.
Can't leave any points on the field.
No,
hold back now.
And anybody can kick the ball 20 yards through the uprights. Who cares, as long as they can get it done.
Of course, check in at the half with our WMIX sports renditions of the Rams report. Had to think of the name. Don't know why that was so hard to remember. And the MVTHS minute, your second chance auto halftime show.
Oh, my. Mattoon, by my count, has all 3 timeouts left.
They have 2.
Okay.
They took one right after the Rams took a timeout.
Oh, that was right. The Mickey Mouse one and the other. I was too busy getting scores.
Yes, you were, and did a fine job of it. Pilson, the quarterback, with an empty backfield out of the shotgun. 2 to the right, 3 to the left. Looks left side. Going to throw right down the middle of the field. Will this one beat? As this one is going to be a flag on the play. Jalen Rush with pass interference. That'll be a 15-yard penalty and a Mattoon first down.
Here's what happened. You had a linebacker on a receiver, and I don't care what level you're in, it doesn't work. And right there, that's what happened. They got a guy down the middle on the Mount Vernon defense and got behind, and all the linebacker could do was kind of tackle him, and that prevented a long gain in the first down because in high school, it's a penalty from the line of scrimmage. And now the sideline warning being issued to the Mount Vernon Rams coaching staff. So they'll have to have their get-back guy to get everybody back, including players.
So there you go.
Hey, boys, it's 5 plus 10, or 10 plus 5, whatever. Yeah, there you go. Come on. Hang in there. There we go.
Puts the ball on the Mount Vernon 40-yard line. Make that the 39. It'll be between the hashes. It'll be 1st and 10 for the Green Wave. 31.6 seconds left. It'll be 1st and 10. The empty backfield out of the shotgun for the quarterback, Jared Pilson, the 6'1 senior. 3 left, 2 right. Let's see what the Rams defense come up with here, and that's going to be an offside penalty on the Ram defensive end.
Well, this is starting to turn into a help Mattoon out again. Mount Vernon, of course, gave up 2 scores when they fumbled the ball twice. Now they give up the long penalty here, the pass interference, and now the 5 yards extra. 1st and 5 from the Rams 34, and there's 31.6 seconds left and 2 timeouts, an eternity for Mattoon to score.
That'll be 1st and 5 for the Green Wave, and of course the onside kick didn't hurt matters either for the Green Wave. So Pilson, empty backfield, rolling to the left side. Now looking to throw left side. It's going to be chased by Brighton Bowers. Now he's going to try to run to the near side, getting to the 35. He's at the 30, 25, steps out of bounds to stop the clock. Does he get the first down? Won't matter. It'll be 24 seconds left, and all that way just to get
10 yards.
Yeah.
And that was the king. He had to get out of bounds because he had to get a first down and, more importantly, get the clock stopped. Did that. Kind of wasted a little bit of time, in my opinion. He could have ran out there and got away because there wasn't any coverage. Good coverage defense by Mount Vernon down the field.
WMIX Sports Mobile Studios, driven by Ford Square. Mattoon looking to drive here. 24 seconds left. 1st and 10 from the Ram 25-yard line. 28-21 the score. The Rams are up a touchdown. Yikes. Empty backfield out of the shotgun for Jared Pilson. Has plenty of time as he rolls left side. He's going to throw fade route toward the end zone. And this one was almost picked off by Jalen Rush. It'll be batted down. Incomplete. It'll bring 2nd down.
You got to make that interception there. You can't worry about getting hit. You got to make the interception, get the possession, and get out of half with the football. And that ball went through the hands that time, dropped to the ground. You give Mattoon another opportunity here with 17 seconds left in the first half.
17.1 to be precise, 28-21 the score. Rams up a touchdown. Green Wave are threatening. It'll be 2nd and 10. 3 to the right, 1 to the left. Single back shotgun for Pilson, the quarterback. 28-21. Rams on top have scored the last 3 touchdowns in the game after giving Mattoon 2 off of turnovers. Now might have given him some gifts here with penalties and an onside kick attempt. Pilson's going to roll left side. Heiner's going to give chase. Oh, almost cut off the Pilson quarterback, and it'll be brought down between the hashes at about the 29 by Robert Grider, the defensive end, who comes up with a sack.
Got running around, lost track of where he was, tried to cut back into the field where he came from toward the Mattoon sideline. Mount Vernon was there for the sack, and Mattoon will have to burn their 2nd time out of the half. They have 1 more left to go.
So with 12 seconds flat to go on the scoreboard. We're in the 2nd quarter, 3rd and 13 now for Mattoon. This timeout is presented by the Medicine Shop Pharmacy in Mount Vernon. Pardon me for there just a moment. 2339 Broadway, of course. Eric Black and his staff. That's Dr. Eric Black. Proud to support the Mount Vernon Rams and Lady Rams as well as the local community. Chris Hugo with Danny Czerwinski alongside, and the Rams have given the Green Wave some gifts. It's important to capitalize here.
Oh, this is the holiday season here on this drive. penalties, a pass interference, dropped interception possibility, and we're still a little ways from the holiday season beginning, but Mount Vernon just giving away a little too much here in this first half.
A pair of teams, I believe, they're in the same T-Town holiday tournament together from a basketball standpoint, and the Salem Invite.
Yeah. Okay, moving on.
12 seconds to go. Make some Effingham-related trips on that trip for food. Yum, yum,
yum.
Yeah. That's some ideas.
Hey, Carterville, Mount Carmel next week. I wonder how many pages the local.com's up to already.
35. That depends on if you have it set to 15 or 20.
Hope those admins are ready to work.
Wilson out of the shotgun, looking for the fade route in the near corner of the end zone. As this one will be picked off that time. That was Jylen Rush, or no, DeMontez Miller-Craig.
Yeah, baby.
And that is how your first half will ultimately end up coming to an end as the Rams get the interception in the end zone. I believe that's 3 today.
Try it. Go for it. Interception, make the catch. Halftime, Mount Vernon's going to go in with a lead and have the football to come out to start the second half.
So you would assume the Rams would just be satisfied with taking the knee here, up 28-21 over Mattoon on the road. It's the opening round of the 5A football playoffs, the Illinois High School Association. Winner gets the winner of Washington, I believe, and Peoria?
Yes. Peoria High School.
Rams are going to take a knee here, and that's
as this will be a knee that ends the half. We'll have plenty coming up on your Second Chance Auto halftime show. We'll talk to your Rams report. We'll also have your MVTHS minute. We'll showcase what's going on in all other sports. We will also showcase some tweets coming in at WMIX Sports. We'll showcase the best in arts and academics at Mount Vernon Township High School. It's all coming up ahead in your Second Chance Auto halftime show. We'll take a break. It's the Mount Vernon Rams 28, the Mattoon Green Wave 21. This is Rams football from WMIX Sports.
This is Chase Landers with Landers Collision Centers. Imagine that. You're driving down the road. It's dark as can be outside. Thank goodness you just had that left headlight bulb replaced. Otherwise, you wouldn't be able to see a thing. Now, close your eyes. Okay, don't close your eyes. You're supposed to be driving. Imagine noticing a slight twinkle off to the left, just above the ditch. What is that, you think to yourself? All of a sudden, whack, you've just encountered your first deer. The left side of your vehicle is beat up pretty bad. The next thing I want you to imagine is very simple. Picking up your phone and dialing 1-888 Landers to set up your repair. Your claims are common, and usually a very simple process, which fall under comprehensive coverage. This is Chase Landers asking you to allow Landers to be your collision repair shop of choice. Whether it be a deer hit, fender bender, or the regular, sorry mom, Landers is here for you whenever you need it. Big or small, Landers fixes them all. 1-888 Landers, that's 1-888 Landers.
Glen Lake College Theater presents Treasure Island. This swashbuckling stage adaptation incorporates plenty of comedy and includes all the adventures of Robert Louis Stevenson's classic tale. Enjoy nightly performances Thursday, November 7th through Saturday, November 9th, and a special Sunday matinee on November 10th. It's called a ridiculously funny version of the classic adventure tale. Tickets are just $12 through the RLC ticket office. Call the RLC box office at 437-4321, extension 1467.
Tradition of fine vehicles and great service continues at Second Chance Auto. They've been providing quality cars, trucks, vans, and SUVs for families like yours for over 33 years, and many are priced under $10,000. Plus, most have a 3-month or a 3,000-mile warranty. Bank rate financing available with instant approval. No gimmicks, no pressure, just honest deals on great vehicles from your friends and neighbors at Second Chance Auto, living and contributing back to the community they serve. Located on Route 142 East in Mount Vernon, call 244-4582.
This is Mount Vernon Rams football from WMIX Sports. The Second Chance Auto halftime show starts now.
And welcome back to Mattoon. We're at the half. The Rams have a 28-21 lead over the Green Wave. And you look back at some key moments of that first half of action where the Rams fumbled the football twice. Green Wave able to get 2 touchdowns off of those fumbles, and you wonder what might be differently if the Rams don't turn the football over. Right now they're up 28-21. They'll have the football to start the second half. Good afternoon again here on WMIX and WMIX FM, video at WMIXsports.com. As we're in your Second Chance Auto halftime show, it'll be an extended halftime here at Mattoon High School. Of course, Second Chance Auto is your home for the largest selection of pre-owned vehicles, priced under $10,000 in one location. Of course, they have no fancy sales gimmicks, just honest deals and bank rate financing for all. That's why they've been around for 33 years at Second Chance Auto, Route 142 East in Mount Vernon. Plenty of content coming your way. Of course, we will have your Rams report coming up in just a moment. We will also have your MVTHS minute a little bit later on. But first, before we get to any scoring or stats or anything of that nature, some thoughts on the first half from the context of the Rams are very lucky to be on top.
Well, once Mount Vernon stopped kicking the ball around a little bit and giving it away for free, it was obvious that Mount Vernon can move the football a little bit, and I think that the pressure of having to come from behind for Mattoon, not something they like, because you saw a couple of passes being trying to sneak in against the defense down here that was eventually picked off. So if you're Mount Vernon right now, if you don't turn the ball over twice, you wonder if Mount Vernon's not up by 3 scores or more in this football game, depending on what happens. You have to be happy if you're Mount Vernon to be up by 7 at the half and you start the second half with the football.
Oh, I think you have to be overjoyed, and it's the fact that with the Rams this season, getting the second half, or the football to start the second half, has seen so many benefits here in 2013. It's week 10 of the high school football season, first round of the playoffs. How are some of the other Rams teams doing, of course, as we head into their postseason? Let's find out. We'll have the Rams report coming up. It'll be Tyler Barker joining us here on your Second Chance Auto Halftime Show. We need to take a quick break. When we come back, it'll be the Rams report and so much more. This is Rams football powered by Community First Bank.
More Americans are on a move today than ever before. One of the most popular modes of transportation is the motorcycle. Motorcycles take us to our jobs, schools, to the beach, and all around the country. If you're a bike rider, your Pekin Insurance Agency, Page Insurance on Crownview in Mount Vernon, wants to make sure you have the best insurance protection while you're riding. Ask about the money-saving auto cycle discount and the experienced driver discount, too. Call Page Insurance at 242-7000 today about motorcycle insurance from Pekin Insurance.
Max credit, no problem. Auto Mart of Salem is here to help. Auto Mart of Salem is your local shop here, pay here, headquarters. Quality cars, vans, SUVs, and trucks in stock now. All credit applications are accepted. Shop here and pay here at Auto Mart of Salem, 1819 West Main, Salem, Illinois. Shop online at automartofsalem.com or call us at 618-548-8611.
Broadcasting live from the WMIX mobile studios, driven by Ford Square. This is Mount Vernon Rams football.
Welcome back to the Second Chance Auto Halftime Show. With the Rams report, I'm Tyler Barker for WMIX Sports. The Mount Vernon Rams finished in 4th place in last week's Highland Regional, behind a 5th place finish from David Moddard. Jordan Wildman finished 9th, and Daniel Flood 16th, to give the Rams 3 in the top 20. That was good enough to advance to today's Decatur sectional. The Lady Rams didn't advance as a team, but Kate Boucher and Camilla Bauer both advanced as top individual finishers amongst non-qualifying teams, also advanced to today's Decatur sectional. We will have full results from both sectionals later tonight on the WMIXsports.com scoreboard. After a 4th place finish at last week's Fairfield volleyball tournament, the Mount Vernon Lady Rams finished the regular season with a 15-13 record heading to the regional. The Lady Rams took the floor at Max Moore's Gymnasium with a higher seed and a chip on their shoulders as they battled the Centralia Annies. After winning the first set 25-13, the Lady Rams were in control. The Annies had other plans and came back to take the match in 3 sets, 13-25, 25-20, 25-20. The Lady Rams finished the volleyball season with a respectable 15-14 record. That's your Rams report for this week, and this is Rams football powered by Community First Bank.
Hi, this is Joe David Cummins, President of Community First Bank. Now is a great time to move your account to Community First Bank. With our new One account offering the highest interest rate in the market, free checking, and CD specials delivered by people you know and trust, why would you not bank with the market leader in Jefferson County? We offer 5 locations with 7 ATMs and have been serving the Jefferson County market since 1906. Stop in and see why our bank is the fastest growing bank in Jefferson County. Community First Bank. Welcome back to personal banking, member FDIC.
This is Chase Landers with Landers Collision Centers. Imagine this. You're driving down the road. It's dark as can be outside. Thank goodness you just had that left headlight bulb replaced. Otherwise, you wouldn't be able to see a thing. Now, close your eyes. Okay, don't close your eyes. You're supposed to be driving. Imagine noticing a slight twinkle off to the left, just above the ditch. What is that, you think to yourself? All of a sudden, whack! You've just encountered your first deer hit. The left side of your vehicle is beat up pretty bad. The next thing I want you to imagine is very simple. Taking up your phone and dialing 1-888-LANDERS to set up your repair. Your claims are common, and usually a very simple process, which fall under comprehensive coverage. This is Chase Landers asking you to allow Landers to be your collision repair shop of choice. Whether it be a deer hit, fender bender, or the regular, sorry mom, Landers is here for you whenever you need it. Big or small, Landers fixes them all. 1-888-LANDERS, that's 1-888-LANDERS.
Your home for the Mount Vernon Rams is WMIX Sports, powered by Community First Bank.
There you go. And here we are. We're in Mattoon as the Mount Vernon Rams lead at the half over the Green Wave, 28-21. Chris Hugo with Danny Czerwinski alongside on your Second Chance Auto halftime show. Big or small? Actually, that's not them. That's somebody else. Second Chance Auto course Route 142 East in Mount Vernon. We'll talk more about them throughout the Second Chance Auto halftime show. What a first half of football for the Mount Vernon Rams. It's almost a tale of two bookends. As the first end of the half started out well, it was the latter portion of the half that ended well for the Rams. It just seems like that portion in the middle, if you're a Mount Vernon Rams football team, you'd like to forget right now.
You could take away the turnovers, which led to a couple of touchdowns by Mattoon. You have to start feeling pretty good about yourself in this case. However, Mount Vernon allowed those two scores, and then, of course, with turnovers, that led to two scores, and that's why you're only up 7 at the half instead of what could maybe be 14 or even 21.
Of course, as we will take a look at some scoring and stats, Second Chance Auto is your home for the largest selection of pre-owned vehicles, priced at $10,000 in one location. No fancy sales or gimmicks, just honest deals and bank rate financing for all at Second Chance Auto. Route 142 East in Mount Vernon, continued proud supporters of the Mount Vernon Rams, and there's a reason they've been in business for over 33 years. Let's take a look at those stats.
Well, unofficial at best, of course, Mount Vernon with 15 first downs to 10 for Mattoon. The turnovers are even at 2 apiece. Mount Vernon has 5 penalties, 45 yards. Mattoon 3 for 23 rushing. Mount Vernon with 189 to 94 for Mattoon. Mount Vernon has 61 passing yards on 2 catches. Mattoon has 66 yards, which gives the Green Wave 160 total yards. Mount Vernon 250 yards. As halftime score is Mount Vernon 28, Mattoon 21.
Of course, plenty of time before we start the second half of football. We'll still check in with the MVTHS Minute here on your Second Chance Auto halftime show. We'll do that in just a little bit. We'll also get you plenty of scores coming your way a little bit later on here on your halftime show. 28-21, Rams over Mattoon here at the break. And we talked about a difference in the start of the game and at the end of the first half and turnovers plaguing the Rams. Something we really have not seen a lot this season. But fumbleitis came early, and it looks like thus far the Rams have done a nice job of correcting that.
Well, it's corrected and moving on, and hopefully that'll be the case. As you don't want Mount Vernon to be dropping the football. Think about it is you drop the football here in postseason, a lot of time what you get is you get extra point touchdowns, and that's what Mattoon took advantage of when Mount Vernon did put the ball on the floor, on the field in this case. That was the case, and Mount Vernon gave up those scores on short field position drives.
Should the Rams hang on for another half of football? Next week's game, of course, will be on AM 940, 94.1 FM, and online with video at WMIXsports.com. We'll take a break. When we come back, Tyler Barker will join us for the MVTHS Minute. Actually, more like a minute and a half this week. We found quite a bit of details on Mount Vernon High School. So we'll do that after a quick pause here on your Second Chance Auto halftime show. That means another break. We'll be glad to have you back after the break. This is Rams football powered by Community First Bank.
Hi, I'm Jeremy Pearson with a look at your next round weather. Partly sunny and breezy today, high 56. Clear tonight, low of 31. Then tomorrow, sunny and partly cloudy, high 56. Partly sunny on Monday and Tuesday, a blend of sun and clouds, high 62. Periods of rain and a thunderstorm will occur Wednesday, high 60. Next rad weather from WMIX, Mount Vernon, Illinois.
When you hear the warm, inviting sound of a crackling fire, what comes to mind? A rustic campground? A cozy cabin? How about the new Good Samaritan Regional Health Center? Our new family lounges feature a lot of comforts you might not expect. Things like this. No, that's not a babbling brook or serene stream out in the countryside. It's a 2-story waterfall located right here at Good Samaritan. And that's not the only way we're raising the bar for patient comfort. We've added lush healing gardens, as well as wall after wall of beautiful artwork, all designed to create the perfect healing atmosphere. And if all this sounds like music to your ears, we encourage you to check us out. Chances are, we're not too far from where you are right now.
The new Good Samaritan Regional Health Center, raising a hospital Raise the bar.
At Banterra, we understand that banking is a relationship. It's a friendly face that knows your name, understands your needs, supports your goals. Banterra offers a complete range of personal and business banking products with competitive rates and loans that range from small projects to multi-million-dollar opportunities. We offer conveniences such as online banking, mobile banking, and direct deposit. For a strong community bank with exceptional customer service, Banterra is a smart choice for your banking needs. Banterra Bank, a proud supporter of Southern Illinois high school sports. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Welcome back to the Second Chance Auto Halftime Show. I'm Tyler Barker on WMIX and WMISports.com. Get honest deals and bank rate financing at Second Chance Auto. They're your home for the largest selection of pre-owned vehicles under $10,000. Second Chance Auto, Route 142 East in Mount Vernon. Now here's a look at your MVTHS Minute. New courses will be added to the Mount Vernon Township High School curriculum over the next couple of years. Several courses range from statistics to fashion to firefighting will be available to MVTHS students. These additions resulted from input received from students and local businesses. New school courses next year will include a probability and statistics mathematics course, new advanced placement science classes, a freshman seminar class, and an advanced placement studio art class, while the area vocational center will feature 2 fashion-intensive offerings, one focusing on actual clothing materials and another covering fashion merchandising. In 2015-16, the AVC will add firefighting, which will cover extinguishing fires. There will be a prerequisite to this course that includes students must complete a health, occupations, and skill development course where they become certified first responders. The frequency of these new courses on the school schedule will largely rely upon how many students engage in these options. That's this week's MVTHS Minute, where WMIX Sports explores the best in arts and academics at Mount Vernon High School. Stay tuned for next week's installment. We'll take a break. This is Rams Football from WMIX Sports.
Hi, this is Nina Reitnauer, relationship banker with People's National Bank in Mount Vernon. People's National Bank has the best of both worlds. We are a locally family-owned bank that can offer you the big bank products and services. Products like free checking, online banking, bill pay, and mobile banking. We have the products and services to meet the needs of your personal and family life in today's world. Stop by any People's National Bank branch and ask about any one of our great products. People's National Bank, serving Southern Illinois since 1909, member FDIC.
High school sports are back, and your source for scores is WMIXsports.com. Also, find archived local sports broadcasts, video highlights, national sports headlines, and more right at your fingertips. Listen and watch live WMIX sports broadcasts from your desktop or any mobile device. Need to score? Want to see a sick dunk? Miss a game? Didn't get up in time for the Saturday sports show? That's right. It's all at WMIXsports.com. Another free service from Withers Broadcasting, WMIXsports.com.
This is Joe David Cummins from Community First Bank. You're listening to the Rams on WMIX.
Listening and watching, however you may be accessing us, thank you for tuning in to Mount Vernon Rams football on WMIX AM and FM with video at WMIXsports.com. We're so glad you could join us here for our Second Chance Auto halftime show. At the break, the Mount Vernon Rams with a 28-21 lead, of course, over the Green Wave from Mattoon. And what a first half of football it was, but what a first week of the postseason it's been, as we'll check in with some scores from around the area.
It is not good for Southern Illinois schools as far as the South 7, Black Diamond, and River to River Conference are concerned. In Class 2A, Staunton went to Fairfield and won 8-0. That is an 8 seed beating a 1 seed. Carlisle beat El Dorado 29-14. Of course, Carmi at Chester will be at 5 p.m. tonight, and Gillespie beat Lawrenceville 28-14. In Class 3A, Greenville beat Freeburg 49-22. Robinson held on to beat AJ 21-20. AJ scored a touchdown late, but missed the extra point and could not drive the football, getting it back with 90 yards away with a minute plus to go. AJ loses at Robinson 21-20. Carterville beats another Black Diamond school, Vienna Goreville 48-13, and Mount Carmel beat Bree Central 29-21. So the .com is already up to 3 pages right now of the Carterville Mount Carmel hype that begins today, as next week in that bracket, it will be Robinson and Greenville playing each other, and Carterville and Mount Carmel in Class 3A. To the other side of the bracket, we go to Class 4A. Althoff on the road beats Columbia 35-14. That's an 8 seed beating a 1 seed. Heron in overtime beats Alton Marquette 20-14. Taylorville and Rochester, the next team in that bracket, next matchup, will play at 5 p.m. And, of course, Mater Dei beat Olney on the road 49-21. In Class 5A, of course, Peoria and Washington, the winner of that game will play the winner of this one. They'll play at 7 p.m. tonight. Of course, here at the half, it's Mount Vernon over Mattoon 28-21. Last night, Normal U High beat Decatur MacArthur 27-6. Down in Marion today, another South 7 team goes by the boards. Jacksonville over Marion 37-6. And late fourth, Highland beating Carbondale 27-13. As the South 7 will lose 2 teams today. The Diamond's going to lose 4, and the River's going to lose 2 out of 3. And in one score of interest, because of our Mississippi Valley nosiness, we also have, Mount Vernon plays those teams. We also keep track of them. Limestone beat Jerseyville today 47-27, as Southern Illinois is taking a hammering right now as far as trying to get out of the first round of the football playoffs.
Yikes, I'd say. That scoreboard update was presented by Tony Wilt, your State Farm agent at Mount Vernon. Find him online at TonyWilt.com. Look for him in his office, or, maybe give him a call the old-fashioned way. There's always the white State Farm Jeep you can try to find around town. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there, and get to a better state with a State Farm. We're here with you the rest of the way on your Second Chance Auto halftime show. Chris Hugo with Danny Czerwinski alongside. Jeff Crow is with us here at Mattoon. Holly Carroll back at our Mount Vernon studio. And we talked about how bookendy of a first half that was for the Rams in terms of their performance. The middle, not so much. And there are so many things that could happen here as we go into the second half. The Rams supposed to start with the football, but maybe some trickery could happen for the Green Wave.
I think if you're Mount Vernon, you got to come out here on this opening kick, and you may want to have your hands team out here, because I'm not so certain that Mattoon won't want to try to feed you a little bit of your own medicine, try an onside kick here. For some reason, and I may be completely wrong, and of course I'll have to come out and deal with the wind and whatnot as the wind's starting to die down a little bit up here in central Illinois. I think if you're Mount Vernon, you got to be aware of that aspect here as they start the second half.
Well, and we'll hope that is taken into consideration, as they will put about, we're not even to the warm-up clock to my knowledge, but be that as it may, of course, as it was an extended halftime here at Mattoon. 28-21 is your score at the break, as the Rams are able to score 21 unanswered points to this juncture, and you hope that they can keep that going, but you really do wonder. There's so many things that could have happened differently. Maybe you don't fumble the football twice, it leads to 2 Mattoon scores, but even if they do score, maybe the Green Wave still come back and get some points. That's anybody's guess, but I think you have to be comfortable, and you don't want to rest too much on that comfort, but you have to be happy with a 28-21 lead at this point.
Hey, you have to be very happy. And when you look down south where we are at, and you see the situation where, a lot of the teams in Southern Illinois are getting sent home to the basketball floor, you have to be happy to be up 28-21. You'd like to think that you can get something going in this second half and get something rolling. Maybe you get up a couple scores, because it looks to me like if Mattoon is an uphill team, kind of like the baseball Cardinals this year, if everything's going right and they're in the lead, they look to be okay, but they look to be very uncomfortable when they're tied or trailing in this one. More uncomfortable than what teams usually are when they trail in a ball game.
Of course, if you're interested in what's going on in the Washington-Peoria game, they actually will play about 7 o'clock.
That'll be nice and warm.
One that I'm not going to. We could probably – nah. That'd be tough.
That'd be tough to get from Mattoon after takedown and all that.
If we had the plane.
Of course, our friends from Olney coming over, Jay Miller and officiating crew coming over today, listening on the way over.
They had a good one as Mater Dei handled, and that's. I know people are saying, well, Olney, throttled Mater Dei last year, but did Mater Dei have anybody healthy by the time?
I don't think they had many people healthy in that point, and that's the case on that deal. I don't know if. We were shocked coming back from Alton last year when we went and watched Waterloo and Alton Marquette. How that score went down. But Mater Dei exacts a little revenge today. Of course, that's the Rochester bracket, which is good luck. But I'm telling you what, the enticing Heron and Althoff matchup next weekend is looking good, as is Mount Carmel Carterville, and then possibly if Mount Vernon could get in something going, and then that would be good as well.
We'll see what happens, and of course, the winner of this game will get the winner of Peoria and Washington next week, and we'll see what happens there. If it should happen to be the winner, the winner of this game, either way, would get the home game.
Yep.
No, they wouldn't. I'm sorry, because Mattoon's at home this week.
Mattoon
the Rams would
go,
get the home, regardless of the winner of the next game. What I'm trying to say is the Rams would get a home game next week. If it should happen to be Washington, Mattoon. Actually, Mattoon's on the road regardless.
Yes.
If they win.
That's how this thing works, allegedly.
Got to stop and think sometimes.
Well, like tonight, you got to stop and think. You have to turn your clocks back an hour before you go to bed, and you got to turn your scales back 10 pounds. It all works out.
I leave my clock the same, so I feel like I'm in Eastern time. And it scares me when I see my alarm in the morning.
If you win today, next week you got to turn the lights on because you have football practice after school and you have to finish in the dark.
Yes.
I mean, the way the day you'll have the sun go down at 6:30 or whatever. Tomorrow and the rest of the way it'll be like 4:30.
Does not bode well for your electric bill next week if your season goes, but you know what? You'll take it.
If Mount Vernon can get a home game next week, fill the stands. It'd be nice to have, people some choices in Southern Illinois at Mount Carmel, at Carterville next week. Heron goes to Althoff Friday night. And then, of course, you have hopefully what will be a Mount Vernon home game as well. Of course, if Washington or Peoria wins, you wonder probably that game is probably going to be a late Saturday afternoon start, maybe a 4 or 5 o'clock start in Mount Vernon.
We'll see what happens.
Who is out in a coat, a camouflage? Oh, okay. That makes perfect sense.
Do what?
You say the quarterback out there, he's in a camouflage coat walking around.
No, I don't, because he's in camouflage.
Oh. Right, but I saw his helmet. That's the only reason I could see him.
Yeah.
Something's going on. Mount Vernon got to the field a little late here, didn't they?
Yes, they did.
And now they're going to have to go. There's no time to warm up. They got out decently late on the 3-minute clock. But again, credit that a nice crowd coming up from Mount Vernon today over on the other side away from us. Of course, we got to say this. For those of you that have not been to Mattoon, this is one of the biggest, best press boxes we've seen ever in football.
It's large.
It is large, built just about perfect, and we appreciate the hospitality here from Dave Veith, athletic director, here at Mattoon High School, for taking care of us, and what a great position we have. Just an outstanding facility here at Mattoon High School.
Well, I emailed him earlier in the week, and he just went ahead and gave me a call. Knows how I roll, that I try not to use the phone if at all possible.
Right.
But gave me a call and said, "You guys again?"
Right.
And went from there. I just appreciate the hospitable nature. They mailed us a roster ahead of time. That really helped us out. It helped us do our research, and we appreciate it. And we'll be back up for girls basketball.
Yeah, it is, because I went 2 years ago.
Yeah. So we'll be back up here for that. Be back up here, assuming that the series will continue with Rams baseball. Be back up here in March, we hope, for a doubleheader.
Look at all the tech. Oh no, hold on. Go ahead.
There we go. We'll look at that in just a second. It's the onside kick. It's going to go out of bounds. There's a flag, and you called it.
I did. I just had a gut feeling that Mattoon was going to try to come out onside kick, and they did that time. And already I'm getting a text as far as who wants to do what, and I will help that particular person out, as I promised.
Still online. I don't have to worry about that.
Yeah.
You can start watching it now. As the Rams will have it 1st and 10. We apologize for letting things somewhat get away. It'll be 1st and 10 for the 42-yard line. Rams football, as always, is presented by Community First Bank of the Heartland. Always bank in your hometown team. Community First Bank, home of the one account, featuring free checking and high-yield interest. Member FDIC, that's Community First Bank of the Heartland, the official voice of the Rams. 1st and 10 from the 42 for Dylan Reeves off of the far hash. This one's going to be a handoff on a sweep. It's going to be C.J. Lloyd trying to break off tackles. More than off tackle, as he swept out to the outside on the near. It'll be to the 45. It'll be a gain of 3. It'll be 2nd and 7.
Make up your own rules. Who cares? Another 4 yards for the Rams. They move around, and we go on. 27-20 now. Carbondale trying to battle back with about 8 to go in that one. They try to carry the flag a little bit for the South 7 besides Mount Vernon and Althoff.
11:32 to go in the third quarter. Glad to be here with you from the WMIX Sports Mobile Studios, driven by Ford Square. As this one is going to be, was that Hinkin right up the middle?
Yep, no gain.
So it'll be 3rd down for the Rams here, and let's see if we see a different element to this Green Wave defense. Not
Carbondale down, as I said, 27-20 with 8 minutes to go in that one.
3rd and 5 for the Rams. It's 28-21. Mount Vernon on top. 11:03 to play in the third quarter. Ball on the near hash, shy of midfield at the 47. It's in Ram territory. Tight to the right, split left. As this is going to be Lloyd again, trying a little stretch play to the near side. Past midfield. Ooh, broke for 1st down yards. He gets to the 45 in Green Wave territory. It'll actually, they're going to get a kind spot here. They're going to take it all the way to the 40-yard line.
You act shocked. You act so surprised.
No, I just did not. I can't see there. I can't see where he exactly stepped out, but it's kind to me because I had no idea to go that far. So to the 40-yard line it goes. It'll be 1st and 10 for the Rams, running right into the sun. As the sun peeks out from behind these
field runs
clouds.
East to west.
Those are clouds.
Lots of trains. I'm telling you what, that train track is so busy they're going to replace the rails.
Well, I don't know what I've seen more of on the way up. Trains or exits for US 45. Under center is Clayton Reeves. Lloyd in motion. Inside handoff's going to go to Hinkin as he goes off tackle up the right outside the hash. Across the 40, maybe forward progress to the 38-37. I'm going to say about a foot in front of the 37, so that'll bring up second down and about 7 for the Rams. Here's they lead 28-21. A score on this drive would be nice if you're a Ram fan with 10:27 to go in the third quarter. Thank you to all of you watching on WMIXsports.com or listening.
Second down and a long 7 for the Rams. Line of scrimmage, the Mattoon 37.
Wing back to the right, slot back to the left. It'll be Lloyd in motion, trying to stretch play to the near side on the sweep. Gets to the outside. He's at the 30. Tries to shimmy back to about the 25. Dives to the 24. And that's going to be a first down for the Rams as they're threatening to get to the red zone here in the third quarter with about 9:59 left.
It's not a threat. It's not a threat. They are marching to football right now, and this is nice to see if you're in Mount Vernon, marching your way to the second round, hopefully.
CJ has had a nice day, though, breaking for great yardage. Of course, he is the second leading rusher on the team behind DMG. Of course, that's what I understand some of the team calls him instead of hyphen. They'll pick up our name eventually.
It's kind of like Michael Kidd-Gilchrist from Kentucky. He's calling him MKG.
I think that's the theme behind it. Is his inside handoff to Graham Hinkin as he goes right up the gut, which is inside the near hash, past the 20 down to about the 17-yard line. In fact, they're going to split the difference and go about 17 and a half. So it'll be second down and about 4 for the Rams. With 9:22 to play in the third quarter, still 28-21. Mount Vernon on top, looking for a date with either Washington or Peoria next week at J.D. Shields.
You are very welcome at Chief Gines for the live streaming of this ball game.
Glad you like it. It's presented by Red Lake College. Save thousands of dollars on over 100 degree and certificate programs. See them online at rlc.edu. As they're looking for a quick pass over the top, and that one was tipped by Lloyd, thrown behind. Almost coming up with it was Stevens, but he tipped it.
Glad he tipped it because he had a lot of green to go the other way as the shadows get longer and longer on this last day of the first weekend in November.
9 minutes left to go in the third quarter. 28-21. The Rams have taken 3 minutes off the clock so far. The ball is actually on the near hash on the Mattoon 17-yard line. It'll be 3rd and 4 for the Rams as they'll split Marshall off to the right. To the left side will go Doug Gardner. And the slot backs will march off to the right and left respectively with DMG and C.J. Lloyd. Fullback is Graham Hinkin. The quarterback, Reeves, is under center with Lloyd in motion. It's going to be C.J. again breaking to the outside. They haven't had much of an answer for Lloyd as he'll get 2 footsteps away from the 15. First down marker is actually about the 14, so that's going to bring up 4th down and short for the Rams. And they've gone for it already on 4th down today. You think with about 8:45 to go, you might as well do it here on 4th and short.
Well, I would say they'll try to draw Mattoon off sides, and they'll try to obviously run the football, if not keeper for Dylan Reeves. That's kind of been the MO in the situation all year. Remember, on Twitter, you can follow us at WMIX Sports. Also, we're on Facebook, facebook.com/WMIX Sports. Give us a like when you go there. We're keeping you up to date with all kinds of things on both social medias.
Power eye for the Rammers here with 8:21 to go. 4th and short. Reeves is going to plunge forward. I think he got it from where I sit.
Oh, I would think he got it. A big kid like that behind that push of the offensive line. And for me, when we vote on player of the game, my vote is for all the offensive line at this point. Move that stick. Major. Oh, my goodness.
Did not get a very good spot.
No. Not a good spot at all. Based on the chain across the way, which is opposite of us here in the press box, I'm telling you what, it's going to be close. It'll have to take the nose of the football to get there.
Yeah, he did not get a very good spot on that on 4th down with about 8:14 to go. And not as confident as we once were that one is going to be a first down, but we shall see.
He should have it by the nose of the football, if anything. Depending on what chains they brought across. If they brought the home chain or the visit, he didn't get it. Didn't get it
on a bad spot.
Terrible spot. That's the way it goes.
That is.
And
wow, so it'll be a turnover on downs. It'll be Green Wave football.
I, like you, thought he was well beyond that point. However, it's an inexact science spotting the football coming in from the sides, and Mattoon takes over on their own 15 and saves a Mount Vernon, stops a Mount Vernon drive at the very least.
Wow, 8:14 to play in the third quarter. Unbelievable.
Well, you got to move on now. It's time to dig down, and defense will be looking back into the sun, as will the wide receivers in this third quarter.
A fluid Ram offense shut down here. 8:14 left to play in the third quarter. Still 28-21 Rams. 1st and 10 from the Green Wave 14 as they still look at the spot of that football. Too bad no challenge flag.
Oh, Bill Belichick would have tossed that thing so
Wow.
fast.
So out of the
Jason
shot
Garrett would have still been looking.
shotgun for Pilsen. Single back will be Jermaine Armstrong. 2 on each side for the senior quarterback for the Green Wave, going right to left. It'll be a handoff, trying to go up the middle. Nice spin move. Brighton Bowers will bring down Armstrong for a gain of 3. It'll bring up 2nd and 7 off to the right side with 8:07 left to go in the third quarter. Wow.
They haven't run the football very well today. You got to wonder at this point if they're really going to stay there in that point. Your Fisher Bunnies were defeated today, 32-0.
Well, they'll hop
Carrollton
along
beat
off
them
toward next year.
32-zip.
Carrollton, some tough kids in Carrollton. 7:46 to play in the third quarter. Shotgun for the quarterback. 2 on the left, and now sticking across is Jacob Harris. He'll come tight near side to bring up the run. Tyus is going to get the tackle as Pilsen gets to about the 19, stumbles to the 20. That'll bring up 3rd down and about 4 for the Green Wave as the ball will be spotted inside the near hash. 7:27 to go here in the third quarter. It's 3rd and 4. Ball in the 20s, we told you. Still 28-21 Mount Vernon.
Only the third time today that they've called 2 back-to-back running plays.
So we'll see what happens. We'll drop below the 7-minute mark on this drive. The quarterback Pilsen out of the shotgun. To his left, near side, is the back with Harris sneaking across. He'll be tight near side. That's going to open up another running play. This time it's going to be Armstrong. Bulldozes ahead. Lost the football. Who's going to get to it? As it is about the 29. Rams point the other way. They're going to say down by contact here. The official on the near side.
Okay.
So no issues with
I believe a lot. I didn't believe that at all.
No issues with 2 bad calls in a row, and that'll be fine. 6:58 to play in the third. No disrespect intended to any officials that may be listening,
but you got to call it like it is. That ball was not down by contact. That ball was well out before. Oh well.
There you go. 6:57 to play. Fourth quarter action. Watch us online at WMIXsports.com. Thank you for listening on WMIX AM and FM. Pilsen, the quarterback, will be under center. Deep back for Jermaine Armstrong. 2 on each side for the QB Pilsen. 6:44 to go in the third quarter. 1st and 10 from the 27-yard line. This is going to be a handoff, and this is sniffed out by Bowers. This is going to be a loss to maybe about the 20. We'll see where the spot goes.
Oh, my goodness. They're giving him a 2-yard loss. All right.
You have to be going forward to get progress.
Well, you do. But
6:26 to play in the third quarter, and that's only going to be a loss of 2 to bring up 2nd and 12.
Kind of break there. It breaks all the way around. I'm surprised that Mattoon, of course, they're going into the wind, not throwing the football until now.
6:15 to play in the third. Touchdown ball game. It's 1 possession, 28-21. Rams on top. Both teams looking for a date with either Washington or Peoria. That'll be next week. That'll be settled tonight at 7 p.m. in Washington. Nice little regional game there. As Pilsen rolling to the right out of the shotgun, still beyond the 20, and this one is going to be complete. Nope, incomplete.
Yep.
Stepping out of bounds was Malik Joyner.
I got to credit the officials there. They were right on top of that play. He actually turned and stopped his route. When he stopped his route, he made the catch, but he had 1 foot out of bounds as he caught it. Great job by the official on the opposite side by the chains to be right on top of that. Been real easy, just say complete pass, but of course he was in front of the Mount Vernon bench, and it'd been a little harder to do that, of course.
There you go. Take the good with the bad with the good. You just call it like it is. As Pilsen returns to the shotgun to backfield, 3 to the right. Nope, excuse me. He was screening his running back. My apologies. I should have counted. As Armstrong is the back in the backfield. 1 to the left, and thought Pilsen was getting ready to call a timeout there.
No.
So Pilsen's looking left as he takes a snap, now looking well downfield, now trying to get away from the defenders. Grider will give chase, and this one will be dumped off to the right side. Yep. And this one will be an incomplete pass.
Mount Vernon went with a little pressure up the middle that time, a little blitz that came. Mattoon had those receivers out there, and you could see that Mattoon didn't have enough blockers. Mount Vernon timed that blitz very well, forces the incomplete pass, and now Mount Vernon, with Mattoon punting into the wind, should come close, probably at least should be in Mount Vernon or Mattoon territory after this punt.
So the Rams come up short on the last offensive drive and then get a big break there. Defense came up big. Back to return, Doug Gardner between the hashes about the Mount Vernon 45. Kind of a lax punt. This could take a bad English bounce. Nope, it will take a Mattoon bounce across the 45 near midfield.
Wow, I can't believe it got that far. When that ball hit his foot, it sounded like an absolute brick.
Yes, it
There
did.
was no compression. It felt like he was hitting some kind of golf ball that barely has a name on it, and it's messed up, like a triple X ball or something. The one where the logos are crooked.
Like a misprint or just an
Like
X
a
out?
misprint.
I got you.
Like a pro staff.
Wow.
That ball dunked, and I mean, you'd say you could hear it up here off his foot, even with headphones on.
The folks at Wilson appreciate that reference.
That's all right, I don't use it.
5:33 to go.
But if they want to sponsor me, go ahead and send me free golf balls.
Well, they lost the IHSA contract, could use the help. Is this going to be DMG up the left side? Now trying to use a little off-tackle move as he gets past the far hash to about the 45. It'll be a gain of about 6. Should bring up 2nd and 4 for the hyphen with 5:20 to go in this third quarter. Rams are still hanging on to a 28-21 lead. If you're tired of big corporate banking, you have a choice in Jefferson County. Community First Bank is at home, and Dick Sign of Woodlawn and Mount Vernon. Welcome back to Personal Banking. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender. That's our friends with 5 Jefferson County branches. The market leader in Jeffco. As this is going to be Lloyd in motion, but the handoff is going to be inside to Graham Hinkins, short of a first down. This will be a gain of about 2. It'll bring up 3rd and 1.
Some people are saying they heard that punt through the computer. Well, depending on the spot, I think it's... How close can it be? Oh, my gosh. That's not a first down? Okay. I mean, I'm looking at it like you are. We're pretty well sitting square on it. It has to be a first down.
This time they're right. Last time they weren't. 3rd and 1 for the Rams. Quarterback Dylan Reeves is under center in motion. DMG as the hyphen gets pushed back a little bit. Now cuts back, dives forward for the first down. Better have it this time as it gets to about the 39. Make that. Where are you going with this, Hugo? That's about the 41 and a half.
Don't say 51.
That was only one time. I had good reasons.
But it's a first down. Clock keeps moving. Chains keep moving. Highlands up 34-20 late in the 4th as they're going to advance. So Carbondale's season will end.
So South 7 needs this. Under center, Dylan Reeves, 4:10 to play in the third quarter. 28-21, Rams on top of Mattoon. Lloyd with a sweep, going to try to come near side. Gets a nice block. He tries to cut back toward the line of scrimmage between the hashes. Got back to the LOS. I'm going to call it a no gain. 2nd and 10 with 4 to play in the third.
Mattoon, a good job of pursuing that time. Didn't fall for the fake and trickery underneath in the line from the running backs and the quarterback. And right now, Mount Vernon with 3:40 to go. Of course, keep driving the football, keep running the clock. It's less time for somebody else to do something with it.
3:45 to play. Third quarter action on the road here in Coles County. 28-21, the Rams are on top. Reeves under center, split to the left side, Gardner. Split to the right side, Marshall. A couple of slot backs. Miller Gray in motion. It's going to be Reeves keeping it himself. Is he going to pitch out? No, he's going to keep it. Had Miller Gray, could have... out of bounds.
Yeah, you only have a short amount of time when you're running that pitch, and he didn't have the time. He delayed it too long, then had to take it, and now it makes it 4th and about 8 as both teams, or 3rd and about 7, actually. Now they changed the numbers on the scoreboard. This is two-down territory here. Interesting play call here for the Rams.
So the ball will be on the far hash. It is on the 38-yard line in Green Wave territory. 28-21, Mount Vernon up 7. Reeves, the quarterback under center, split left and right. Power I for the Rams. This is going to be C.J. Lloyd on the handoff. Breaks off tackle, makes it close to a first down. We'll see where the spot of the ball takes them. Shy of the 30-yard line, but will it be enough? We'll see what happens.
No.
Is that a cramp for Lloyd?
Well, we'll see.
Clutches the thigh.
As he is down, they spot the football. They're going to stop the clock to make sure for a measurement. And we will see what the chains say. Lloyd is down at the 30. And now we'll have to see. They'll bring the chains out as soon as they are done tending to the player. They will tell the teams to go off the field, and they are looking at a cramp. Hard to believe in a game of this kind of weather that you have a cramp in this one, but he has played a lot of minutes. Scores, it was Staunton over Fairfield 8-0. Carlisle beat El Dorado 29-14. Gillespie beat Lawrenceville 28-14. It was Greenville over Freeburg 49-22. AJ lost to Robinson 21-20. Carterville over Vina Goreville 48-13. And Mount Carmel beat Bree Central 29-21 as Lloyd is up and walking back on his own power. Just a cramp, and now the measurement will happen. As the intrigue and drama break here is now the official signal as an official timeout. And they'll bring the chains across. Althoff over Columbia 35-14. Heron over Alton Marquette 20-14 in overtime. Mater Dei beat Olney 49-21. Marion lost to Jacksonville 37-6. And Carbondale trails Highland 34-20. And the Rams get a first down.
There you go. They'll take it. Tony Wilt will take the scoreboard update mentioned there.
Thanks to all our new followers today of Twitter, of us on Twitter, I should say, at WMIX Sports. If you follow us, tell your followers and your friends, hey, get to Twitter and follow WMIX Sports.
State Farm Insurance, get to a better state with Tony Wilton State Farm in Mount Vernon. Committee First Bank of the Heartland is the official voice of the Rams as they stop to measure the chains. And it's 1st and 10, Mount Vernon on the Mattoon 31, 2:46 to play in the third quarter. And even though you haven't scored yet, if they're the Rams and you could score, I think you're happy with the fact you've killed some clock, now down to the 2:46 mark.
Clock is running, and you're going to get, hopefully, if you get a first down, one more first down, you get out of this quarter with the football and less time for Mattoon to do something.
2:30 to go in the quarter. This time it's going to be the hyphen looking to break outside, makes a nice move, cutting back to the near side, still on his feet to about the 20. Brought down. We'll see if they,
first down.
That is going to be a first down. Gain of 10.5 for DeMontez Miller-Gray. Run DMG.
8th play of the drive coming up. And right now, Mount Vernon is starting to wear down what looks to be a very tired Mattoon defense. You see a lot of guys out there with their hands on their hips right now on that green-suited Green Wave team.
Ball on the 20, on the Mattoon 20. Far hash, splits to the left and right. Slot back to the right for the Rams. In motion, Miller-Gray, and this is going to be an inside handoff. Looks like that is going to be Robert Grider getting the carries. He goes up the far hash, pulling the defense with him, trying to get to the 10. Maybe about 8.5 on the play.
Hey, he carried everybody on the 9th play of the drive. There were 9 jerseys in green trying to bring him down. The other 2 were on the ground after being blocked, and Grider kept grinding away and getting yardage, and now Mount Vernon prime opportunity here, knock it on the goal line once again.
That's Robert Grider's 7th carry of the season, taking him to about 30 yards.
That's not bad.
The Rams themselves, I said about 2,000 yards earlier. My apologies. Actually 27-63 coming into the game. Surely at 3,000 by now. As in motion, it's going to be the quarterback keeping himself. Dylan Reeves looking to roll in far corner for the score. And on the QB keeper on the fake handoff. A nice option read by Dylan Reeves.
He looked off the hyphen and got it in and ran it in from 12 yards. And Mount Vernon has a 2-touchdown lead.
So 34-21 as we await the PAT. C.J. Lloyd on to attempt. I believe Lloyd has just missed the one. They went for 2.
Wow. What a nice little play. Faked out 2 defenders there. The end and the corner who rolled up. No way to make the play.
Siege is 9 of 16, I believe, on the year. Make that 10 of 17. Looking to make it 11 of 18 here on a Saturday afternoon in November. 1:16 to go in the third. The kick is up. Looks like it's good.
Well, I think it is.
And it's 35-21.
Yeah, you betcha. Mount Vernon has a 2-touchdown lead on the Dylan Reeves 9-yard scamper.
Chris Hugo with Danny Czerwinski. WMIX, WMIX FM Mount Vernon, W243 AV FM Flora, W229 AU FM Fairfield. Rams Radio Network.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 extra points here today. Good.
I literally had to do that at that time.
That's fine.
Right at 5 o'clock.
Hey, that's
or
all
between
right.
4 and 6.
I heard we do well on AM on doing that.
Yeah.
Now, on that particular drive, Mount Vernon went 52 yards in 4 minutes on 10 plays. That's getting it done.
They'll take it. That was one great play by Dylan Reeves. And, of course, Committee First Bank of the Heartland is the official voice of the Mount Vernon Rams. You can make your own great play. When you open a Community First Bank free high-yield checking account that earns cash back, just ask for 1. Simple as that. You can even go in there holding up your index finger, I guess. Just ask for 1. Remember, FDIC, they do have 5 Jefferson County branches where you can do that. 2 in Mount Vernon, Dix, Woodlawn, and Ina. Market leader in Jefferson County. Thankful for them. They'll take care of the showcase for us, too, coming up. As this one's going to be on the ground. Ooh, just out of the reach. That heads toward the sideline. One of the Rams going to have to get there. And that's going to be picked up out of bounds at about the 29 by the Green Wave. And if you're the Green Wave, why touch it? It's going out of bounds. But then again, you can't run the risk of it not getting out of bounds.
Well, you had to go touch it because you don't want a free ball. If that ball takes a crazy hop and deadens, the Rams could pick that up. It's a live ball, and you had to touch it. And, of course, now down 2 scores. We'll see how comfortable Mattoon is here in the next minute 16. Of course, what happens is at the change of the quarter, they're going to have the wind behind them the rest of the way.
With a minute 16 to go out of the shotgun will work Pilsen. 3 to the left, 1 to the right. Looks like that's Jermaine Armstrong still in the backfield. That's Joyner, Harris, And I believe Stevens to the left. Pilson's quickly looking out in the flat. He's going to find Stevens. He's at 30-35, gets to the 40. Oh, breaking for it to the near sideline. He will break all tackles. Gardner's going to give chase. He's at the 15-10-5 touchdown. And the Green Wave are back in it on a 71-yard touchdown pass. That should have never been.
Well, just a little pass out to the flat, turned it up, got a block, missed a tackler. Touchdown, Mattoon.
So they'll fire the Carterville cannon.
Wow.
With 1:04 to go in the third, and that'll change the complexion of a game in a hurry.
Wow. Just that, you just about the point you can relax, and all of a sudden, 70-yard touchdown pass. Back to the grind once again.
Now you're showing the defense you can't take a play off as Andy Dole is on to kick the point after to try to make it a 7-point game. Kick is up, and that looks like it's just inside the right upright, and that'll make it 35-28. We have a ball game. The WMIX Sports Mobile Studios, driven by Ford Square of Mount Vernon, 1501 Broadway. You can view their inventory online at fordsquare.com.
Wow, 70-yard touchdown pass. And that's the way it goes.
Okay.
And again, you just about the time you feel good about it, and you give something up like that if you're Mount Vernon. That's the bad part.
Bad part indeed. We'll see what happens. The Green Wave and the Marion Wildcats combined for 100 back in week 2.
If it gets to that point, Mount Vernon would be in trouble.
Minute 4 to play in the third quarter. It's 35-28. Rams on top. As the Rams have controlled the clock, but the tempo may have just gone back and the momentum to the Green Wave.
Carbondale loses 34-20. Yikes.
So the Rams are the lone dog left. Nope, there's 2.
Althoff.
As of this moment. Forgot about the Crusaders. Easy to do. Not in a bad way. Different class.
Okay. Heron at Althoff next weekend. The past versus the current South 7. Be careful here if you're Mount Vernon. I think Mattoon likes that onside kick. In fact, it is an onside kick. They have it in front of the tee. So here comes the hands team. Hopefully Mount Vernon will be ready.
Got to hope as Dole is on to kick. It's going to be onside, and this one is going to take a bounce right up the middle. It'll be picked up by Jylen Rush. Was able to get it off the hop and take it to the 40, past the hash on the far side. Going to be 1st and 10 for the Rams with 1:02 left to go in the third quarter. And you're the Rams. You got the football on the kickoff. As long as you don't turn the ball over, you kill some clock, you're actually in a pretty good position.
Well,
as long as you get some first downs.
You don't want to play not to lose the game, Herm. But if you're a Mount Vernon right now, you just let them right back in. How many times, turnovers are big plays. Mount Vernon's allowed Mattoon to kind of hang around in this one.
It's been interesting. Split to the left, split to the right. Reeves, the quarterback, under center with 1:02 to go in the third. 35-28 Rams. Ball on the far hash of the Ram 41. Miller Gray's in motion. Inside handoff's going to be to Graham Hinkton, trying to slip through the defenders. Broke past the line, not quite past the linebackers, and he gets to the 46. So a gain of 5 will make it 2nd and 5.
Well, most of the scores are final that we are concerned about, except for those late starts. Chester at Carmi and Rochester, of course, Washington and Peoria at 7 tonight.
Clock still rolling. 40, make that now 35 seconds to go. Third quarter action from Mattoon. The Rams have it on their own 46. Ball on the far hash. Miller Gray in motion. DMG going to try to go up left side. Makes a nice move, maybe for a gain of 2, to bring up 3rd and about 3 on the lunge by Miller Gray.
I hope he was trying to make a move. Yeah, he's coming up a little limping, but he's okay. He'll stay in the game.
So with 12 seconds left, fresh 25 on the play clock. We'll see if the Rams even bother. I probably wouldn't at this point. So they're going to let the clock expire here on the third quarter. And after 3, the Mount Vernon Rams 25, the Mattoon Green Wave 28. We'll take a break. This is Rams football from WMIX Sports.
Your spine is a miracle of engineering. So when pain strikes, your body is telling you to get help fast. The Orthopedic Center of Southern Illinois is proud to feature their spine care team. Doctors Kowalski and Smith, the professionals at Orthopedic Center, specialize in back and neck pain. So put our spine care team on the job. Find out more online at orthocenter-si.com. Stop the pain, fix the problem, and enjoy life again. The Orthopedic Center of Southern Illinois.
Hi, this is Joe David Cummins, President of Community First Bank. Now is a great time to move your account to Community First Bank. With our new one account offering the highest interest rate in the market, free checking, and CD specials delivered by people you know and trust, why would you not bank with the market leader in Jefferson County? We offer 5 locations with 7 ATMs and have been serving the Jefferson County market since 1906. Stop in and see why our bank is the fastest growing bank in Jefferson County. Community First Bank. Welcome back to personal banking. Member FDIC.
Back to Mount Vernon Rams football, powered by Community First Bank of the Heartland.
They are the market leader in Jefferson County. That's Community First Bank of the Heartland, 5 Jefferson County branches. So glad you can join us here for fourth quarter action from Mattoon as the Rams lead the Green Wave 35-28, starting fourth quarter action. 3rd and 2 for the Rams, ball on their own 48, spotted on the near hash. Not very far to go for Dylan Reeves and the Rams for a first down. A couple of slot backs here, a fullback, split left, split right for the junior QB and his team. Your backs are Lloyd, Hinken, and Miller Gray from left to right. Splits the left side, Gardner. On the right, it's Marshall. Reeves, the quarterback, as we set under center Tyler Bradley. C.J. Lloyd in motion. Inside handoff to Hinken. Found a seam, dove forward, and it looks like the Rams may have fumbled the football. Down by contact, says the official coming in from the far side.
There's a huge break because there was no contact. That ball squirted out, but Mount Vernon catches a break. Keeps it. It's 4th and a yard. Ooh, baby. Can you quarterback keeper one more time? Can you possibly draw him off sides again?
We'll see what happens here in the fourth quarter. 11:35 to go. If the Rams can hang on, they'd play next week. 35-28 is the lead. It's 4th and a yard. The ball is at midfield, just maybe about a yard inside the near hash as Reeves, the quarterback, is under center. Miller Gray in motion. It's going to be DeMontez. He's going to have to break forward. Lunges. Looks like he might have gotten the first down. We'll see where they spot the football.
This guy, the official on this side where we're at, is not giving him that. He's marking it short. Yeah, did not make it, and Mattoon will take over on down.
So spots have not been kind today for either side. 11:07 to go, and the Rams turn it over. Wow.
Yeah, and what a play by the defensive end for Mattoon. He stayed home on the fake. He stayed home, caught Miller Gray, made him decide to go back inside toward where all the defenders were. Great defense. And at that time, Mount Vernon does not get the first down, and Mattoon 50 yards away from tying it up and or taking the lead.
We'll see what happens. 35-28 to score, 11:07 to play in the fourth quarter. Ball is on the Green Wave side of the midfield marker. Pilson is out of the shotgun. 1 to the right, 3 to the left. Jermaine Armstrong is the back in the backfield to the quarterback's right. Travis Kittle is to the right. Joyner, Stevens, and Harris to the left side. Here comes the snap. It's going to be a handoff to Jermaine Armstrong. Rolling up the right side. Was running backwards for a bit for a gain of about 9 near the 40. And it'll be maybe a short second down here for the Green Wave.
The one thing that Mattoon doesn't do very well, run the football. If they start getting that going with the pass, it could be a quick score for the Green Wave.
Rams defense going to have to step up here. 10:43 to play in the fourth quarter. 35-28. Pilson out of the shotgun. The back is left this time. 3 to the left, 1 to the right. Wait the snap. Here it comes. He's looking left side. They're all covered up. Now he's going to go right. DeMontez Miller Gray is all over, and this one's going to be overthrown to the goal line where it falls incomplete. About 4 yards overthrown. It'll bring up second down. Clock will make that 3rd down and 1.
No chance of that pass getting to that receiver. The hyphen had him covered like a blanket. A lot of blankets here this afternoon as we head into the evening time at 5:11.
There you go.
There you go.
Ball is just on the Mattoon side of the Ram 40-yard line. Trying to fake the quarterback keeper, I think. Nope. Quarterback is going to keep it. Does he get ahead? Does he lunge past the 40? It looks like this official's going to say yes. By from where we sit, that's going to be a first down. We'll see if they give it to the Green Wave with 10:20 to play. That was a 3rd down carry, but that should turn it into a first down series.
Oh, easy. Yeah. He lunged with the football as he got to the line of scrimmage, tried to see if he could draw Mount Vernon offside first, and did a good job, and now has the first down. And you feel a little momentum starting to swing a little bit unless Mount Vernon can make a play.
10:20 left to go in the fourth quarter. 35-28, Rams on top. 39.5-yard line on the near hash for the Green Wave in Ram territory. 1 to the right, 3 to the left for the quarterback out of the gun, Pilson. As a back to the left, that's Jermaine Armstrong. Pilson's looking to pass left. Fade route left side. Stevens would have the advantage, comes down with it, but tumbles to about the 11. And the Green Wave have the Rams under attack with 10 to play in the fourth.
Yep, little pass on the swing route over across the other way. receiver made the play, did not let the defensive back know he's going to catch the ball until the very last moment, and Mattoon driving with the football now.
Of course, if you're looking for an award to recognize an individual team or other accomplishment, check out Winning Edge's fashionable line of plaques, trophies, medallions, glass, and acrylics. Visit winningedgeusa.com. One of our Rams boosters out of the gun again, the quarterback Pilson. 3 right, 1 left. Looking now right side. Ooh, nice pass to Malik Joyner, looking to break away from the tackles as he'll drag a couple of guys to about the 5, just passing near hash. Nice flat pass with 9:40 left to go in the fourth quarter. And the Green Wave, yard by yard, inching ever so close to that goal line.
Well, momentum building here. And right now, Mattoon, as we were told and we were watched, short passing. And that's what they're using right now on this drive that started at the 50.
9:23 to play in the fourth. 35-28 your score. Shotgun for Pilson. 3 left, 1 right. Armstrong back out of this set. Going to be a quick fake, and now running off tackle. There's a flag on the play as Pilson gets in the end zone.
It will not be a touchdown. It will be a hold or a clip, and that's what it is, an illegal block below the waist. You could see it in the middle of the line of scrimmage right at the center. It was a shot to the knees, bringing down the Mount Vernon 2 defenders, and that touchdown gets pulled back.
So a bit of a shot in the foot for the Green Wave. 9:06 to play in the fourth quarter, still 35-28 if you're just tuned in on WMIX and WMIX FM, as this is going to come back 10 yards. So it'll be second and long. So there we go, 9:06 to go in the fourth quarter, as we told you. Pilson's going to stay out of the gun, and the officials are going to talk something over here at about the 22. Video on WMIXsports.com is presented by Rend Lake College. Log on to rlc.edu to see how you can save thousands of dollars on your college education. It's all online at rlc.edu as this one comes back to the 21. They were discussing the foul.
15.
This will be second and about 16 now for the Green Wave with 9:06 to go in the fourth. Trailing by a touchdown is Mattoon. Grider comes off the end, had a nice block there. Oh, and a pass that went right through the hands of Jacob Harris. Went right through the gut of Malik Joyner near the end zone, and so the Green Wave.
Well, too many Green Wave in one spot. They had 2 receivers within 5 yards or less of each other. The under receiver cut in front, jumped up, missed it, and the back receiver, who was probably the ball was intended for, was his line of sight was shielded, therefore couldn't make the catch. A break for Mount Vernon.
3rd and 16 for the Wave. 9:01 to play in the fourth quarter. 35-28. Rams on top. Pilson out of the gun. Has a single back. 3 left, 1 right. And it's going to be a quick connect pass behind. Kittle fumbles, lost the football. We'll see if it's going to be a fumble or incomplete as they stumble on it about the 23.
Oh, -5 pass. Ball squirting around everywhere. It's a comedy of errors for both teams. Mount Vernon lucky they didn't call for roughing the passer. A hit well after the ball was released. And now Mattoon has 4th and 22 yards. Actually 4th and 17 from their own 22 with 8.5 minutes to go.
Big play in the game right here with 8:33 left in the fourth quarter. 35-28. Rams up 7. Instruction coming in from Coach Troy Johnson.
Timeout.
It's probably a good time to take a timeout if you're Mattoon. 2339 Broadway, that's where you'll find the Medicine Shop Pharmacy and Dr. Eric Black and staff who support the Mount Vernon Rams and Lady Rams as well as the local community. Also flu shot time. Hint, hint. You might go check that out. There's some bugs going around. 8:24 left to go in the fourth quarter here. Big fourth down coming up for the Green Wave. It'll be on the Ram 22-yard line, 4th and 17. And the Apollo Conference champs a bit of a back to the wall here, though they're in good field position.
Well, you know they have time. If they can make a defensive stop, if they don't get the first down here, they have plenty of time left. The key will be what they come out with here with 4th and 17. They can't get a first down without scoring. If you're Mount Vernon, you just can't give up a big play or a silly play. That's the issue for Mount Vernon in this case. As we were coming in loud and clear for Brent Garrison and his officiating crew coming in through Carlisle as they were listening on the way back from their game. And now, with 8 minutes to go plus, you hate to say play of the game, but it's one of those you're going to mark down that depending on what happens, it could be.
It's going to be momentum for somebody. Will it be the Green Wave who have it 4th and 17 from the Ram 22? 1 to the right, 3 to the left out of the gun for the quarterback, Jared Pilson. Jermaine Armstrong is the back to his right. 4th and 17, trying to get the Rams to jump. Not going to happen. He looks right. He's going to have to pass. Has 3 to the left. He's going to go fade route. This one's going to be over the top to Joyner. Broke up by Jacoby Marshall. And that'll be a turnover on downs. What a great defensive play by Jacoby as the cornerback comes to the rescue, and the Rams will have it 1st and 10.
Oh, man, what a play. Play of the game. Got back, got defended the receiver perfectly underneath, got a hand up, got an arm up, defended it, knocked him down, and Mount Vernon stops the Mattoon drive, and they have it with 8:18 to go in the game.
I've fallen in love with the word fade. It was just a lob pass on a flag pattern, and what a great play by Jacoby Marshall to tip it away and do it cleanly. That's where Jacoby's been huge this season. It's not necessarily in the receiving core, but defensively. 1st and 10 for the Rams from their own 22-yard line. Reeves looking to do a nice little read there by Reeves as he rolls to the right side, runs to about the 28 or 29. It's going to be a gain of 6 or 7, bring up 2nd and 3 or 4 with 8:08 to play in the 4th quarter. Rams up a touchdown here on the road at Mattoon. 35-28, looking for a date with Washington.
Really, when you look at the offense for Mattoon, is Mount Vernon should take their every time here in this game. They had 73 total yards in the 3rd quarter. Mattoon did, and 70 of them came on one play. So you can see the Mount Vernon defense has been stopping Mattoon very nicely. Only 3 first downs in that 3rd quarter, so it's been the defense for Mount Vernon. But you can expect the Rams defense will have to make more stops before this one's over.
2nd and 4 for the Rams from their own 29-yard line. Ball inside the far hash. 7:36 to play. Right to left go the Rams. Reeves keeps himself, somehow gets it off to C.J. Lloyd, but it's not going to matter. It's going to be a loss of about 2, and that'll bring up 3rd and 6, and that was a dangerous play. It was a good idea.
Nah, it wasn't a very good play. That's a little too dangerous there in the shadow of your own goalposts. And the reason we know people are listening is we have our ways to know you all are all listening or watching us in one way, shape, or another as people text and tweet us. Big play here, 3rd and 6. Mattoon makes a stop. Mount Vernon would have to punt into the wind, and the field position game would dramatically shift to the advantage of Mattoon.
No doubt about that. Rams football is presented by Community First Bank. Split left and right for the Rams. Couple of slot backs and a fullback. Reeves looking for the quick pass. This will be behind Jacoby Marshall, and that'll bring up 4th down and 6 from the 27. Rams are forced to punt.
Oh, an incomplete pass. Pass was behind the receiver, and now Mattoon did exactly what they had to do, make the stop and turn it into a drive for them, which will probably start in Mount Vernon territory.
If you're tired of big corporate banking, you have a choice in Jefferson County. Community First Bank is at home, and Dick Sign of Woodlawn and Mount Vernon. Welcome back to Personal Banking, member FDIC. So it'll be Hart Bank and Stevens back to return. They're going to backpedal to about the 41-yard line. Near man is Stevens. Far man is Hart Bank. Punter is the quarterback, Dylan Reeves. This will be a nice punt off of the foot of the Ram. Kicker's Hartbank wants a fair catch, and he'll lunge to the 45 to make it happen. This will be 1st and 10 from the Green Wave 45. 6:52 to play in the 4th quarter, and the Rams defense going to have to bend but not break yet again.
Yep, want another stop. And now for Mount Vernon, a big stop here. Coming up, another one. They may have to take a couple, maybe even 3 to get out of here with a win on the road.
Chris Hugo with Danny Czerwinski alongside Holly Carroll back at our Mount Vernon studio. Jeff Crow brings the video angles on WMIXSports.com. The Green Wave will have the quarterback Pilsen out of the shotgun. Ball inside the far hash from their own 45. 1st and 10 with 6:52 to play in the 4th. A touchdown is the difference. It's 35-28. Low snap, no problem for Pilsen. Grider comes off the edge, gets a hand on the play. Pilsen rolling the near side, completes it to Stevens in the middle, and coming up from behind, trying to strip it away was the Ram defense. Tyler Knudsen, but comes up with a big stop across the 40 down to about the 38 for the Green Wave, and they'll have a long 1st down here with 6:41 to go.
Well, they nearly had him, and boy, Pilsen made a good job knowing where the line of scrimmage was to get that pass completed.
Out of the shotgun, Pilsen. Single back is Jermaine Armstrong. 3 right, 1 left out of the receiving core for the Green Wave. 6:33 to play in regulation. 35-28 your score. Rams on top, and they need a big stop in the worst possible way. Let's see what happens for Pilsen. Play clock at 7. Now looking for the pass, and that's going to be in and out of the hands of Jacob Harris. Near side at about the 40. He saw a lot of running room, but did not see the ball into his hands.
Well, the problem was he was wanting to turn upfield before the ball got there. That's usually a problem when that happens. Have to catch it in order to go do something special.
So that'll stop the clock with 6:19. It's 2nd and 10 from the Green Wave, or make it at the Ram 37-yard line. Ball spotted between the hashes. Pilsen will work out of the shotgun. He's going to empty out the backfield as the running back will move to a slot receiver there on the left, Jermaine Armstrong. Looks like Harris, Hartbank, and Joyner to the right. Kittle and Armstrong to the left for Pilsen out of the shotgun with the empty backfield. 6:19 to go. 35-28, Rams on top. Play clock's at 4. Make it 3. Now 2. It's Pilsen after the snap looking for the lob throw. Stevens is going to be complete. Tyus will bring him down at the 2.
Wow.
And that's going to be a gain of 35, and it sets up 1st and goal for the Green Wave to try to tie it or take the lead.
Out jumped the receiver. The defender, I should say, jumped up and made the play. Now Mattoon scrambling to get the line. They want to go now.
So it'll be 1st and goal from the 1, so a 36-yard gain. Pilsen out from under. He's under center. Clock will roll. Pilsen's going to find some running room to the right, and it's going to be a 1-yard touchdown on the ground for Pilsen.
And now
35-34.
Yep, just right up the middle. And this thing is close to me. I think in Mount Vernon, you got to try an extra point block here if you got one. Make it bad, but right now, boy, Mattoon with a big play. And that's what they've done. 2 big plays for their last 2 touchdowns. And that's the gift of being able to do that here in the playoffs.
6:09 to play here in the 4th quarter. The Green Wave are a PAT from a tie. 35-34, Rams on top. Let's see if they bring the kitchen sink on a block attempt. Snap is good. It'll be held by Pilsen, and this one is going to be just inside the left upright to tie it at 35.
Wow.
Your community, your choice, your bank. With 5 locations and friends and neighbors on staff who understand your needs, Community First Bank keeps it simple. Welcome back to personal banking. Member FDIC.
4 plays, 55 yards on that drive that went about 50 seconds. Yeah.
And on a punt that gave the Green Wave, it was a decent punt, but they still had great field position from their own 45. They go 55 yards on the drive and tie it at 35 here in the 4th quarter.
They've scored the last 2 touchdowns. Tied at 35. You don't want to get into a shootout with them. And now Mount Vernon will have the football with their, in their own hands, see what they do. But again, you got to be aware of the onside kick, the pooch kick, all the above.
See what the Rams counter with on the kickoff return, if they get a return at all. They'll send Montez Miller-Gray back to return. Would assume he'd have to be the deep man. Green will come up to the near side, as will C.J. Lloyd. Jylen Rush will be in the middle between the hashes about the 35. Williamson and Gardner will stand at about the 40 to provide some hand protection just in case.
It always seems in the playoffs that big plays, you do it in August, September, okay, whatever. Big plays in the playoffs, it means twice as much to teams, and that's what we've seen out of Mattoon today.
We've seen the Rams give up a pair of unanswered touchdowns only to come back and answer them. This time it is going to be onside, and this is going to get it well out of bounds. Flag on the play.
That's why coaches have gray hairs. A lot of times kickers doing silly things like that.
Some of them are bald.
Kicking out of bounds. I mean, that thing there, I think if you're Mattoon, you did a lot better job of kicking it on a squib or what you were trying to do middle of the field rather than what you just did there. So Mount Vernon will get the football at the 40. Or they might make them kick it back. Oh, they're going to make them kick it again with the wind at their back. So they're going to move back to 35. Let's see what Mattoon does here.
We'll see what happens.
That wind dying down, though, it's becoming less and less of a factor.
6:09 to go in the 4th quarter. We are tied at 35 in Mattoon. It's going to be on the tee this time.
We will see. Now Mattoon looks like they're going to kick it deep now after losing that 5 yards.
Andy Dole on the kick, and for reals this time, as the kids would say. It's just going to come to the near side, going to take a Ram bounce, and they're going to let it bounce out of bounds again. And that's with plenty of time. That's a good move by DeMontez Miller.
Oh, smart move. Push him back 5 more yards, make a kick it again. How wide is this field, and the kicker can't kick it in bounds? Wow.
That was one that was angling at about 7 or 8.
Interesting. And you notice all the momentum that was on this side of the field on the home side, all the noise, all the yelling and hollering going on. Out. They're going to have to rev up again.
We'll see if they can do it. 6:09 to play, 4th quarter, 35-35. We're tied in Mattoon. The Rams had a 35-28 lead, but storming back came the Green Wave. And it has been back and forth all afternoon. The Rams did have a halftime lead. They've led since the 2nd quarter after leading 7-0, but Mattoon jumped out 21-7.
Yes, at Jake Giants, 55 yards wide is the field, yes.
Oh, Chief.
Oh, the Chief.
As this will be a
There you
kick
go.
down the middle, and this one's going to be picked up by DeMontez. He'll get to the 30 at the far hash, going to cut back near side between the hashes, loses the football. Looks like Williamson gets on top of it at about the 35. This will be a huge break for the Rams. Jacob Williamson, the team's leading tackler, right place, right time.
Well, I'm sure everybody in orange and black took a big old breath after the air left them for that split second. And now Mount Vernon has it at their own 35, destiny in their own hands. You want to drive it down the field and score and get out of here with a win.
6:06 left to go. It's 35-35. That's a tie ball game. Rams will have it on their own 35-yard line. Ball spotted inside the far hash. Couple of slot backs for the Rams, split left and right. Quarterback Reeves in their center. DeMontez Miller-Gray in motion. They went for, what was that, a belly counter?
Yep, belly counter, and it did not work. And that was one of those where the defense, you allow the defense time to get set up and get back there on that kind of play. And unfortunately for Mount Vernon, they were not fooled, was Mattoon.
It'll be 2nd and 14 from the Ram 31. Ball between the hashes to the right side. Split will go Jacoby Marshall. Split left Doug Gardner. Slot backs are Miller-Gray and Lloyd. Hinkin's your fullback. A CJ who's done a great job. He's going to get a sweep carry to the right side. Ooh, and brought down from behind as he gets a gain of 4 as he tried to go outside to the far sideline. We'll make it 3rd and 10. This will take it back to about the 35.
Golly, you just feel...
Lloyd had a great run going, but his own man stepped in the way trying to do a great thing and impeded his progress. So it'll be 3rd and 10 for the Rams here. Green Wave fans are on their feet. We're high above with 5:08 to go. We're in the WMIX Sports Mobile Studios, driven by Ford Square. Split left and right. Slot backs for the Rams with 5:01 to play in the fourth, tied at 35. Reeves is the quarterback under center. 6 seconds on the play clock. 4:53 on the game clock. Reeves looking for the quick pass, and that one thrown well behind the intended target of DeMontez Miller-Gray is almost picked off, and it falls incomplete. Stop the clock with 4:48, and the Rams will have 4th and 10.
Well, you could tell, too, that was a new formation that Mount Vernon had used, one of the new ones, and you could tell they weren't used to running. A lot of the kids were looking to the sideline. Mount Vernon executed the play. The problem was the wide receiver ran into defenders on his way down the field. The play was stopped there. The ball goes by. Luckily, it wasn't picked off, and Mount Vernon will have to punt it away once again.
Hartbank on the far side. Stevens on the near side, hovering around the 35-yard line. Reeves back to punt at about the 25, and this one is going to go out of bounds, and looks like it might have gone out at about the 40. We'll see where they spot the ball.
I would say 45 at the earliest, 43. Okay, that's a break, too, for Mount Vernon.
Yes, it is.
As Mattoon will start with the own 44, and we talked about it, and here we are again. Mount Vernon's defense will have to make a stop. Chester leads Carmi at the end of 7-0 down at Chester by the river. Chester and Carmi will be the lone Black Diamond team to make it to the second round.
4:41 to go in the fourth. Ball in the Mattoon, 43 on the far hash. Out of the gun is the quarterback, Jared Pilson. Single back is Jermaine Armstrong. 3 to the right, 1 to the left. Play clock's at 18. See what they go with. Kittle on the far side. It'll be Harris, Stevenson. Or make that Stevens, my apologies. And Joyner on the right. At 4, he snaps. Pilson's going to come rolling to the near side. Going to dump off a pass complete to Joyner. Rush tries to give him a tackle. He dives to the 40 for a nice gain. And that is going to be a gain of 17 for the Green Wave. Tied at 35, but for how much longer? The Ram offense has fizzled as the Mattoon defense has stepped up. The Ram defense growing ever so tired as this offense continues to roll.
Now you have to run the fact that Mattoon moving the ball so easily.
We'll get you more Tony Wilt.
Yes.
Sorry. We'll get you more Tony Wilt scoreboard updates throughout the night.
And the Mount Vernon defense may be looking a little gassed at this point.
They'll empty out the backfield, and Jared Shaner wants a timeout. This timeout is presented by the Medicine Shop Pharmacy at 2339 Broadway in Mount Vernon. Dr. Eric Black and staff are proud to support the Mount Vernon Rams and the local community. That's the Medicine Shop of Mount Vernon. So what we have here is a 35-35 tie as Jared Shaner calls a timeout. His team on defense backs to the wall. Ball on the Mount Vernon 40, on the near hash is where it'll be out of the timeout with a fresh set of downs for the Green Wave. Yikes.
It has not been good. Big plays have kept Mattoon in this long enough for Mount Vernon to have to deal with them. And Mount Vernon had a 2-touchdown lead, 35-21 at one point, and now trail. tied and hopefully do not trail.
Chris Hugo with Danny Czerwinski alongside WMIX, WMIX FM, Mount Vernon, a free service from Withers Broadcasting. So glad you could join us. It's 33 minutes past the top of the hour. 5 o'clock in the Central Time Zone.
Now, somebody says on Twitter, if Mount Vernon makes a stop, they'll run to Mattoon. I hate to tell you, it's awful cold and awful windy running up this way. Be a long run. Thanks for following us, though, on Twitter as we retweet that.
At WMIX Sports is where we are. Out of the shotgun, empty backfield for the quarterback, Jared Pilson. Where's number 2? He's a senior, right-hander, 6'1", 190. Has plenty of time to throw. The ends can't break away, and now finally he'll run up the middle. Going to be tripped by his own man. They'll credit Brighton Bowers with the tackle. That's going to be a gain of about 2.5. It'll bring up 2nd and 8 with 4:13 to play. Here in regulation, we are tied at 35, but for how much longer? The Rams defense going to have to bend but not break.
Did a good job there, though. Secondary had all the receivers covered. Have to do it again.
Pilson out of the shot, going to get empty backfield. 2 to the right, 3 to the left for the senior quarterback. Had a rough season at times last year, but got this team to the playoffs, battled some injuries. Now as a senior, has over 2,000 passing yards in the regular season. And this one's going to be a nice slant pass to Kittle as he'll be pulled down inside the 25. At the 24, that's going to be a gain of 14. It'll be a first down for Mattoon.
Yeah, 19th first down of the day for the Green Wave. And on the pass, first down for them as they march, and their fans below us make a little bit of noise.
Rams are going to have to find some life within. 3:41 to play in the fourth quarter, tied at 35. Ball on the Ram 23 between the hashes. Empty backfield. Out of the gun for Pilson. 19 on the play clock, 3:33 to go on the game clock. Both clocks ticking. 35-35, all tied up. Rams football, of course, as you know, is powered by Community First Bank. We'll tell you more about them after this play. Pilson looks left. Going to run right up the middle, giving chase. Ooh, can't come up with the tackle. He'll break it at the 20. He's at the 15, 10. Steps out of bounds at the 8. We'll see where he comes out. Ooh, they're going to say he stepped out about the 8. About the 10. He got to the 8 at least.
Got the first down, though. Clock stops. 20th first down, and the march continues down for Mattoon to take the lead. My goodness, Mount Vernon had him, and now they've let Mattoon wail around as the first down's called. First to go from the 10.
Fumbles and some
big
issues
plays
offensively. And then allowing some big plays, as you just said. Empty backfield, first and goal from the 10-yard line. 3:14 to play in the fourth quarter. We're tied at 35. This one down to the wire as the quarterback Pilson works out the shotgun. 3 left, 2 right. Kittles and looks like to the right side. It's the running back Armstrong. And now trying to go up the gut. Grider's going to give chase, and Pilson's going to drag him all the way to the 5. We'll see if they get him to the 4. It's going to bring up 2nd and goal.
Pilson's the kind of guy, he quarterbacks, runs, throws, drives the bus, sells concession stand at halftime here, does it all for the Green Wave. And right now putting a team on his shoulders and trying to get to a second round against Washington or Peoria.
Community First Bank of the Heartland is the market leader in Jefferson County. 5 locations and friends and neighbors on staff who understand your needs. Community First Bank keeps it simple. Welcome back to personal banking. 2nd and goal from the 5 for Pilson in the Green Wave. Tied at 35 against your Mount Vernon Rams. 2:34 to go. Pilson will have the single back out of the shotgun, using him as an extra blocker. Tries to slip in, but he'll be brought down short at about the 2. So it'll be 3rd and goal now for Mattoon.
Mount Vernon with 2 timeouts are going to try to save him. If you're Mount Vernon, the old question is, do you let him score to save time to try to tie it up? Because valuable seconds are ticking away off this clock.
Season could be in the balance here for either team. 2:07 to play in the fourth. We're tied at 35. 3rd and goal for the 2 for the Mattoon Green Wave. Pilson out of the shotgun. He's going to run it in again. Let's see if he gets in. Breaks for the end zone and a touchdown. And the Green Wave had a 41-35 lead. As a touchdown was signaled before the ball ever crossed the goal line.
Yeah, but it's still a touchdown. Unfortunately.
So they will go for 1 to try to make it a 42-35 lead. And the Rams, for all intents and purposes, should have had this one won, but the Green Wave are back in and back on top with 1:55 left to go. As Dole is on to attempt the point after. The snap is good, kick is up, and that is going to be good inside the left upright again. Dangerously close.
7 plays, 56 yards in about 3 minutes.
Let's see what the Rams are able to do. Your community, your choice, your bank. Again, 5 locations and friends and neighbors on staff who understand your needs. Let Community First Bank be the first to say, welcome back to personal banking.
3 straight touchdowns by Mattoon. But the thing is, 2 timeouts for Mount Vernon, an opportunity to get back and tie it up. This baby is not over.
It is not over yet. With 1:55 left to go in regulation, 30 make that 42-35. The Green Wave on top. And the Rams have definitely had their chances. They have another chance coming up after the kickoff if they can have the possession, hang on, and move the football. Hasn't been easy in this fourth quarter as the Green Wave have dominated the fourth quarter.
Now, of course, I mean, it is. If Mount Vernon doesn't pull some magic off here, the team south of 64 are going to take a beating today. And that was something that we talked about last week and this week, that if things set up right, could very well happen, and they have happened. Not very many left south of 64.
Dole is on to kick off. Back to return. Miller Gray is at the 15. He's between the hashes. Take a few giant steps back will Andy Dole. See what he does with 1:55 left to go. Mattoon 45, Mount Vernon 42, pardon me. Mount Vernon 35. High kick, it'll be to the 9. Miller Gray's going to go far side. Cuts back near side to the hash. Now breaks a tackle at the 20, gets to the 30. Oh, and he's going to be brought down at about the 35-yard line. So nice return for Miller Gray. Ball be spotted near hash. 1st and 10 for the Rams with 1:45 to go, trailing by a touchdown.
2 timeouts, 65 yards. That's what Mount Vernon has right now. They started the last drive at the 35 and didn't get very far.
So we'll see what happens here with the Rams. Mattoon players encouraging their fans to get on their feet and make some noise. With 1:45 left to go, the Green Wave have slipped up to a 42-35 lead. The Rams will have it on their own 35. Reeves, the quarterback, will be under center. Power eye set, split left and right for the Rams. It's going to be Miller Gray coming out of the backfield. Looking to break outside to the right. He's going to be tripped up at about the 38. It'll be a short gain. It'll be about 2nd and 7 for the Rams. The clock will drop to the 1:35 mark. Will the Rams have enough time to score? Will they have the ability to score against a Green Wave defense that is tightened up? 2nd and 7 from the 35, 1:25 to play. Down a touchdown. And
timeout Mattoon, thank you.
So the Green Wave call a timeout. Presented by the Medicine Shop Pharmacy in Mount Vernon, 2339 Broadway in Mount Vernon. Dr. Eric Black and staff proud to support the Mount Vernon Rams and Lady Rams and the local community. Oh, my. 42-35 Green Wave on top. And the Rams, if you don't come back and get it, you have to kind of look back at some things that happened. 2 fumbles, some turnovers, and
a couple big plays. But again, you know, this is the time of year. This is the drive. This is why you run the sprints. This is why you get up early in condition. This is why you do the summer stuff. This is why when you play this game and practice this game, it's 110 degrees outside. This is the moment, the first weekend in November, to have this opportunity. You have the football. You have the opportunity to drive it down and score and tie this thing up. Or if you score, then the decision becomes, do you go for 2 and try to leave on a winning note? But, of course, you have to get there. Mount Vernon still 62 yards away.
With Danny Czerwinski, I'm Chris Hugo. Jeff Crow is with us as well. He brings you the video at WMIXsports.com. Holly Carroll takes care of things on WMIX AM and FM. 2nd and 7 from the Ram 38. Ball on the far hash. They go right to left. It's 42-35. Green Wave out of the power eye. Pitch to the right side for Miller Gray. Trying to get to the outside sideline. He'll be chased from behind. Out of bounds he goes at about the 43?
Yep.
So it'll be 3rd and short here for the Rams. 3rd and about 2. Clock stops with 1:16 left to play in the fourth quarter. Still a touchdown deficit for the Rams as the Green Wave have come from behind to take a 42-35 lead. Unreal.
3 straight scores, but Mount Vernon has it 3rd and short.
Far hash on the 42. Reeves, the quarterback, under center, split left and right out of the power eye. Looking for a sideline pass. And out of the hands of Jacoby Marshall on the far side. The clock stops with 1:12. It'll be 4th and 2. Season on the line.
Season here. Mount Vernon will need a first down. You threw the ball there on 3rd down. And here it goes. 4th down.
In a game the Rams at times have dominated. They have equally been as dominated. 1:12 to play in the fourth quarter. Tight on the right side, split left. Power eye. Going to be a run up the middle. Miller Gray gets it to salvage the season at this point. Shy of midfield to about the 48. Gain of 6. Clock will pause to move the chains with 1:06 left. Still trailing 42-35 are the Rams. Again, they were up at one point, 35-21. And for a game that all intents and purposes should have been theirs. Power eye for the Rams, split left. Miller Gray is going to go off tackle, now trying to bounce to the outside, makes a nice move. Gains about 8 on the play as he takes it across midfield, past the 45 to about the 44, and do the Rams burn a timeout here?
You have to at this point. Under a minute to go, 55.8 seconds left. You have to burn that timeout in that case.
This timeout is presented by the Medicine Shop Pharmacy at 2339 Broadway in Mount Vernon for flu shots, pharmaceuticals, and more. Don't forget about TMS Mobility and Rehab. It's at the Medicine Shop Pharmacy. Again, 2339 Broadway in Mount Vernon. See Dr. Eric Black and staff, who are proud to support the local community. It'll be 2nd and 2 for the Rams with 55.8 seconds left to go in the fourth quarter, trailing 42-35. You're listening to it here on WMIX and watching it at WMIXsports.com here on AM and FM. If the Rams should happen to get new life and come back and somehow win this game, back at it next week on the same locations. All of it powered by Community First Bank of the Heartland, the official voice of the Rams and Lady Rams. Of course, they have 5 Jefferson County branches and that one checking account. Free checking and high yield interest. Just ask for one at Community First Bank.
People are cheering at home, watching the game online at WMIXsports.com. We appreciate that. Follow us on Twitter at WMIXsports. Go to Facebook.com/WMIXsports and give us a like there as well.
Marshall tight right. Gardner split left. As Reeves is looking left side. Going to be a fade over to the near side. That one's going to be Plinko around and fall incomplete to bring up 3rd and 2 with 50.4 seconds left. I like what the Rams were trying to do there. Pass just a bit underthrown as Gardner was trying to go post route.
You have to throw the football eventually in this case. You can run it only so far because the clock's going to go away on you. And that time, Mount Vernon, as you said, did a good job stretching the field a little bit there. Moving on down the road.
50.4 ticks left. It's 42-35 in the fourth quarter. Rams are down a touchdown. 3rd and 2. The ball is on the Green Wave 44. Reeves will be under center. Split to the left side. Your tailback is going to be Miller Gray. They're going to pitch it to the right side. Can he get the first down and get out of bounds? Looks like he stepped out before the marker.
He did. He did not get the first down. He stepped out before the marker. Clock stopped out of bounds, though, at least, and that's the key is the clock does stop. He gets 2 instead of 3 yards.
That's a great call by the official. He stepped out of bounds. It's 4th down for the Rams. 4th and short with 45.5 seconds left. 42-35 Green Wave. The ball beyond the far hash. 43-yard line, and this is where the season is literally in the balance. Split to the left side, Gardner. And it's going to be a pitch again to DeMontez. They're going to make him stop D as he's going to break. Gets to the 40, 35, 30. He'll be brought down at about the 27.
Got to have a play and get up to the line and go.
As the clock will stop a bit to move the chains, and it looks like somebody's down over there. It's DMG, Miller Gray.
He's up.
5:45 on your time clock. 35.5 seconds left on your game clock. We're in the fourth quarter from Mattoon. The Green Wave on top, 42-35. Rams season is on the line. They've got to get a score. Split left and right. The clock will start. The Rams have one timeout left. Reeves, the quarterback, will go out of the shotgun for one of the few times this season. As he is going to go, C.J. Lloyd on the near side. He'll run to the 25. Tripped up, stays on his feet to the 20, and the Rams are going to have to call a timeout. Shaner's trying to get it. Now they finally catch it with 16.5 seconds. It's to the 20.
Tried to run a little trickery that time. Little counter action in the back on a double handoff, and Mount Vernon was able to get 4 yards out of it, actually 8. And now Mount Vernon was 2nd and 4 with 16 seconds to go and the ball at the 20-yard line.
16-point nickel left to go, possibly in the Rams season. They trail 42-35. The timeout is presented by the Medicine Shop in Mount Vernon. Unreal. The Rams led 7-0, gave up a pair of touchdowns to trail 14-7, then eventually 21-7 after a few fumbles. And the Green Wave have made the best of just about every opportunity in which they've been given from this Ram football team. 6-3 on this season of the Rams, looking to go to 7-3. 6-4 doesn't quite have the ring they want. But the Green Wave in control on top, although their defense is bending a little bit. It's at the 20-yard line. They're going to go ahead and say 2nd and 4 as it's an official gain of 6. 16.5 seconds to go out of the timeout. All of the action this season has been presented by Community First Bank of the Heartland. 5 Jefferson County branches. But the Rams need just 4 yards. 2nd and 4. Tied on the right side is Jacoby Marshall. Split left is Gardner. Power I for the Rams. Lloyd will be the halfback. And now I believe the Green Wave are going to counter with the timeout.
Okay. Interesting.
Again, powered by the Medicine Shop Pharmacy in Mount Vernon. Dr. Eric Black and staff, again, proud to support the local community as well as Rams and Lady Rams athletics here on the radio. With Danny Czerwinski, I'm Chris Hugo. Jeff Crow behind the camera brings you the video angles at WMIXsports.com. Broke the fourth wall there for a moment. Holly Carroll is back at our Mount Vernon studio taking care of things on WMIX AM and FM as we inch toward the 6 o'clock hour.
Mattoon
something like that
calls that timeout with the opportunity to see the formation that Mount Vernon was in, of course, and now waiting after this timeout, kind of going over what they want to do as far as defense goes, but only 16 seconds left, 0.5 actually on the end of that, and Mount Vernon has no timeouts.
And the ball will be on the 20-yard line. What is going to happen? It's on the near hash. The Rams go right to left here at Mattoon. 2nd and 4 with 16.5 seconds left. They trail 42-35. Out of the power I, split to the right side this time. It'll be Marshall. Tight is Gardner to the left. Reeves is under center. Reeves is going to roll to the right side. Gardner's coming over the top to the left. Does he have anybody in the end zone? This will be Jacoby Marshall for the score. No flag and a score, and the Rams are down one. It's 42-35 as Doug Gardner decoyed everybody by coming from left to right over the top. Jacoby Marshall found himself wide alone in the end zone. Dylan Reeves manages to find it with 8.1, and the Rams are back within one.
Are you kidding me?
Do you go for the win, or do you try to tie?
Decisions. What's Mount Vernon going to do? Did you drive up here to tie, or did you want to go for two? They are going for two.
The Rams are going to try to put themselves in a position to win this game. It is 42-41. Marshall leaves the huddle, split to the right. It's 42-41, 8 seconds left on the clock. Reeves, the quarterback, under center. They're going to give it to Miller Gray on the pitch. He's going to try to break to the outside. He is going to be stopped. Does he get in? The Rams get in the end zone. The judge on the other side signals that they are in, and it is 43-42. The Rams have taken the lead courtesy of the hyphen, and that puts an exclamation mark on the 2013 season to this point.
It's not going to end today, boys. How about that? I agree with the play call. I think if you're Jared Chainer, you've driven this far, you got an opportunity, you've been scoring all the way. They go big, and they will not go home without losing unless something crazy happens on this special teams play.
And you've got to stop them. With 8.1 seconds left, it looked like DeMontez was going to be short, but he demonizes the defensive line yet again. And it is 43-42.
Wow.
Holy cow.
Be a short trip to the King City in this case.
Understand the AM's being picked up in Hopkinsville, Kentucky right now.
Oh, my.
All you doubters.
Mount Vernon up one with 8 seconds left. Are you kidding me how this game has turned around?
Oh, my gosh. No reason to be sorry, Jeff Crow. The peace sign welcomed in everybody there for just a moment on WIXSports.com. Who cares?
No kidding.
Gotta let loose, baby. And right now, the Rams have a 43-42 lead over the Green Wave of Mattoon, and the Green Wave looked absolutely stunned. Of course, Rams football all season long has been powered by the official voice of high school sports on WMIX, and that is Community First Bank of the Heartland. That was one amazing play. Make your own even better play when you open up a Community First Bank free high-yield checking account that earns cash back. Just ask for one. Sometimes one is all you need. The Rams are up 43-42.
10 plays, 65 yards, about a minute 40.
I don't know how they did it, but they did it. Now, if you're the Rams, what you have to do here is somehow stop the Green Wave. They have 8.1 seconds left with which to work.
Or do you try to make something happen on a return?
I don't know. You just got to make exactly. Yeah.
Interesting text message. I apologize.
Yeah.
Good stuff from Mr. Muir, who turned 60 yesterday. Happy belated birthday, Jim, who's tuned to the broadcast. Amazing.
Now, you have to kick it in, keep the clock running, and then you got to be aware of the Stanford band play at this point. Stanford, Cal, and the pitch there. Let's see what Mount Vernon does.
This is going to be on the ground, and it'll be picked up. Nope, Malik Joyner's not going to quite get there. It's going to bounce past Joyner, the man you knew they wanted to get it. Picked up, I believe, by number 25, Alex Smith. Again, no relation, and 0.2 of a second off the clock. So the Green Wave are probably, you would assume, empty out the backfield, go 5 wide, 3 on one side, 2 on the other, with 7.9 ticks left to go. And we'll see what they're able to do here as the Rams do.
Hook and ladder, be aware. I mean, you just have to be aware of anything that Mattoon is going to try to do something with the football, and the hook and ladder is one of those you have to be aware of.
You got a bit of beef, but you got some hands out there. You got DeMontez Miller-Gray, Alondo Watson, Jylen Rush. Far side, Xavier Tyus. Doug Gardner would be in there. Andrew Heiner. Miles Tate. We'll see what Pilsen does with an empty backfield. 2 left, 3 right with 7.9 seconds. 1st and 10 from his own 25, and this one's going to be in and out of the hands of number 9, Peyton Hartbank, who had Orlando Watson coming right at him.
Well, he had Watson coming at him, but I think if the receiver looks back and makes the catch, he had time to duck and dodge, and he had nothing but green grass coming. They had him down the middle on the pattern, down the hash marks. No one home, and he dropped the football. Wasn't looking for it.
If you're just joining us, 5.8 seconds to go. My view partially obstructed. I apologize. It's 43-42, Rams on top. Out of the shotgun, it'll be the quarterback, Pilsen. Jared Pilsen looking to the right side where he has 3, and this one's going to be over the top. Ooh, at the shoe tops of Orlando Watson. The Ram defender can't come up with it. Clock will stop with 2.9 seconds. It'll become 3rd and 10. Ball is between the hashes back at the 25-yard line, deep in Green Wave territory. We're going to be 3rd down with 2.9 seconds left to go.
Mount Vernon had an opportunity to pick another one off there. They are rushing 2 defenders right now. They have the other 9 guys back. 4 guys about 10 yards off the line of scrimmage, and the other 4 are back at the 50, about 30 yards off.
They're going to load up 4, a quad box, I guess you could say, on the left side, to borrow a term from the NFL Network. Split to the right, 1 man. That is going to be Malik Joyner, and they're going to look to this near side.
Here it comes.
And it's going to be complete. They're going to have to go hook and ladder. There's no time left on the clock, and this one will be fumbled. Pilsen will fumble and kick it around. He's on the ground. Somebody just has to touch somebody and tackle somebody in there, as this one is going to stay. Somehow that wasn't down. There's a flag on the play. To the far side goes Kittle. He's at the 30, and he is going to take this one out of bounds with another flag.
Yeah, the game should be over.
0 seconds on the clock, and there's a bunch of flags, you name the blocks in the back wherever you want.
You name the laundry on the field. Officials are out of things to throw besides beanbags, hats, and anything else.
Kittens, cats, sacks, and wives. How many were going to St. Ives? The answer could be the Mount Vernon Rams, as they lead 43-42 with no time on the clock.
Yeah.
And as many times as the Rams shot themselves in the foot today, the penalties will be declined and the game will be over.
Mount Vernon is going to the 2nd round.
So the Mount Vernon Rams await the Washington. Can't even remember right now.
Peoria.
It's not the Wild Things, but it's the winner, Washington and Peoria, in round number 2. They'll be at home next week at J.D. Shields Memorial Stadium. We'll have it for you here on AM 940 and 94.1 FM, and, of course, video at WMIXSports.com. Give us a follow on Twitter at WMIX Sports. We have plenty of updates coming at you right now. But first, your Schmidt AAA postgame show. We'll take a break and come back and get you set with all of the results of this one and some others from around the area. For Danny Czerwinski and for Jeff Crow, for Holly Carroll back studio, all doing a fine job thus far. We encourage you to stay tuned. The Schmidt Chevrolet postgame show is next. This is Rams football from WMIX Sports.
I'm Jeremy Pearson with a look at your next Rams weather. Partly sunny and breezy today, high 56. Clear tonight, low of 31. Then tomorrow, sunny to partly cloudy, high 56. Partly sunny on Monday and Tuesday, a blend of sun and clouds, high 62. Periods of rain and a thunderstorm will occur Wednesday, high 60. Next rad weather from WMIX, Mount Vernon, Illinois.
If you haven't seen it, you're missing out. Hi, Roy Schmidt, Jeep dealer at King City Chrysler Center, Mount Vernon. The all-new redesigned 2014 Jeep Grand Cherokee is a sight to behold. Unrivaled, the all-new Grand Cherokee sets extraordinary new standards for performance, luxury, and attention to detail. From its daytime running headlamp to its power-heated folding mirrors with puddle lamps, ruggedly good-looking and muscular exterior profile, the 2014 Grand Cherokee is engineered with a style and elegance that's backed by the confidence of its all-weather capability and Jeep brand strength. Imagine how great that would look sitting in your driveway. The 2014 Grand Cherokee is truly the best of what Jeep is made of. Come see one of our associates at King City Chrysler Center at 1603 Broadway in Mount Vernon, Illinois, or see our selection online at KingCityChrysler.com.
Hi, this is Melody True, Relationship Specialist with People's National Bank in Mount Vernon. People's National Bank is focused on providing the best possible customer service and products to meet the needs of our customers. If you aren't receiving the products and services you deserve, maybe it's time to make a change. Change the name of your bank for the last time and make the switch to People's National Bank. People's National Bank, proudly serving Southern Illinois since 1909, member FDIC.
Grand Lake College Theater presents Treasure Island. This swashbuckling stage adaptation incorporates plenty of comedy and includes all the adventures of Robert Louis Stevenson's classic tale. Enjoy nightly performances Thursday, November 7th through Saturday, November 9th, and a special Sunday matinee on November 10th. It's called a ridiculously funny version of the classic adventure tale. Tickets are just $12 through the RLC ticket office. Call the RLC box office at 437-4321, extension 1467.
Learn to live healthy, learn to live well, and learn how you can live free from unexpected medical expense with a major medical expense policy from Pekin Insurance and the Page Agency. Health insurance that covers hospital, medical, and surgical expenses offers a wide choice of deductibles and a non-tobacco user discount, too. Rising medical costs don't have to be a problem with a major medical expense policy from Pekin Insurance. This is coverage we hope you'll never need, but you just can't be without. Call the Page Agency at 242-7000 about a major medical health insurance plan today.
This is Mount Vernon Rams football from WMIX Sports. The Schmidt Chevrolet Postgame Show starts now.
And we welcome you back to Mattoon. Good evening on WMIX, WMIX FM, Mount Vernon. That's how the FCC knows us. Chris Hugo with Danny Czerwinski alongside. Jeff Crow is here bringing you the video at WMIXsports.com. Holly Carroll doing a great job back at our Mount Vernon studio. Tonight, the Mount Vernon Rams, an unprecedented finish. 43-42, somehow, some way, with the backs against the wall and about 8 seconds left. Dylan Reeves found Doug Gardner in the end zone for pay dirt. And what a play by the Rams. What a gutsy call by Jared Shaner to go for two and the win. And somehow DeMontez Miller-Gray strapped the effort to his back and got in for two. And that was all she wrote as the Rams were able to get a massive win over the Green Wave from Mattoon. We welcome those of you in, of course, on the radio or online. What a game.
Boy, Mount Vernon survives. Not one of those days in Southern Illinois high school football where you look around, there's not a lot of your friends standing around, and Mount Vernon will host a playoff game next weekend, and it's so very nice to see the orange and black clad fans down in the end zone to our right celebrating with this Mount Vernon Rams football team.
Celebrating indeed. And, of course, what a finish, what a team, what a ride thus far. And you can find a great ride at Schmidt Chevrolet, 3423 Broadway in Mount Vernon. Review their inventory online at schmidtchevrolet.com. Your hearts go out to the Green Wave on the finish, but your encouragement, your cheers, and basically your congrats go to the Mount Vernon Rams on an exciting finish here on the road in Coles County. Plenty more Schmidt Chevrolet postgame show to come. We owe you some scoring and stats. We owe you a scoreboard update. And we even owe you a player of the game. We'll come back and do all of that after a quick break. This is Rams football presented by Community First Bank.
Friday Night Lights are back. The best in high school football content is right here at WMIX Sports. Don't miss area coaches and our panel of experts as the Saturday Sports Show revisits the region's most important games. We'll also recap the WMIXsports.com scoreboard, plus talk up other local sports. Look for the Saturday Sports Show after the 8 a.m. news on WMIX 940 and WMIXsports.com. Powered by Crossroads Community Hospital. It's more than a hospital. It's what healthcare should be.
Attention all Medicare Part D pharmacy patients. The annual enrollment period begins October 15th and ends December 7th. And the Medicine Shop Pharmacy is ready to help you. Stop by or call to make an appointment with Eric Black or Tracy Adams. They'll review your current prescription plan and help you manage your Medicare dollars. Here's pharmacist and pharmacy owner Eric Black.
What we offer to our patients is to sit down with them and answer questions that they may have about their medication, really with the end goal of being to maximize their dollars. Because that's, after all, what patients really want. Take appointments, sit down with them, take as long as it takes to help them choose a plan that is effective at meeting their needs.
Remember, the good folks at the Medicine Shop Pharmacy are never too busy to take care of you. They look forward to understanding your health care needs and will focus on keeping you well. The Medicine Shop Pharmacy, 2339 Broadway in Mount Vernon.
To call to make an appointment, call 618-242-8776.
Hi, this is Joe Cummins, President of Community First Bank. Now is a great time to move your account to Community First Bank. With our new one account offering the highest interest rate in the market, free checking, and CD specials delivered by people you know and trust, why would you not bank with the market leader in Jefferson County? We offer 5 locations with 7 ATMs and have been serving the Jefferson County market since 1906. Stop in and see why our bank is the fastest growing bank in Jefferson County. Community First Bank. Welcome back to Personal Banking, member FDIC.
Find us on Facebook. This is Rams Football from WMIX Sports.
And we welcome you back into Coles County. Mattoon High School, where the Vernon Rams up in the Green Wave, the host today. A seeded upset in any event. 43-42. What an exciting finish for the Rams here this afternoon. Back at home next week against the winner of Washington and Peoria. With Danny Czerwinski, I'm Chris Hugo. Welcome you back on the Schmidt Chevrolet postgame show, 3423 Broadway in Mount Vernon. Online at schmidtchevrolet.com. Exciting as it was, we still have plenty more of content to bring you here on your postgame show. We owe you scoring and stats. We owe you a scoreboard update. We owe you quite a bit. But don't forget, you can always stay up to date on Twitter at WMIX Sports. You can also find us on Facebook, facebook.com/WMIX Sports, and we'll have the WMIXsports.com scoreboard coming up a little bit later on tonight, of course. So, what a great day for Mattoon. If you're a Rams fan, it's a somber afternoon into evening here if you're a Green Wave fan, but the scoring and stats will tell the difference of this game.
Yeah, unfortunately that's the case, but of course for Mount Vernon Rams, we'll head home very, very happy. The first down's Mount Vernon 24, Mattoon 20. These unofficial official stats. Mount Vernon had 2 turnovers to 0 for Mattoon. Actually had 2 for Mattoon. Penalties, Mount Vernon 5 for 48. Mattoon 7 for 48. Rushing department, Mount Vernon 237 to Mattoon 124. The passing for Mattoon was an incredible number, about 225. So you give your total yards, and Mount Vernon had 400 yards in my count, 368 for Mattoon as the Rams win on the road today, 43-42.
There you go. That is your final score. We'll get you a scoreboard a little bit later. We'll also come back and get you your Rams player of the game. This is your Schmidt Chevrolet postgame show. Rams win this one 43-42 in exciting fashion over the Mattoon Green Wave. We'll come back to Mattoon in just a moment. First, a quick break, some very important messages. This is Rams football, powered by Community First Bank.
Grand Lake College Theater presents Treasure Island. This swashbuckling stage adaptation incorporates plenty of comedy and includes all the adventures of Robert Louis Stevenson's classic tale. Enjoy nightly performances Thursday, November 7th through Saturday, November 9th, and a special Sunday matinee on November 10th. It's called a ridiculously funny version of the classic adventure tale. Tickets are just $12 through the RLC ticket office. Call the RLC box office at 437-4321, extension 1467.
Here's Jeff Schmidt for Schmidt Chevrolet of Mount Vernon.
We're moving out the remaining 2013 Chevy cars. The Malibu has been really selling hot right now. It gets great fuel economy plus some very strong incentives. Makes this car very affordable, great fuel economy. It's selling well, and we're real proud of the Malibu.
Schmidt Chevrolet of Mount Vernon, 3423 Broadway in Mount Vernon.
Streaming worldwide at WMIXsports.com. This is Mount Vernon Rams football from WMIX Sports.
And we welcome you back, Mattoon High School. Rams beat the Green Wave 43-42. They move on to C next week. We'll know their opponent probably in the better part of 4 hours as Washington and Peoria battle at 7 o'clock at Washington. The game next week will be at J.D. Shields Memorial Stadium. We know that. We won't know a time. 1, you have to have an opponent. 2, they have to talk about it, agree upon it, go from there. So we'll probably know late tonight, early tomorrow, late tomorrow, Monday at the latest.
Depends on what Washington or Peoria wants to do. I mean, Mount Vernon, being the home team, can set it, but has to be some negotiations going on. Everybody will know Monday at 2 o'clock, but a lot of the negotiating will happen tonight into tomorrow and whatnot. And, again, it'll depend on Washington and Peoria because they're going to be the ones that are going to be on the bus 3-4 hours to get to Mount Vernon. And I would, if I had to guess, and, anything we won't speculate, but it would either be, I think, a Friday night or possibly they probably will not want to play a short turnaround like that. They'll want to play on Saturday, probably around 4 or 5 o'clock in the afternoon, I would say.
That would be my guess as well. And, of course, one thing we are famous for is our scoreboard updates. We'll get to one of those just in just a moment. Of course, I think before that, a player of the game, we talked about it, and we said early on that it was going to be the offensive line for all of the rushing yards they were able to help our running backs pound out. And they provided Dylan Reeves some great protection on that game-winning or the play that set up the game-winning two-point conversion. They provided great protection. I think it still has to be the O-line.
Well, it has to be the offensive line. I think there is no doubt that the offensive line was the key today, not only setting up blocks, but making sure that there was enough offense. And, I mean, they opened up holes all the way, and then when Mount Vernon needed to pass at the end to get the ball down the field, what an outstanding job they did. Pass protection, not a holding penalty that I recall most of the day. I mean, it was a great job by that offensive line.
Great one indeed. Let's see what we got in terms of scores.
Well, let's go through it, and if you're a fan of Southern Illinois football, you're going to cringe at all these finals that have gone on. In Class 2A, Staunton, an 8th seed, went to Fairfield and won 8-0, defeating the 1-seeded Mules. It was Carlisle winning at home against El Dorado 29-14, so Carlisle will go to Staunton next week. Carmi trails at the half at Chester 17-16 in what looks to be another knockdown, drag-out game between those two. The winner of that Carmi-Chester game will get Gillespie. The Miners beat Lawrenceville today at home 28-14. In Class 3A in the bracket, Greenville beat Freeburg today 49-22, and Robinson held on late to beat AJ 21-20. So Robinson will get Greenville in round 2. Carterville handled Vienna Goreville easily 48-13, and Mount Carmel beat Breeze Central 29-21, as Carterville and Mount Carmel will play in the ever-present second-round game. In Class 4A, Altoff, the other South 7 school that played and won today, beat Columbia on the road 35-14. The Crusaders were an 8th seed, went into Columbia and beat the Eagles 35-14, who were the 1 in that side of the bracket of 4A. It was Heron winning in overtime against Alton Marquette 20-14 at home. Heron will travel to Altoff next week in a very interesting matchup. Rochester at the half leads Taylorville 35-0. The Rockets will get Mater Dei. Mater Dei won at Olney 49-21, so Rochester will be at Mater Dei next week. That has some interesting possibilities, maybe being on a Friday night as well. And, of course, in 5A, Peoria and Washington will kick off at 7 o'clock tonight. And, of course, Mount Vernon beats Mattoon 43-42, so the Rams will host the winner of Peoria and Washington. And, of course, last night, Normal U-High beat Decatur MacArthur, so U-High will get Jacksonville, who traveled to Marion today and knocked the Wildcats out 37-6. Carbondale lost on the road at Highland 34-20. A score of interest in our Mississippi Valley Conference friends. Limestone beat Jerseyville today 47-27.
That was long, which means that was a lot of scores in a short amount of time. Of course, a great job, as always, with our Tony Wilt scoreboard update. Tony Wilt at Two Better State with State Farm in Mount Vernon. He is your agent on the corner of 42nd and South Water Tower. Tony's online at TonyWilt.com, or you can look for the white State Farm Jeep around town. That's why Tony Wilt is like a good neighbor, and State Farm is there. We appreciate all the scores all season long, courtesy and powered by Tony Wilt. What a game. The Rams win this one 43-42 over the Green Wave of Mattoon, and they did it on the road. Back at home next week. We'll let you know a date and time as soon as we have it. The prognosticators of prognosticators, Robert Smith, has already told me the day.
Or okay,
theory.
fine.
No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
I'm
that was my shout out for Spank. It's good to have him listening as well.
Oh yeah,
we've had
Trent Purcell, Brent Garrison,
many of these
Spanky
guys
Smith,
together, but
Jay Miller, all the referees. We appreciate the official. We like all of them.
We do, and of course we appreciate all of you who have listened today and have watched online. So does Community First Bank of the Heartland. They are the official voice of Rams Athletics here on WMIX and, of course, WMIXsports.com. That's going to do it for us tonight. The Rams will make that long but short journey back home, and those of you who have been paying attention to the game know what I mean. They're going to be jacked, and that's what is important. I hate to bring back hashtag juice because that's a different group of kids that graduated, but that's pretty well what it is going to be. Speaking of which, follow us on Twitter to stay up to date in the meantime at WMIX Sports. You can find us on Facebook as well. We'll keep you up to date as to when the Rams will play next. Full WMIXsports.com scoreboard will come your way tonight. We'll try to get the game up as fast as we can. Video, again, no video until the Rams are done. So we'll be looking for the audio archive a little bit later tonight. For Danny Czerwinski, for Holly Carroll, for Jeff Crow, for all of us at WMIX Sports and Withers Broadcasting, thank you for listening to the Rams here on AM 940 and 94.1 FM or watching online at WMIXsports.com. I'm Chris Hugo reminding you of the final score. It was the Mount Vernon Rams 43, Mattoon Green Wave 42. The Green Wave will finish their season at 7-3. And the Rams will improve to 7-3. Identical record, so there you go. For all those people and more, again, I'm Chris Hugo. Good night from Mattoon.
You've been listening to Mount Vernon Rams